Mike's on, guys.
Be careful, everyone. It is foggy out. It's a beautiful, chilly Melbourne morning. Perfect conditions for another cracking edition of EFNL Match Day, brought to you by Eastland on the SEN app. We are out at Donvale Reserve to call all the action from this crucial Division 3 clash between the Magpies and the Ferntree Gully Eagles. And, of course, as I mentioned, it's time for the build-up on the SEN app and as well on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Matthew Fodia, and joining me this afternoon for their first time as a duo on the pre-game, it's Matt Spider-Lee and Wayne Brasher. Spider, welcome.
Afternoon, Matty, Brash and all the listeners. Great to be here and out at Donvale. I don't think I've ever come out to Donvale when Eastbird's not playing, but it's a great day out here. Sun's out, picturesque, and looking forward to a great afternoon of footy. Brash?
Yeah, good afternoon, Matty. Good afternoon, listeners. And yes, it's Spider and I's debut appearance on the warm-up show, so I'm looking forward to trading barbs with him for the next hour.
Yeah, it's been
Absolutely.
a long time coming.
For those watching on Facebook and YouTube at the moment, you'll see a foggy drone shot from this morning when our man Lee Green from LM Media popped down. So it has cleared up since then, of course. It's a beautiful day out here at Donvale. Last time I was out here was Donvale and Whitehorse back in 2017. So such times have changed. Both sides are now in this division, one going better than the other. Limited time this week, unlike last weekend, gentlemen. So let's jump straight into it, and we'll start at the top. And the only game really that anyone's looking at in the Premier Division, other than a few faithful who are one-eyed, will be South Croydon and Balwyn. The Dogs dropped their second game in 3 since the break last weekend. They struggled to score in their loss to Nord, who debuted their Indigenous jumper. That moves Nord into 3rd and the Dogs down to 4th. And Balwyn, the team they're playing today, have been, on the other hand, brilliant since the break. They've kicked over 100 points twice and kicked 96, I think it was, against Doncaster last weekend. Charlie Haley's been massive. So is Jeff Goebbels and Jordan Lyle. So they're the Holy Trinity, I'm calling them, down there. And Goebbels last week kicked 5 goals from 23 touches. And at the moment, the Tigers are the only team outside of the 4 that can make it, with Blackburn's lost. And if Balwyn win today, they will jump into 4th. So, gents, what's your read on these two sides? Brash, you would have had a red-hot look at both of them. What about Balwyn first off?
Well, Balwyn are probably the best performed side, not sitting in the 4 at the moment, Matt and
Well, they are.
Matty and Matt, because their form since the second return from COVID has been exquisite, I reckon. They have not put a foot wrong. And put this way, they are a legitimate chance. If they get in and, even sneak into that 4th position, and they take on the first place, tell you what, that could be one of those games where 4th beats the top side.
Well, as we know, Brash, we've seen it in other forms of final series where 4th can take on first and anything can happen. And I think we've said that across a few of the divisions this year, I think it's a real possibility that 4th could win a premiership. And Balwyn, in that scenario, if they're in, they're as good a chance as anyone. And they're in really good form. The side looks really steady in recent weeks. They haven't made any changes, really. The forward line's starting to perform to their optimum level. We know how good Jordan Lyle's been. He's just been a fantastic addition to their footy club this season. Rocket just seems to have got the boys up and running in recent times, and I think today there's a no-excuse attitude for them going into a game against South Croydon. They've got a full-strength complement of players. They've got this game is really theirs for the taking if they're good enough, and they're coming up against a team like South Croydon. We know when these two teams met 5 weeks ago, the result. So it's going to be a real test of who's going to be willing to play the 4 quarters, but a couple of injury concerns down at South Croydon, a couple of key outs, I think, is certainly going to really you would think give Balwyn even a bigger chance of the win. Max Warren potentially not playing this week. Nick Evans as well. Now that we believe, my sources have claimed that there's a concussion issue there, and so the protocols have been taken, and potentially they'll watch that, see how that unfolds as well. So they got some concerns. So they won't take any risks with anyone, but that gives Balwyn a big chance on their home ground.
Matt, I almost think that last Saturday was a season-defining Saturday in the Eastern Football Netball League, because there were so many computations that were up for grabs, and now after what happened last week, there really is only a few little ends to tidy up, so to speak, as the season, home and away season, comes to an end, which is sort of a bit of a shame when we've still got maybe 5 or 6 rounds to go.
I'd say it's only in Premier Division and maybe Division 1 after this weekend when we get onto that. So Premier Division, with Blackburn's loss, they're now 6 with 3 and 5, or their win match percentage ratio is the same as Doncaster's. I think so. There's probably 5 teams battling out for relegation. Doncaster's a game ahead of Roeville, Berwick, Doncaster East and North Ringwood, all on 2. And Blackburn's also, I guess, in that fight, but they should be fine, such as they've got enough talent to not worry about that, but they probably won't make finals. Baldwin's the only side outside of that top 4 that can make finals, and as you both said, if they continue playing the way they're playing, they won't just finish 4th. They could steamroll their way into 2nd or 3rd, because they've still got to play Vermont another time, I think. They've definitely got to play Norwood again. They'll probably get another chance at Noble Park, because their draw would have shaped them, having finished 2nd last year.
And home games as well. Yeah. So I think so. And South Croydon, Brash, I mean, they've lost a couple, in recent times. Last week's performance against Norwood, they'd be really disappointed by a response I'm sure Marcus Bazzaglio would want today, because that performance last week is probably uncharacteristic. I mean, a guy, like King going up against winning the ruck for Norwood, apparently from all reports last week, was really disappointing. Just didn't use his physical strength, and was basically dictated to for the majority of the game. So he really needs to step up this afternoon.
Michael Wen's a good player, though. He's been playing VFL for a long time.
Yeah, I actually was having a think about that, Matty, during the week about, has he, I'm just wondering whether Max King's influence on the games has sort of diminished him somewhat.
I think he suffered an injury in one of their games recently now. Not recently, before the break. Now, I think he played as just a forward against Doncaster East, perhaps, before the break. And I think you're probably looking at his stats, I'd suggest he's having more of an impact as a forward than that ruck that we saw out on Anzac Day. I reckon he's carrying something and he's been playing as a forward rather than a ruck.
Well, he's played 7 games and kicked 9 goals. And he seems to, if he's not able to play the ruck role that he's grown accustomed to, he becomes a real dangerous full forward, because that's where they've played him when he's not 100%, because because they think he adds height, against a full back. It plays a big part.
Well, and as we've seen, he's a star.
Yeah.
He's a good player wherever he plays.
Yeah.
I think that was why when Zach Monkhurst left, they were pretty disappointed, because I think in their head when they picked up Zach Monkhurst to play as a ruckman, that meant Max King could play as forward full time. And we know, imagine him and Wilson down there, that'd be, one of the best attacking duos we've seen in a long time.
But I actually think Norwood actually needed to have a win like that, Matt, to actually stamp their credentials as a side, because they haven't had much continuity with the way the buys have gone.
Yeah, but it might play into their hands now, because they've had both of theirs.
Yes.
So them and Roeville are 2 sides, and then Vermont today will have now. They don't miss any footy.
No, and next week 3 sides in Premier get a buy as well.
That's right.
So whilst Norwood had probably, at the time they probably felt a bit annoyed that they haven't played as many games, it might come to their advantage with that. And because if you look, when we get to Division 3, you look at in this division, Waverley Blues last month will go by Warrandyte, and if they make the finals in 4th spot,
it'll be by Waverley Blues.
It'll be Warrandyte again. So they could likely play Warrandyte 3 games in a row.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting.
Whether or not that'll happen will be an interesting one. But in terms of Premier Division now, there's 5 spots going into 4, and to be honest, on form, you'd say Baldwin leapfrog South Croydon, but it is at home, so South Croydon don't often lose there. So if we had to tip, gents, I think I'm going Baldwin. I reckon they're just in too good a form.
I'm going to go South Croydon at home, but really tight affair. I think this could be almost last kick of the day stuff if the conditions continue what they are.
No, I've got to go Baldwin in this game. Look, when a side is in absolute red-hot, irresistible form, Baldwin are one of those sides that can hold it for 6 to 8 games, and which they've done in the past. And I think today, if there's some chinks in the armour because of South Croydon's depth on the field, it's going to get exposed.
Just got a feeling that they might want to respond a bit after last week, South Croydon. I think there's a little bit to play for today.
Possibly. Wanting to respond and responding are two very, very different things.
Correct.
Other games in Premier Division, we'll just get a quick summation of these. Noah Park and Doncaster East, obviously thoughts with Tommy Gordon at the moment, who's suffered a spinal injury, but also well done to Mark Durden, who was Steve Hocking in his last duty as football operations, went out to Noah Park and gave Steve, I think Steve got to handle the 2021 Premiership Cup. Mark did. I'm sure Steve has. And you can see that all over Noah Park social media. Mark's received an OAM during the Queen's birthday honours. So Noah Park and Doncaster East at the Bull Ring. You got to think the Bulls in this one.
Yeah,
they're very workmanlike at the moment. The Bulls, they're doing all they had. They're just doing what they need to do.
Yeah, Ryan Morrison having another outstanding season,
exactly.
And the Bulls at home, I think.
Doncaster and North Ringwood. This is
an interesting game.
Well, 2 months ago, this was the game that was going to decide relegation. Now, if Doncaster win it, you'd say they're safe.
Yeah.
But if North Ringwood win it, that's two in a row, and then all of a sudden it brings everyone back. The relegation race is going to be just as exciting in Premier Division. Spoke to a couple of coaches last weekend who were pretty annoyed that this year was the first year in a long time there hasn't been a really poor team in Premier Division. In recent years, there's always been one team to belt, and the other 9 or 10 can always have a sigh of relief. But this year, there's 6 teams going for it. It's at Doncaster, and the Sharks have won 3 of their games there. All 3 of them. They won them in a row, and they kept sides under 50 points on 2 occasions. So I think I'm going to go the Sharks at home. Yeah,
they are. They had a good. I reckon they got good form line heading into a game against North Ringwood. Not an honourable loss to Baldwin, who are in red hot form, and I've got to go with Doncaster. I think the Baldwin form will hold up in this game.
Yeah, Doncaster for me as well. North Ringwood, look, big challenge for them to be able to replicate it 2 weeks in a row for me. It's a big one for them to be able to show that they can do it consecutively.
That's always been their
and it's been an issue for them. Yeah,
absolutely. Rowville and Blackburn out at Seaback Oval. Blackburn's season looks like it's come to a halt in terms of anything further than just playing out the year. But they do have a good away record. Rowville are a team on the mend. Ray Baird, who's out at Croydon North, Mlock playing Nuttawading today, he said on EFNL Sunday last week that he thinks Rowville will go down. I'm not so sure about that, but I do think Blackburn will win today.
Blackburn are only one of the very few sides that have a positive
they've won all their games away.
Yeah, so. But I mean, they've also always had a good record down at Seabeck as well. Rowville's form's been very up and down for mine, and it's always depended, which I feel sorry for Ben Wise, because I just don't think he's been able to put his best side on the park right throughout the season, whereas Brendan Allen has. And Blackburn, when they play their best football, they're very good and very attractive to watch. They've been stiff in a few games, but look, when you lose, that makes it harder and harder. But I'm going to give them another chance this afternoon.
I think
what do you reckon,
got a bit of a gut feel.
Yep.
I think I've got a feeling that this is a grand final for Rowville today. This is a bit of a line in the sand moment for Benny Wise. A couple of their players need to really stand up. Gardner, Riley Darcy, those sort of guys, McDonald. If they can do that and kick a winning score with Wine having a good year, Blackburn have really disappointed me at times this year. They're frustrating to watch. They just haven't been able to collectively put games together on end. I'm going to tip an upset. I think Rowville are going to win today and give the home faithful something to cheer about, which they haven't had a lot to for the season.
One thing about Blackburn, and I'll say this about them, their best forward has been injured. Take the COVID year out.
Yes.
He's only just come back. He's had 2 games in, but the previous season in 2019, I think he only played 6 games. So Jake Hammond's last 3 years of football, I reckon, has only netted Blackburn eight appearances. And they've not got any benefit out of him, because Brendan Allen's actually had to change the game style plan because he hasn't been there. And now he's come back into the side. When he's on fire, he's mercurial, and he's that sort of player that can pick up the side and take him with it. Yeah. He's going to need to do that today.
He's going to, yeah.
Final game, Berwick and Norwood out of Berwick. Norwood need to keep winning. So they've always been, in recent years, they've been pretty good at taking down top 4 sides, which they've done this year against South Croydon and Baldwin, but they've struggled occasionally they've dropped games to teams they shouldn't, like the one against Doncaster a couple of weeks ago. So another danger game, but I'm backing in the Wooders. Lockie Dixon returns for his first game for the club in a while, back from Coburg.
It's a good in for them. Yeah. So I think Norwood at home. Norwood to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, Norwood have had a pretty steady side in too for most of the season, and a lot of their key players are hitting some nice form at the moment. I think that should play them. In fact, I reckon this ground is actually going to suit them this afternoon.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. Let's jump into Division 1 quickly. We might get a couple of games in before the break. We'll leave our main game that we want to discuss till after the break. We'll do the other 4 before that. Croydon and Park Orchards. So Park Orchards remain on top of the ladder after a scrappy last gasp win over East Ringwood at the BMX track. The only team they've lost to is Croydon, who have pretty much been a bit up and down since then. They beat Park Orchards, they pumped Mooroolbark, and then since then they've been a bit iffy. So you've got to go the Sharks in this one, I guess.
Yeah, look, sometimes you've got to win ugly, and you can't hold you can't be at the peak of your powers for every single round, and you just got to scrap some wins, which they did last week. Croydon probably have plateaued a little bit since the big win against Mooroolbark, and look, I think they need to. Where I reckon there's a bit of a problem with them is I'm looking at Park Orchards who've got multiple players or multiple avenues to goal that can kick plenty, whereas Croydon, they seem a little bit limited.
Yeah, we've been talking about that on FNL Sunday the last few weeks. So
maybe not limited in terms of the options, but maybe the way they move the ball, because Park Orchard seem to always, bar when they play East Ringwood, kick over 100 points.
Yeah, and that's a concern, Matt. So I would suggest that Park Orchards will win that game. Just got a bit of a feeling they're not going to be able to score enough today, Croydon.
No.
Upper Gully and Lewdale. So basically the equation here is you saw Upper Gully last week, Brash, and I know you want to have a fair run up at them, but they're obviously in a tough spot. They're done. They're relegated. Lewdale at the moment are on track to get relegated, but their win last week over Montrose means they're now a game behind Bayswater, who they play in a couple of weeks. So if Lewdale can get this win, as we expect they should, they'll be level on points with Bayswater, and there's a bit of a miraculous sort of great escape building at the LSO. I think it's still likely they'll go down, but this is a game where they can't afford to have a slip up now. They've got to win this one, and then they're going to have to beat Bayswater when they play them in a couple of weeks.
Well, for Upper Gully, look, it's a little bit of a fall from grace after watching them last week. Luke Tynan's has got a mountain job to do to get this club back even on a competitive heel. I reckon what they've done, because of an exodus of really senior players, they've looked at all their best players in juniors from the reserves and 19s, and they're blooding them. But gee, it's a real baptism of fire. If there was ever a time that you didn't want to come up against a side, right, when you're desperate for a win, who's been struggling themselves and got a big win last week and will be confident, is Upper Gully. And even though it's at Kings Park today, they're at times, and I don't like saying this, but at times last week they were basically unwatchable, and just their disposal and their decision making just constantly lets them down. And I think there's some fitness issues as well. Lilydale, like I said, big win last week. And it didn't surprise me, because Montrose just don't continue to surprise me one little bit with regards to their attitude on game day. So I think Lilydale will get the job done today.
Yeah, I think Lilydale, I have to agree with you, Brash. I just think that their form has been okay. They've showed some glimpses throughout the season and encouraged us to say that their things are starting to move forward for them. And yeah, Upper Gully, I think it's a bit of a long road ahead for them.
It is.
Montrose and Monty South. So I'm going Monty South on this one purely because, like you, Brash, I don't. Montrose have yet to win me over, despite some good performances against Croydon, against Mitcham, but then they also have those losses against Lewdale. So, and I believe last time Montana South won by about 40 points. So I'm tipping the Devils because I think their best footy's better, and like you said, Montrose, I can't trust them yet.
Yeah, I have to agree, matey. I think the Devils for me, after last time two teams played, but also I think the Devils would be keen to bounce back after a disappointing effort last week.
So they're out of the finals race, but if they win today and Mooroolbark beat Mitcham, that'll basically lock in the top 4, but we'll talk about that quickly after the break. Last game before we do go to a break is East Ringwood and Bayswater on Sunday. Baysy have been pretty good since the break and unlucky to not to get more reward. They beat Montrose at home, they almost beat Croydon at home, and in between they had a fairly decent effort in between. I can't remember off the top of my head who exactly that was against. Apologies, Bayswater fans, but they've been good. since the break.
Almost doesn't get you,
No.
cut you, gives you nothing. And East Ringwood, they're going to continue on their merry way. I think inevitably that game, that them and Park Orchards, even though it was such a low-scoring affair, will be the game that we're going to be judging all the other sides by leading up into the finals.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think East Ringwood are still the team for me to watch. They've really impressed me, and I think they're just going a little bit underrated, unnoticed at times, and I think they're going to be a very hard team to beat. They'll get the points.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, that's we'll come back with another sort of look at Mooroolbark and Mitcham as our main game in Division 1, but that's the first segment done here on the build-up. On the other side of this break, as I said, Mooroolbark and Mitcham, and then Division 2.
All right, thanks for that, guys. 4-minute break and then back after that.
50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Back in 60 seconds, guys.
Cool, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies.
10 seconds.
Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Mike's on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Donvale Reserve for the build-up to Donvale and the Ferntree Gully Eagles in a massive Division 3 top 4 clash. But at the moment, we're talking all things Division 1. We've done the first 4 games just before the break, and now we turn our attention to, well, I guess there's a few games in this division that could be considered the main game, but the game I've decided we're having a look at is Mooroolbark and Mitcham, because this is pretty much, Mitcham look to be the only side outside the top 4 that have shown inklings of getting in there. Montrose and Wanton South look to have chances, and they squandered them earlier in the year. So Mitcham at the moment still get to play, obviously, Mooroolbark today. They still have to play Park Orchards twice, and they still have to play Croydon again. So they've got opportunities to jump in with victories against those sides, and they also play East Ringwood. But they need to start winning. They need to win at least 3 of those 5 games, and they take Mooroolbark today. This is probably their best chance. Mooroolbark, Aaron Mullet's not playing anymore for the rest of the season with his AC joint. He kicked 8 goals last time these two teams played and was the difference. So that will lift the spirits of the Tigers. But basically, for the Mustangs' point of view, gents, they can lock in their finals destiny today. If they win, they'll be 3 games clear of Mitcham. They'll be 2 games clear of Montrose should they beat Wanton South. And if Wanton South win, Mooroolbark will be 3 games clear and will be safe. Look, I think Mooroolbark will win. But Mitcham at the moment have been pretty good. Jake Parenti has kicked 20 goals in 4 games with 3 bags of 6, so he's going to be tough to handle. We've seen that Mooroolbark on their off days can be pretty poor. It's one of those ones where everything says that Mooroolbark should win, but I've just got something back in my head. Brash and Spider, who are joining me on the pre-game, that maybe Mitcham can win it.
Well, Mitcham's form, having a quick chat with Neil Winterton after the game last week. Obviously, with him being out and other senior players, Spider, that are just slowly making their way back into the lineup after a mid-season slump because of injury. They were pretty impressive last week. And look, take nothing away from the opposition. I like a side, even though they had control of that game last week by quarter time, and that was because their midfield got to work and got involved real early, led by Jesse Uren, who last week I thought was best on the ground, 40 possessions. He was basically unstoppable. Barton Smith wasn't that far behind, but you know the 2 big guys, the Gordon brothers, they started to show a bit of form, and I just reckon in that third quarter, I think Neil just sort of, rather than let Upper Gully clog the back line, he basically, in the end, and this is what I like to see, I like to see coaches that back their full forwards in. And he sort of opened up the game, opened up the ground a little bit and left the forward line open for Parenti. And Parenti started to lead up the ground, and as they were getting the ball, they were actually delivering the ball to Parenti with more purpose. Yeah. And the thing is, when you see a classic full forward, right, who knows how to use his body and knows all the tricks of the trade, and there's quite a few of them, and you've got a marvel of them who, once they get on top, they're nearly unstoppable. And I reckon if that third quarter, they kicked 9 goals to zip, basically to put the game to rest. But it was Parenti on the back of some fantastic work from Barton Smith and Uren, who just ran through the midfield and off the half back line in waves. And you know, when you're watching a side not being able to stop it, it's almost pretty scary. Yeah,
but it's bigger challenge this week against a better midfield opponent in Mooroolbark, who can really carve you up if you're not on your game, and they can score really quickly, especially at a ground that they know and play so well.
And the difference this time was Parenti didn't play the first time against Mooroolbark, but Mullet did. Now the roles are reversed, right? It's going to be an interesting contest, because I don't think Parenti's going to get the latitude that he got last week. So, if he gets 4 or 5 goals in a performance today, they will have been well earned, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, it's do or die now for the Tigers. But as we said to Neil Winston on EFNL Sunday last week, that at the start of the year, if someone had said to them you'll be 5-5, they would have bitten your hand off. So I guess it's just the fact that they started the season so well that we expect more from them. But Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to watch out there, and I know I've got a few of my mates out there. I don't know if we'll trust them for analysis of the game, but they can definitely give us the score.
Bit of a one-eye version, do you think you might be getting?
Not one eye, might be no eyes the way they're going to start
okay.
their day. It's what is it? It's almost 1:30, so they would have had an hour and a half under their belt. Division 2, let's jump into that one. We'll go with the other games first, and then lead into the Bayshead and Ringwood. So South Belgrave played Knox. I assume we think Knox have won 2 in a row, so well done to them. But South Belgrave, they're too good at home. They'll win comfortably.
Yeah, big percentage booster, I think, today for South Belgrave.
Which is going to be basically worth half a win, we think. They might jump from 4th to 2nd. They won't jump to 2nd today because Heath might play Mulgrave, but it's going to come in handy for them come the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
No argument from me there about South Belgrave.
Heath might take on Mulgrave. Again, Mulgrave, they've been disappointing since the break. Before the break, they were the best of those other 3 sides. Since then, they've been the worst. They lost to Templeton, they lost to Knox. So Ryan Webster, I know he's changing things down there, so I'm not saying it's panic stations, but that would have disappointed them.
It would, and I think actually, I think Mulgrave need an injection of some fresh blood into that side, because I think they've got too many players there, and who are great soldiers, but it just seems like to me that they don't seem to be improving, Matt, year on year. I'm not seeing.
I think it's a hard one with that. Ryan came in and they had the year.
I'm not blaming him.
I'm just saying it's a hard. I think it's hard to pass judgment on them given the year off of that. I think they've had a few new inclusions. Connor Tilliard's is a new inclusion who's played some pretty good footy. You look at their list; they kept Gervasoni in the end.
Yeah, which is good.
Obviously, they probably need to find Thomas McGowan's come back.
McGowan, yeah.
He's been good. Adam Booth's probably one where he's very close to the end of his career.
But they can't keep relying on that.
That's what I was about to say, Spider. So they need to find. I think Mulgrave. It's one of those hard ones where, because they've been successful for a while, we assume that their cycle is going to start again. But I think they're going to start again and do it again. So it might be a couple more years before they start. But I think it's all there. They've kicked over 100 points for the first time in forever this year.
Yeah.
And they've got a good relationship with the Glen Waverley Rovers. So I think they're going in the right direction. They need some of the money that their cricket club's getting. But I don't know how Chris Gale goes out of the square. But yeah, I think Mulgrave. I think we can be a bit harsh. And I guess
I'm not trying to sound like I'm being harsh. But I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
The reality is that. You're looking for improvement, and I know, like you said, new coach. But when you've got the same players, and you've got very, very few injections, right? Where does the dynamic start to change?
Yeah, I think they've got 19s that are playing pretty good footy reserves. Yeah. I think we've got to give them a couple of years. I'm more bullish on them. And again, we look at Division 2 because there's no relegation in this division. Them and Templestowe and Knox to an extent.
They get a free hit.
Well, they can do whatever they like. Yeah. They can try a new game plan. They can try blokes in different positions. We know Templestowe are doing that. And that's probably the beauty of no relegation for them. It's a bit boring in terms of looking at that race, but in terms for those 3 sides, do what you want.
Yeah, they're just basically playing out time. But the Jets, for me, they're looking really good.
They'll win. They'll win the Jets.
Heathmont have probably, if you look at this division overall, I reckon Heathmont have probably, their performances over the whole season, I reckon, have been very consistent.
Yeah, they have. They have been pretty good. The other game is Boronia and Templestowe before we get to the big one. The Hawks back in the race with their win over the Base. And Matt Clark spoke to Will Lawrence this week. Basically said that, yeah, whilst they haven't been horrible, they've been pretty poor over that last 6 weeks. And it's a pretty simple equation for them now. So they've passed the first test. They'll win today against Templestowe, which should bring them to 24 points. And then hopefully for their sake, Ringwood will win and they'll be only a game out of the 4. But look, they have to do everything perfectly. But if there's a side that can do it, it's Matt Clark's team.
They're just the one thing that they've got to start getting some outside and run and they've got to get some guys in that side that can start once again getting through that midfield.
That's something for the off season. It's hard to do that.
It's hard to address now.
They might have some young players in the 2s. If it's going to be a free hit, right? Regardless of whether you win the flag or not, if you've got players in the reserves that might be able to have a go at filling that role, you should be giving them a chance.
Yeah, I guess their reserves, having seen them over the years, because they've won, I think, 3 flags or something like that. They're pretty mature blokes, which is probably a problem for Boronia.
Yeah, not a lot of young depth coming through. They
have got some youth there.
I think it's obvious what they need to do in the offset to compete in this division again. They've got to go away from that contested style and as you said, to get a bit of run. And Matt Clark knows it.
And obviously Taylor Leggett coming in the side because he was their boom recruit.
Well, he's played 4 games. I think he's been best on twice.
Yeah,
so
that's
if
what
they
I'm
can get him on
saying.
the park,
Yeah.
They have been struck by injuries. They've had a lot of players miss throughout the year.
And this inability to score as well has been a concern for them.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to have to be pretty quick with this one, so I'll just run through some dot points and then just a couple of words from you guys. The Basin and Ringwood. So basically, the Bears' loss not only brings Boronia back into the equation, but it means that they're not a certainty to make finals anymore. I still think they're a very strong chance, but they have to play Ringwood today. They play Heathmont twice and South Belgrave in the run home. That's a pretty tough run home. They play Heathmont in the last round as well. They lost to Ringwood badly last time. Ringwood did what they do. They suffocate, especially at Jubilee Park. They get teams stuck in that pocket down the hill and you can't get out of it.
Nope.
They did it last week to South Belgrave, the Redbacks. The only way to beat them, I think, is to get on top in the middle and get it down there before their backline can set up. So you'd suggest Ringwood win, but the equation, if we assume all our tips are correct, which they rarely are, but let's assume, that would mean that Ringwood will end the round on 40 points, Heathmont will jump to second on 32, South Belgrave will jump to third on 28 with the best percentage, and the Basin will be on 28, while Boronia will be on 24. So all of a sudden, the Basin have gone from, what a story, Cinderella story, 6 in a row, whatever it was, to with their run home where they play 3 more games against top 4 opposition. Boronia are licking their lips, going, we can't wait for you blokes to slip up.
Yeah, well, they've lost their last 2, the Basin and Ringwood. That's it.
Yeah. Ringwood will win.
Big test. I think Ringwood, but I think this one could be the last kick of the day sort of scenario.
It'll be low scoring because Basin are very good defensively at home and Ringwood are very good anywhere. But it's an interesting equation because, like I said, Boronia will have to do everything perfectly, but the Basin look like the team with the toughest run home, and probably with their younger list, probably the most susceptible to slip up. So it's an interesting thing to look at it there.
It's almost like the Basin now has to go into elimination final mode.
Well, especially today.
Yeah.
Well, again, maybe not today because Ringwood are so good, but when they play Heathmont, those 2 games are going to be massive because you get 2 cracks at them. And if they can get those, if they can win at least one of those, they should be safe.
Well, it's virtually an early finals match for them to try and position themselves.
Yeah. And again, I guess that's the beauty of the straight knockout top 4. If they can squeeze in, there's still a chance. We're going to go to another break here on the build-up. It's Donvale and Ferntree Gully Eagles today, but when we come back, we'll talk about the Division 4 elimination final between Sylvan and Chirnside Park, and then we'll dissect this one.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchiner.
All right, thanks, guys. That's just another 4-minute break, and then back after that.
News. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout them a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Radio's #1 motorsport show is back for 2021. The Driver's Seat with Matt McKeldin and Stephen Johnson, covering everything from Formula 1 to V8 supercars.
Jack Smith from Brad Jones Racing joined us for an honest chat about his season so far.
You know, my teammates have had results and everything's going good, so if I could tell you exactly what it was that I needed to go better, I'd be very, very happy.
That's this week on The Driver's Seat.
Join Caroline Wilson and Corey Perkin for their weekly podcast, Don't Shoot the Messenger, filled with their insights into the latest news and a little sport, good local tips, and plenty of recommendations on what they're reading, watching, and whipping up in the kitchen.
Events of the past month have revealed a toxic work culture, a government that has tried to bury an alleged rape. These matters are not crusades by feminists, they're matters for the government. They affect all Australians.
I have, as you know, very unusually bad calves for boots. I can't fit into most boots. Well, I'm lying on the bed with my leg in the air so that, all the blood rushes out of my feet.
The ABC's decision to move the Q&A program to a Thursday night.
To borrow a line from it.
Back in 60 seconds, guys.
Call, ridiculous call. Why did they do a call?
You'll find the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast on the SEN app or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Red Energy, 100% Australian electricity and gas.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites...
10 seconds.
For 1 News, Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
It's a picture-perfect day here at Donvale Reserve as we build up to the big game between the green Magpies of Donvale taking on the blue and white Ferntree Gully Eagles. Two confusing colour strips with their mascots, but nonetheless, in what's a game that'll shape the top 4 in Division 3. But we'll get into that in a second. Matthew Fahey here with Matt Lee and Wayne Brasher. Into Division 4 now, gents, on the pre-game. And there's 2 big games, really. I was initially taking notes on Coldstream Surrey Park and then quickly changed because I forgot to check that Sylvan were playing Churnside Park in pretty much a playoff for 4th spot, which is probably the most exciting thing we're going to see in Division 4 for a couple of weeks now. Sylvan lost to Churnside last time out at Kimberley Reserves, and they're the 4 and 5 side. Churnside are 5 and 4, but Sylvan have got a slightly better percentage. As I said, their previous encounter at Kimberley, Churnside won. It was pretty much 40 to 45 or something like that. So Churnside like to keep things pretty tight at home, but the Cats are very good at the Cattery. They're the only side to get within 10 goals of Coldstream, and that happened up there at Sylvan in the red dirt, and I'm backing them to get it done today purely because it's at home, and they have shown signs in the last few weeks that they are getting, they're starting to get things back together, Brash.
I agree with that.
The thing is, though, if they win today, it still means that it'll be basically a playoff to see who can do better in the run home.
Yeah, and Trent Martin would be, he'd be happy, a bit more happy than the way Sylvan's been playing in recent times, and today gives him a good confidence to go into a game and have that belief that they can win big games, and I think that they'll do that. Look, they're very tough to beat there. It's a ground that sides don't like going to. It's hard to get motivated to play there. They close you down. It's like you're like in one of those stadiums where they're all on top of you, and it's the Cats, I think, today will get the job done.
Did you ever East Burwood play out at Sylvan a couple of times, or did you miss each other?
No, they did play out there.
Oh, of course, last year.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Yep.
And what did the Rams think?
The Rams were surprised about how the advantage that they actually have, because in the end, Sylvan got out well ahead, and Eastbourne had to come back in that game to win, and they only won by about 5 points, I think, in the end.
It's an interesting.
It was a really close game. It was
the umpires' rooms there are fantastic because they use the tennis club rooms down the bottom. It's a proper cabin with a bar fully stocked of lemonade, Coke, beer, with a heater. It's a bit of a struggle to walk back up the hill.
Very country orientated. It's
it's a great little ground.
It's a great little setup.
The only thing about Sylvan is I reckon they missed a gilt-edged opportunity against Nunawading recently.
To pile on the points?
Yeah, for some percentage. I think it was 18-15 to 5-6 down at Nunawading.
That was last week, was it?
Yeah,
I think the conditions played a part.
The only reason why I say that is because Nunawading's a bit of a saucer bowl, but Sylvan isn't that much bigger, Matt.
That's what I was alluding to, yeah.
It's not that much bigger, so either the ground at Nunawading wasn't up to wasn't as good as what it would be probably up at Sylvan, but who knows at Sylvan. I'm agreeing with you. I think that for them it's been a bit of a slow burn this year, Sylvan, and I'm expecting their second half of the season to shore up that spot.
Well, it has to happen today, though, doesn't it? Because a loss here would put them 2 games behind Chirnside Park, and you don't see Chirnside dropping games against the bottom 3, and you don't see Sylvan beating any of the top 3.
No, probably not.
To then catch it up. So.
You don't reckon? You still don't think that they could beat? You don't reckon they could beat Forest Hill or
not
or
at Forest
Surrey?
Hill? They beat Forest Hill at Sylvan, and they haven't played. To be fair, they could beat Surrey Park at Sylvan, but not if they don't beat Chirnside Park. That's my point.
Yeah, right.
If that's the thing. If they win today, and as we know, their home record's so strong, they'll be fine. I think they'll make it on percentage because Chirnside probably don't score as freely, and therefore the percentage actually comes into it. But it'll be, and of course, Sylvan missed out on the finals in 2019 on percentage, so they won't be letting that happen again.
Yeah, and Forest Hill's form's been unpredictable at times, like even last week. So.
Well, last week, that's the thing. So talking about last week, Coldstream take on Surrey Park, now the second side in the division. But to be honest, you two didn't watch the entire game, or Brash was obviously out of Mitcham and Spider went to watch East Bell. But Surrey Park won, but geez, they're going to have to put on a better performance than that to get close to Coldstream. Their pressure was good, and Forest Hill was second rate, but Surrey Park themselves didn't exactly link together well. They just won by weight of territory rather than sort of system or skill.
Exactly. It just looked at times where they really just peppered the goals, and just that care and share just did not happen. And some of the turnovers, just blatant turnovers from you understand why that happens. And sometimes you can just get too selfish, can't you, Brash? When you're playing games like that, you're trying to do too much to get a result. And then you look at the team that they were playing; they were just turning the ball over blatantly as well. So, but look, big week for Surrey Park. They need to make things happen.
Yeah, look, from all reports and listening to what everyone's talked about that game last week, it almost seems like to me that Surrey Park are going to have to dig in the kit bag and find at least another 20-30% improvement on what they did last week.
Well, Michael Paolini was officially retired, I believe, at the start of this year. Well, he came back in the reserves last week, and guess who's just slotted into the ones this weekend?
Chris Michael Paolini.
Yeah, he's in. So maybe Surrey Park are sniffing perhaps that they've got a chance.
Well, put it this way, I still, on the weight of evidence so far in this particular season, there hasn't been any other side, right, that has suggested to me yet that they're going to be able to beat Coldstream, and if they do, they're going to get extremely lucky on the day to do it.
Yeah, well, we know that finals can do funny things to teams, but yes, I agree. And Coldstream are getting stronger. Darcy Carrigan's back. I read this week that Lockie Koga's coming back soon. Cameron Shields coming back soon. So they've had a lot of blokes out with injuries, and of course, I'm sure they've been happy to rest blokes to ease the financial pressure. The other 2 games, Forest Hill and Kilsyth, we assume the Zebras will get back on track, and they need to use that game to just steady themselves and figure out what happened last week, because they struggled against Chirnside the week before as well. And then the big game, Ray Baird's out there. Croydon North Emlock taking on Nunawading. A big chance for the Kangaroos to get their second ever win, and for Nunawading, they'll be desperate.
Yeah, Nunawading need to win, don't they, Brash? They just haven't even looked like getting close at times. It's been another frustrating season for them. But the Rams, on the other hand, they did a good job last time these 2 teams met and won comfortably. So they'll be confident going into this game.
Look, Emlock get beaten by 30-odd goals last week, yet they go in favourites in this game.
Well,
that's the vagaries of Division 4 football.
Well, it's a good point, Brash. It's a bit nuanced, isn't it? Not often a team, would lose by 100 points and then roll in training and go, we got the next one, boys. So let's jump into Division 3 now. This game itself is an interesting one. We haven't seen Ferntree Gully this year. We haven't seen Donvale this year. Donvale, both sides a bit of an enigma. Ferntree Gully the last couple of weeks have struggled, but spoke to a couple of people pre-game. They've had a few injuries and a few prior commitments. It might have been weddings and so on. For Donvale, they're interesting because they've knocked off Waverley Blues twice. And have been pretty impressive sometimes, but then have dropped games both times to East Build. So what's your read, Spider, being our Division 3 expert?
Yeah.
I actually think the biggest concern for Donvale is their starts. And that's been really notable in some of the games where they have been slow out of the blocks and they've had to play catch-up footy for the bulk of the rest of the game. And then And that East Bell game is a perfect example of that in conditions when, there was no goals in the first quarter. Then East Bell kicked 7 goals, just bang, and the game was literally gone from them. And they only got one or two goals for the rest of the match. It was just very hard work for them. They do have a tendency through that midfield they do get beaten, and when they get beaten, they struggle at clearance. So they've got a lot of work to do. Lenardi he's a good player for them. If Hay can once again step up, I mean, they've got the players there. It's doing it on a consistent basis, and a team like Ferntree Gully, who have the bigger bodies, they'll like the contest today, and they'll probably be able to adapt to this ground better than some of the other sides that have come here throughout the course of the year. So it's game on. I think this is I've been I'm probably leaning now to Ferntree Gully, but I think Donvale are a really good chance at home. But I think this could be decided truly on the factor of numbers and conditions. If they get this right in the first quarter, Ferntree Gully, and put some scoreboard pressure on, I think that Donvale's going to really struggle to keep up with them.
Well, you're right. Well, Spider, it's funny you should say they're slow starting. They're ranked number. They're scoring 20 points a quarter in their first quarter, Donvale.
They might have been skewed by a couple of bigger performances.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but overall, they're ranked fifth.
Yeah.
In offence and second in defence, which is a big ploy, whereas Ferntree Gully ranked third for defence and they're ranked third for offence as well. So when you look at both, this is, you hit the nail on there. This is going to be as close as how it's going to get.
It is. And what I'm saying too is, like, they've played a couple that, we've known these two teams played Fair Park and Donvale, they've probably scored in a couple of those games a little bit more sufficiently. So, look, sometimes the numbers don't always tell you the exact facts. So.
I think, though, Matt, with... who's got more to lose today? I actually reckon Ferntree Gully have, right, because they've come up against Warrandyte and they've been soundly beaten there by both. Twice. They haven't beaten Waverley Blues either. They're two well-credentialed sides. I don't know if they didn't beat East Bell.
They beat Waverley Blues the first time, Ferntree Gully, and they beat East Bell the first time.
Ferntree Gully, that was a 3-goal margin in there, but that game was decided really late. So that was pretty much arm wrestle all day.
I agree with you there, Brush. I think, and Division 3, outside of Warrandyte, is the one where it's on for young and old.
Yeah.
So from 2nd to 6th, which is Waverley Blues, the win percentage is 60 to 66.
Yep.
So Waverley Blues, whilst they've got the disadvantage of having 2 buys in the last month, what's going to happen is they're going to likely sit 6th for a long time because they'll have always played an extra game than everyone.
Yep.
But then come that round they have the bye, you won't be surprised that they'll actually not play and jump because win percentage will all of a sudden everyone will become to the even game. So I'm pretty bullish on the Waverley Blues, so I don't think... And Ferntree Gully, from all reports, the deck was horrible out there at Wally Chew last week. It was horrible, and they had 316 to 410. So
510.
Was it? 510. Yeah. 316 to 510.
I think there's more on the line for Donvale today.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I still think the top 4... This is my top 4. I think the 4 that currently now is the top 4, but I think Waverley are going to have to take a scalp before the end of the... on the way home to get
Well, they took one last week.
Well, next week, the big game is against East Bell. If they can beat East Bell next week, that puts East Bell back under pressure.
I just think personally in this division, there is not one side really, and probably Warrandyte to a lesser extent, but no.
Warrandyte ranked 1 and 1 for offense and defense. Pretty sure, off the top of my head, they are.
Yeah,
they were definitely the best defense, and in recent weeks, their offense has overtaken the likes of Ferntree Gully.
They average 90 points for and 58 against.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you look at it. Warrandyte, only team that can safely play finals. And it was Ferntree Gully with them for a bit, but since then they've lost a couple of games. So now it's Warrandyte, and then 5 teams going for 3 spots. I think Scoresby's the weakest of the 5 teams.
I think they're out. I think they're out of it personally.
Yeah, well, they're 5th at the moment, but I think I agree with you there, Spot. I think they're the weakest of those 5, and then at the moment, Ferntree Gully would probably be the favourites just because what they put down before the break. But yeah, it's a big game for both sides because a loss here will put them right back in the mix, and then a win, as you said, Spider, will solidify their chances of playing finals. The other 3 games in this division, Fair Park and Glen Waverley. This is another big chance for Fair Park to get their first win, Spider. They're pretty good at home, and Glen Waverley have shown at times that they can take it up to the big boys.
They did, but
have times Glen Waverley also shown that they can't take it up to
Well,
the
they
big boys.
stopped to a walk last week in the second half, Brash Glen Waverley, and Eastburn just came at them and basically came from behind a 4-goal margin, which they could have extended well out. But no, Fair Park a good chance though, but I do think Glen Waverley will get a win.
Yeah, no. In fact, I'm going to give Fair Park a chance today. I think they've been working up to it. I reckon.
Yeah, and I think everyone's, we want to avoid sides having winless seasons, so we want Upper to win, we want Nunna to win, and we want Fair Park to win. Waverley Blues and Whitehorse's season's pretty much done now. They've won those 2 games, so they should be fine. And the Waverley Blues need to keep winning and have shown that they can put teams to the sword.
Yeah, I think they'll win easily.
Padbury's the only danger to Waverley Blues winning this game.
And he's been quiet in the second half.
That's right.
And then Warrandyte and Scoresby. So Warrandyte, the only team they've lost to this year is Scoresby, but Scoresby kicked 11-3 to 9-14 or something that day. So they definitely had their chances, Warrandyte. And since then, they've been faultless. They've beaten everyone that's come before them. They've beaten Ferntree Gully twice by about 40 points. They've beaten East Burwood. I'm really impressed with Warrandyte. And I think Scoresby are good, but they're not up to Warrandyte's level.
No, they're not. And I think they'll still be competitive, but I think in the end, Warrandyte will just do enough to win.
I think at this particular stage for mine, it'll probably be a Warrandyte East Burwood grand final.
There you go. And luckily for us, we've seen both of those sides before. Quick tip, gents, on this game before we say farewell.
Ferntree Gully.
By how much, Spider? You think it's a close one?
Yeah, 10 points.
10 points?
Yeah, the Gully by 3 goals, Matt.
Ben Warren-Smith isn't with us today. He's a bit crook, so in the honour of Ben Warren-Smith, I'm going to tip the home side, as he always does. But I agree. I think it's going to be a close one. I think, one, as you mentioned, Donvale don't really have the scoring power to dominate a side. And then 2, they're 2 pretty evenly matched teams. So hopefully for us, it's a very exciting one. Spider, are you going to hang around and have a look today? Obviously, East Burwood got the bye.
They've got the bye, but no, I'll hang around for a little while and see how we go. And then might even see if I can sneak off and have a look at one of the other games so we can talk about all the different stuff on FNL Sunday tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. And we apologise to those watching on the live stream. Davis Harrigan just walked right in front of the camera. What a sight. Brash, looking forward to having you back on the call team today, mate.
Thank you very much.
And spending the next few hours with you. On behalf of Spider, Brash and myself, Matthew Fodder, thanks for joining us for the build-up. And on the other side of this break, we're going to be on Eastern FM as well as the SEN app, EFNL Facebook and YouTube to bring you all the action between Donvale and the Ferntree Gully Eagles.
All right, thanks, guys. So just a 4-minute break and then we'll be back after that.
He's down on clearances and what's the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares, or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland.
Back in 60 seconds now, guys.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He's circled back. He's circled back. Yes! Straight into his...
Back in 10.
Young T. Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
It's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
Mics are on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Donvale Reserve on this beautiful Monday afternoon. It's Donvale.
Monday?
Monday! Oh, I've had a brain fade. I've had a brain fade. Saturday. I hope it's not Monday. I wish we could watch footy on Mondays. It's Donvale and Ferntree Gully Eagles here in the EFL game day. Oh, geez, good start, everyone. Welcome to those who didn't catch the SEN build-up here on Eastern FM 98.1, and of course on Facebook and YouTube. That was on Saturday, so they've had a couple of days to listen back to it, Steve.
You've been watching too much interleague football, mate.
Yes, I'm stuck on my midweek stuff. Matthew Foddy here, introducing the rest of the call team. Wayne Brasher, who joined us for pre-game. Brash.
Yeah, it's an interesting interesting game set down for discussion this afternoon, and looking forward to it. A lot here for Ferntree Gully to digest this afternoon. They need to win to really stamp their credentials on a final spot here.
Absolutely. Steve White.
Yeah, thanks, Matty. Beautiful Monday afternoon down here at Donvale Reserve. But I just called the boss and told him I'll be a bit late. But no, I have to agree with Brash's sentiments. Crucial game for Ferntree Gully here. We shall see what evolves over the next couple of hours.
Absolutely. And Brett Beston, who's riding shotgun today. Besto, what are you expecting from these two teams?
Well, I don't even know why I'm here, because I definitely don't work Mondays. I'm looking forward.
Overtime.
I'm looking forward to this one. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Donvale. I covered them extensively in that famous premiership season from 2017. I know it's a few moons ago, but they've got a few survivors from that team up against this Ferntree Gully side, who have also been travelling pretty well. But I think Donvale might just get it done today. They've got a couple of key players. Nick Murphy's been finding the big sticks, and the likes of Liardi out of the middle, Big Haig in the ruck as well, sometimes going forward. Tough one to call, but I think Donvale for me just at home.
Absolutely, and it's an interesting one. The ground's in fantastic condition. Usually the outer, surrounds have been pretty good, but from all reports, the centre square not an inch of mud. It's actually, they've rolled it so hard it's rock hard from all reports.
I'm glad they're not playing on the top oval, mate.
No, well, exactly.
There's cricket up there.
Yeah, there is. I was about to say, it's a game. It might be Ray Baird out there having
just bowling grubbers the whole time.
Exactly. Yeah, so reportedly, watch for a few players. They might go A over T on that centre square when bursting through. But other than that, the conditions look pretty incredible. When we got here this morning, there was fog across the surface, but it's obviously cleared today, and we can see the skyline in the background. For those joining us on the YouTube and Facebook streams, Ryan Long and Jared Beeland are on ground level, so they'll no doubt give us an update on the conditions soon. But when was the last time you guys were out at Donvale? I think it was that season you talk about.
Yeah, that 2017 season. I can remember coming out here, they just...
Whitehorse, they belted Whitehorse.
Yeah, and they'd just done the new rooms, I think, from memory, and I think we might have called from the rooms.
Here, but we went inside, I think, afterwards.
Yeah, I certainly remember going in there, and they were brand spanking new rooms. So, look, great to be out at Donvale. As I say, they've got a few different players. Matty Pfeiffer's in charge back back in those days. But Kevin Collins, club grade, is back, and he's doing a great job. And they're right in there. So, as I say, it's a tough one to call, but I've got a real soft spot for Donvale, and I think they might just get it done today.
And then what about you gents? What are your memories of Donvale? I think they've got a function on later tonight, so we might be able to squeeze in.
Oh, look, I think since 2017, I think they've managed to keep some of those players. There's still a few guys out there. Cole Toast hasn't played a lot of football since then. He's been injured, and he's been much an integral part. But I mean, it's good to see guys like Matt Liardi still going, and James Rouser. And I think James Rouser has played 6 games so far this year and been in their best 2 and 4 of those games.
Super player.
So I mean, I see him as a bit of a barometer to Donvale's chances today.
Absolutely. We'll cross down boundary side now to Jared and Ryan for an update on the conditions and possibly the toss.
G'day guys, Jared here. The conditions are pretty lovely down here. The wind's a little bit swirly. It looks like
it looks like Donvale's kicking to the club rooms.
Yeah, that is exactly right. And here's Ryan with some of the changes for the game.
Just one late change for Ferntree Gully boys. Jaden Brown is out, which is a big loss for Ferntree Gully. He's been the best 4 times, and he's replaced by Riley Pentland, who is lining up at the half-forward flank and should play a bit of time in the middle.
There you go. Great work down there from Ryan and Jared. Going to hand over to Besto here for this big one between Donvale and Ferntree Gully in Division 3.
Thanks, Matty. As we get set, a glorious day here at Donvale. Let's hope it stays that way. The umpire sends it high. Up they go. It was McCormick who was in the ruck first up. Taking the ground there. I think it's Liardi under that pile of bodies. And we'll have a ball up. So interesting to see McCormick going into the first ruck contest as the ball goes up again. Moment again, it was Donvale that got the tap. That's Grocott, I think, who was taking the ground. No, it was Kenner as the ball comes spewing out towards the far side of the field. It's all a bit untidy, and it's been taken over there by a Ferntree Gully player. And we'll just watch the replay and see if we can see who it is.
Great clearance from Peters, wasn't it?
Kick out came from Peters, yeah, and it was a good strong mark over there.
McInerney.
Yeah, Wayne McInerney.
And it is McInerney. Yes, the big boy McInerney. He's had a fantastic year. 15 goals from his 8 games so far. And he's looking for number 16. Here he comes. On its way. Let's see how umpire looking pretty confident. He doesn't move. So Big McInerney sends it through, and we're Ferntree Gully open the account out here at Donvale Reserve. They have the first goal of the game, and we've played just over a minute.
McInerney, he's a bit of a dead eye when he gets his hands on the ball. Prolific player in this competition. He's been going down the grades, so expect to see maybe at another lower grades next year.
Div 4 next year.
Div 4, but he's with Ferntree Gully this year, and it's a good start for him.
Absolutely.
He might be playing Rezzies next year.
It's a pretty strong forward line. The Eagles one.
What team at Nunawading? Brett.
Up in the middle we go. D'Essio and McCormack. McCormack with the leap. D'Essio with the hit out. Seward got first hands to it, but was wrapped up immediately by Liardi, who's looking in pretty good nick at the moment. Is McCormack D'Essio. D'Essio doesn't.
McCormack.
He doesn't get off the ground, D'Essio, but it's a free kick going to McCormack for a block, and that usually happens any time a ruckman stands his ground. So McCormack will go into this pocket right in front of us. He's looking for Murphy. Worked his man worked his man under the footy, and then took a beautiful 2-grabber. Nick Murphy, absolute superstar player. And you'll line up on a 45-degree angle about 35 metres out, gents.
He also had Chris Rinquest on offer just down here in the pocket, and I actually thought he was going to go to him, but no, Murphy just muscled his man out.
Yeah, unfortunate for Luke Sprouse there. He was just caught, wasn't he? It was one of those moments where he knew the ball was going to land in his opponent's hands. So Nick Murphy, been a star of this club for a long time, comes in 40 metres out on the left foot. Looks pretty good off the boot, might be sliding across the face, and is. So Donvale get their first score of the afternoon, 1 behind to Nick Murphy. So both times we've had pretty clear centre clearance breakouts. So at the moment it's the Eagles 1 straight 6, Donvale just the 1 behind.
So such a key component of the Donvale forward line. Of course, Jack Purcell was part of that 2017 premiership as well, but he's not there anymore as Chimera kicks it out. Great mark take. Oh, it wasn't taken. It was Harper who had hands to the ball, but he just couldn't hang on to it in the end.
He's at Ashwood now, is Purcell in the Southern League.
Okay.
So, kicking bagfuls over here.
Yeah, they were a mighty combination when the two of them were playing together. So umpire to throw it back in, and up they go. Coming over the back there was McCormack. He's been quite prominent early in the ruck, and taken there by Bull, who's wrapped up, and the umpire says we'll have a ball up.
Interested to see how much of the play goes down the wings, considering they're not even balling it up in the centre where that mud patch is.
No, as long as it's not like the last time I watched these two sides play. The centre square was just an absolute quagmire as the ball goes back into the contest again, and wrapped up in there.
Last time we were actually out here was 2019 Waverley Blues and
was it?
Donvale.
We were here.
Yes, you, me and Damo. I remember that one.
Yep,
That was
the three of you.
That was a struggle. Yeah.
Another stoppage on the half.
The whole ground was like the top oval. It was just...
Actually, very disappointed, boys. Ringquist has got rid of the man bun that he had a few years ago.
I saw a bit of comments on their social media having to go with Zach Haig about his. So D'Essio just stands strong, gets the hit out. The running coming through was Alex Bull. And then D'Essio just throws Rouser to the ground. The umpire went to put her whistle to her mouth but ignored it. And they go inside forward 50, the Magpies. It'll bounce first. Murphy gets there, picks it up. He'll swing onto the left slipper here, puts it back to a good spot. Beautiful. He might have found Ringquest. I think he has. So Ringquest takes the mark, 20 metres out directly in front. That's beautiful work from Nick Murphy. A lot of forwards, Brash would have just tried to snap that one over their head, but such as his class and poise, he steadied, didn't he, and found an option in the middle.
Exactly. That's the art of being a good full forward, knowing when you can't kick them and kicking them to someone that can put it in a better position.
So Ringquest from directly in front to give the Magpies an early lead. Trots in, didn't look too confident off the boot, but he snuck it home. Umpire putting on a bit of theatrics. Donvale 1-1-7, Ferntree Gully 1 straight 6. We've gone almost 5 minutes in this first quarter, and so far, Steve and Brash, it's been a pretty good game to watch.
Yeah, he had Holland on offer too. They had 2 or 3 players streaming forward, so that's great awareness there from Murphy. But yeah, it looks like Ferntree Gully got a bit of manning up to do in the back at the moment.
It's going to be tight, as the opening minutes have shown that it looks like a game of where stoppages are going to be king for the afternoon. Yep. It's whoever takes control and wins those stoppages to set up the play that's going to have the most advantage throughout the contest.
Quite right, Brash, as the ball comes back into the middle. Up it goes. It's that man McCormack again spending some early time in the ruck. Chasing through there was Rorsa. Did well, got it out. Now they chip it out wide looking for Ringquist, but he's overcooked that one and it'll go out of bounds. And we'll have a throw. And just talking about Nunawading before, boys. See, Zach Haig has went to Nunawading for a season or two. And he's come back to the club that he had so much success with back in 2017. So nice to see him back. There's the umpire gets set to send it back into the play. Up they fly. Real dominance from Donvale early on in the ruck. Going in there looking for it was Liardi. Couldn't take it. It's on the ground. Good tackle.
Oh, held. Well, that's a bit rough.
And what's he calling?
That was a 50-50 one.
Yeah, that was very. I thought that was a completely fair tackle. Now it's Ball who gets it forward. Looking for a target. Goes through the hands, but we're going to get a throw. It's a mark, I think. Free kick, mark, whatever you like.
Yeah, took
chop
the
arms.
Yep.
So Ball will... No, in fact, it's not Ball now. It's Acosta Harvey.
I believe this is Pentland. There was a number of jumper changes for the Eagles.
Sorry, yes, there is Pentland going forward. Up they go. Almost a mark taken there. The ball goes to ground. Little handball over the top from McCormack, but they're in a bit of trouble. Donvale will be happy just to kill this. Diving on it was Liardi, and they'll have a stoppage inside the Donvale defensive 50.
So good early signs from the Eagles as they set up behind the ball. And we'll go up again. Good hit out, Magpies. Liardi hands it off, and they'll eventually find their way to McCormack. Jake, that's a horrible grubber inboard. His namesake, Billy, couldn't pick it up, and then laid a strong tackle. And the Eagles are working hard. Rouser, Brash's man, been impressive in all his games so far this season. Kicks it out to the wing for Joshua Jordan. Dropped the mark, then Sprouse came through, handballed over the top to Bull.
Strong tackle.
Sorry, not Bull. Seward, his kick along the ground to Bull. He lost the footy. Now coming through is Liardi. We're sort of hoping, everyone's just sort of hoping for a whistle at the moment to give them a chance to catch their breath. Ringquest is taken in a good tackle there by Peters, and we will have a ball up just forward to centre wing for the Eagles, who are 1 straight 6. Donvale 1-1-7 so far in this Division 3 top 4 clash. D'Essio holds his ground. McCormack going over the top. Liardi almost didn't realise he had the footy. D'Essio's handball comes out to Camera. Comes inboard, nice kick. Found a man in the middle who grubbers it. It's an end-over-end punt from Seward, and the Magpies will get a chance to rebound. They've got men out on the outer side. Kick to space should suit Brandon Kapakalakis, the man from Alexandra. Didn't get there on the second bounce. Got his handball through. Did well. Found Mill. Mill links up nicely, and the Magpies will go inside forward 50. Jordan's the target. 1-on-1, went over the back. Coming up at his Hay, got a teammate to his left, didn't collect the footy. And then strong tackle from 2 Eagles, and we'll have a ball up inside forward 50 for the Magpies.
I'll tell you what, boys, just looking at Daniel D'Iso before, he is a monster, isn't he? He's the sort of guy that you would not want to run into on a dark night, that's for sure.
One of the EFNL's greatest journeymen, Daniel D'Iso.
So into the ruck it goes. It's a ball a bit untidy, but Ferntree Gully take it away. It was D'Iso, the man we were speaking about, and we'll have a...
Scoresby was his last team, wasn't it?
Yep, throw by the look, so we'll have a free kick.
I've just noticed with the umpiring, the interpretation for incorrect disposal is just a little inconsistent early. They need to tighten that up because I think it's going to be one of those crucial ones throughout the game.
So Billy and Jake McCormack both playing today. This is Billy as he tries to get Donvale's second of the day. No excuses for not kicking goals today in these conditions, but he's pulled that and he goes out to the left and through for a minor score, and Donvale will add to their tally by 1. It's 1-2-8 playing 1 goal 6, and Donvale lead by 2 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
McCormack named synonymous with the Donvale Football Club. Good to see the two sons playing here as well.
Interesting kick from Camera. He took his yardage out of the square and then hooked it across the face to centre half back to Bull. Rouser, low drilling ball to Grocott. Left foot snap to the top of the square. It might fall in the hands of Jordan, who marks it in the goal square. And I think he thought about rushing it quickly onto his boot, but collided with the goalpost, and will go back and line up from 5 metres out directly in front. He won't miss this. Really interesting decision there from Matthew Camera. We'll come back to it once Jordan kicks the goal.
It was almost kicking Ope there, Wally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I know what he saw, but he didn't think it through.
No.
So Jordan comes in, pops it through. Second goal for the Magpies. They skip out 2-2-14 to Ferntree Gully 1 straight 6. So yeah, Camera, boys, he had the kick out. All the players led to this, I guess you could call it defensive wing, but it's the far wing from the club rooms.
Yeah.
And then decided at the last second with that beautiful left foot of his to try and hook it back towards Alex Bull, who was standing at centre half back, but he had 2 Magpies on him.
And I think the goalpost came off second best, just having a look at it there. But,
it's still going.
Yeah. But no, a good early start, I think, for Donvale. As I said, there's a few sort of early cracks starting to show in the Ferntree Gully backline. I know it's still early days, but that might be something they'll address at quarter time.
I'm sure the Magpie sweeping jokes will come out as the day wears on, as the umpire gets set to send it aloft. Beautiful conditions out here, as we mentioned. These D'Iso, he's a monster as he gets the tap over the top of Haig. It was there for Sitsikas, and now it's fallen for Donvale. Everything falling for Donvale at the moment as they go forward. The mark was almost taken there by Grocott, and they have got the goal.
Murphy.
I think Murphy it is again. He's having a stormer. He's been absolutely everywhere, and a brilliant front and centre there. It was McCormack who got the front and centre. It was knocked down, and he just sprung on it, and he's put it through for his second goal. So suddenly it's a 14-point margin. 3-2-20 plays 1 goal 6 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Not only Nick Murphy play the leading forward, but he also can play the small forward option, and he did it to perfection there.
So it looks like Haig and McCormack are 1-2ing full forward and ruck. That's a pretty handy duo.
Yeah.
And in either position. So they've definitely got some nice height, the Magpies, and are looking the goods. Out to a 2-goal lead. D'Iso won the hit out, but it didn't go anywhere. And there's been a free kick for going the way of the Magpies for a hold. So it'll be Rouser. And then they go into this forward pocket. Nicely weighted kick. Jordan leads up, takes a strong mark. The third prong in attack. And then he pops it up. McCormack wants it in the pocket. It's a nice kick. And what a grab.
What a mark.
Unfortunate there for Dame Wilding, who actually, I think his fist was in the perfect spot, but the ball just sort of went over it. And McCormack, despite in unconvincing fashion, takes the mark and will line up from a very tight angle here to make it 4 in a row for the Magpies.
Just had the leap and the awareness to drag it actually around his arm.
Yeah.
So beautifully done.
We're giving him the left out. He's going to go the check side. Made pretty good connection with it. Oh, that's a brilliant goal from Billy McCormack.
Goal of the day so far.
Well, absolutely. There's only been 5 of them, but it's an early leader. And the Magpies skip out to a comfortable lead. They're 4-2-26. Ferntree Gully 1 straight 6. And to be honest, gents, I didn't know what Joshua Jordan was doing, popping it into the pocket like that. But obviously, he knew Billy McCormack had that in the wheelhouse.
Well, I wonder if Wilding's going to stay on McCormack or match that much longer, because it looks like I think it's Luke Sprouls has now gone on to Nick Murphy, so I think there's going to be a few more changes if this continues.
They need to make some changes now very quickly.
They certainly do. Things are going to get a bit ugly as D'Iso fights hard in the ruck. He manages to kind of win it. It comes out, but it's Donvale again who get it and go forward. They really are dominating. Gets up Murphy. Wow, brilliant mark. Super mark from Nick Murphy. Got it on about the third bite of the cherry. as we just watch the replay.
Too easy.
Just one out of the middle again.
Brash, didn't Spider say Donvale have slow starts?
Yeah, they did.
Juggle. He got it on the third go, but he was always going to take that, the big man.
Whitey, I don't reckon they've got a match-up for Nick
No,
Murphy.
I don't think they do either.
He's looking ominous, that's for sure, as he goes back to try and kick his second of the day, and this is already looking pretty ugly for Ferntree Gully. He's the kick. Listen to the crowd. No, it's off target. He sprayed it. So an opportunity goes begging, but it's still all Donvale at the moment. 4-3-27 to 1-6 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we've had about 13 and a half minutes.
Looks like Wilding has gone up the ground now. I think he's gone up to centre-half back.
Yeah.
So they bring it out of defence. Quirk, Chad, to the defensive side this time. One on by Sertzikos. And then the Gully, they'll get a chance here if Peters can get it out to Sertzikos. He definitely threw that. Sertzikos got the handball off. Harper, low ball in the McInerney direction. Did well to hold his spot. And then we'll go back and get it again, Wayne McInerney, the only man from the Ferntree Gully side to hit the scoreboard today. And we'll get a stoppage at centre-half forward for the Eagles, their first real chance to take a breather in recent times, because Donvale have just been walking it out of the middle in recent times. So up we go again. Big leap. Haig got the clearance himself, and then the handball from Cameron. And they're just linking up nicely, the Magpies, looking really good. Low spearing ball to the wing. Sertzikos should get there in front of Mannon. And then takes it over the line for a boundary throw in. So at the moment, the Gully probably just need some time in possession.
They need to shake themselves out of their lethargy here, the Eagles, because they seem to be going up and down on the spot at the moment.
So we'll throw it in again. As Haig will go in the ruck against what looks to be Sean Curry, another stalwart of the competition. Handball to space. Liardi will get there first. He's got a man in support in Kapakolakis. Can't get clean hand stood, and we'll have another boundary throw in. 15 minutes gone in this first quarter. The first real lull we've had for about 10 minutes, with Donvale 4-3-27 to the Eagles 1-6. It was just goal for goal for early stages there. Or goal for goal. We throw it in again. Curry, he had front spot, and there's going to be a free kick going the way of the Eagles for a hold in the ruck contest. I could see it. I saw a bit of jumper.
Yeah.
I always find ruck free kicks hard to interpret.
They're a bit of a lottery.
Even when I umpired, it's just two big blokes grappling with each other. But nonetheless, Curry's got it, and he's going to just put it to the hot spot. It's a nice high ball. What are the options down there? There's plenty of them. D'Essio's down there, brings it to ground, then collects it at ground level, bullocks his way through. He's dropped that footy. It should be holding the ball, and is. The big fella, the big brute, took on three of them and couldn't win out. And it's a free kick in the defensive back pocket for the Magpies.
Carrying the ball and three Donvale defenders with him.
I wonder if he's a furniture removal stand. So it just looks like it, doesn't he? As the ball comes back into play. Nice mark taken there by Mannion. Mannion sends it long. A long kick. It's going to be cut off, though. Not a good kick, and Lovat was back there. Or Lovett, I think is how we say his name. So Lovett with the football. They've slowed it down, Ferntree Gully, but they really need to get moving. Kick into the middle, nicely done by Gray. He needs to get into the game, Kieran Gray. He's one of their key players.
Well done.
Ball goes to ground, all nicely roved there, and they've got a chance here as the ball goes over the top. There should be a goal, and in fact, not a goal. It's gone out wide, and McInerney has taken it, and he'll be the one to go back. Actually, just talking about Kieran Gray, Brash, he's been a bit quiet today, and he's quite a key member of this Ferntree Gully lineup.
Yeah, early season he was in career best form. Obviously, he's just had a lull. Just a lull.
So
McInerney's just had. Has he kicked the goal, has he?
Yep.
He has. So while we were just talking about that, McInerney sent it through, so he gets the second Ferntree Gully goal of the day, and that margin's back to 15 points, looking a little bit more manageable. 4-3-27, plays two straights on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. McInerney gets his second.
Much better play there, Righty.
Yeah, and down the wing too. That might be the key down that far side. They've moved that in two, three possessions, and they were in. Three or four of the opportunities Donvale have come straight from the centre clearance when it's one-on-ones. Outside of that, both defences have been pretty good. So obviously this part of the game is going to be key, and it's Donvale who look like they're going to win in. Kapakolakis might have been taken high. Had a good year since crossing over from Alexandra. It's quite a big crossover, Alexandra to Donvale. It's not Alexandra Greece, as his surname suggests.
Well, I'm sure that might have been the temptation to go there as Peters comes bursting through the stoppage. Kick off the boot, should suit Acosta Harvey. Gets there in front of his opponent, Giles. And then it's the Magpies forcing it forward. Crocker did well. Got his hands to it, and then handballs out in front of Acosta Harvey again. Short chipping ball. Finds its way out wide to the leading Calspiris. Calaspiris now, low, into the pocket. It's all the Magpies, though. Good intercept mark taken back there by Ethan Duncan. And it looks like it's been given 50 for the late hit by D'Alessio. So 25, and Duncan will come to centre-half back. It's a weird ground, it's so wide. There's about centre-half back encompasses about 30 metres. He gives the handball off, and they head out now direction. McCormack's got the sit! Oh, couldn't bring it down, big Billy McCormack. What a quarter he's having. Ball hits the deck, slapped out of there. Eagles are under pressure. Cameron wants a free kick for holding the man. He won't get it. He sits on top of it and will have a ball up on this hard forward flank. Good tackle from Kyle Wignall, who was just unfolding perfectly there for big Billy McCormack.
Trying to outdo his mark from just here a few moments ago.
So umpire to throw it up. There's up they go, and it's knocked down there. It's fallen for Ferntree Gully. It's bouncing around a little bit awkwardly, trying to get his hands on it. There was Gasparoni, and at the bottom of that is Wignall. And the umpire says we'll have a secondary ball up. So that goal that McInerney kicked just a few moments ago, much needed for Ferntree Gully. It's got it back to a 15-point margin, and we've had 19 minutes of this first quarter. Up they fly again. It's a bit inconclusive. Comes out for Ferntree Gully, starting to just get a little bit going. The kick forward from Seward. Up they fly. It goes right over the back, though, and it's nicely roved there by Lamont. Lamont goes out towards the halfback flank, or knocked away there by Chimera. And it's going to go full for Ferntree Gully. Close to boundary line. Can they keep it in? No, they can't. And it's out for a boundary throw-in. So, umpire to send it in. Getting close to time on in this first quarter.
Looks like Chad Quirk's gone down to fullback now.
So up it goes. It was Curry who got the tap that time, but it's Donvale who get it forward. But it's fallen in the hands there of Quirk, who needs to get a good handball away, and he does. Finds Seward. Seward gets it off, and the kick down forward is not a good one, and it's been cut off. And Donvale will come back for the umpteenth time. They go inside 50. Can they get a mark? It goes right over the top. Trying to get, so close. That was
the other goalpost.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's christening both of them, it seems.
Oh, that's a bit nasty.
But it looks like Harrison Giles took a massive body. Let's have a look at this on the replay. Just ran out of real estate.
He's all right, but he certainly ran out of room, as you said, Steve, and he crashed into the post, but he's okay.
So Camera this time takes his full measures, looks for D'Alessio, who in the end got a good fist to it. The Gully should be away here. Handballed off to Gray. Long, inside forward 50. It's a tumble punt. Who can get there first? It'll be the Magpies in the shape of Heverin, who's taken over the shoulder, and we'll get a free kick at centre-half back. So that was better play from the Eagles out of defence. Camera, he's obviously got a good leg on him, and other than that mishap earlier on, has been pretty good by foot. And speaking of good by foot, the Magpies swing it out wide. Grocott has got it. He's got Murphy down the line. You suspect that's where he heads. So Murphy and Sprouse do battle. Ball hits the deck. Beautiful. Beautiful roving, as Steve comments. Haig one-on-one down here. Well done there by the defender in Wilding. He's just going to want this ball over the line and takes it there. So Dame Wilding, I think the Ferntree Gully defenders are just severely shorter than the Murphy, Haig, McCormack trio. And so far, that ball on the ground suiting them a bit better every time it's gone in the air. It's looked to be all the Magpies. So Haig and D'Alessio will go at it again. Two ruckmen that don't really like to jump. D'Alessio won the hit out. Rouser came through, and then Sprouse bursts away from the stoppage, kicks it up the line, tops there for the Eagles. Does well to lay a tackle, and they should get another stoppage in the centre square, and they do. Good teamwork there from Top and Calaspiris for the Eagles. So Top will go up in the ruck against McCormack. McCormack got the hit out though. Liardi going the wrong way. Handball back to his teammate who just does the goose step and then goes with the barrel inside forward 50. Murphy got rid of Sprouse, brought it to ground. There's the handball from Giles out to Ringquest for his second in the quarter. Goal! Beautiful teamwork from the Magpies. They've got their fifth. 5-4-34. Ferntree Gully 2 straight 12, and we have gone 22.5 minutes in this first term.
Well, Harry Giles' vision there to see Ringquest just skirting around the outside. Brilliantly done right off the drop there at the one-on-one contest. And that's what Donvale are doing so well this whole quarter, Brash.
Yeah, how was that look-away handball from Liardi as well in that midfield?
And the goose step in the middle there might have been David Holland. Yeah. And it went the barrel, which was interesting. But, yeah, that was a bit of a training drill, wasn't it?
Yep.
wasn't it, Steve, the way they got that handball roving going as we go down boundary side?
Yeah, you spoke about the high disadvantage in the forward line for Donvale. They've had 7 marks inside 50 so far this quarter, so clearly an impact there, and they're being able to crumb.
Thanks, Ryan. That certainly tells a tale. And here they come forward again. Donvale, a kick inside 50. Murphy's chasing it, but getting back then, doing well with Sprouls. He's got it out towards the boundary. He needs to find a target, and he does, puts it out of bounds on the full, but at least he was back there to save the day because Murphy was lurking, and that was looking dangerous. As we go boundary side again.
Yeah, so it was mentioned before the game that, Ferntree Gully's midfield is one of their strengths. It's been Donvale's engine room of Liardi, of Grocott, and of Rouser that has provided such impetus for Donvale.
Up goes Grocott, can't take it. It falls for Ferntree Gully, and they'll be able to work it across half back, and that's out on the full. That's we'll give him 6 for that because that's gone straight over the fence. No excuse for poor kicking today. There's no breeze. Beautiful day. And this is the last thing they need. Ringquist with the ball. Looking around for some options.
Top of the square, I'd say. They've had the jump all day.
He's not going to
He's going to go. He's going to go.
He's going to have a crack. And it's on its way, but it's not going to get the job done. But they fly high. Knocked away. Murphy's lurking there looking for it. And they try and get it through. And in fact, it might be a goal.
No, it's touched.
No, there's plenty of appeals for touch. I think Donvale were trying to con the umpire there, as were the spectators.
Braden Bowden, I think, that had the last swing at that.
It certainly looked like it might have been touched. But let's have a look.
Jordan went for the toe poke. I don't think. Connected.
Fair enough. Going through for a point. So 24 minutes played, and the margin now up to 23 points. 5-5-35 to 2 straight on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I think that's Quirk down injured there in the goal square, is it?
Yeah, it looks to be. He's the only one I've seen with the man bun from the Eagles, and he's touching the knee. Does he? Was a bit of a twisting motion down there. So at the moment, Brash and Steve, what do Ferntree Gully need to do? Look, we think this quarter might edge closer to 30 minutes now with this little bit of time off, but they've been okay once they've got it outside of their defensive 50, but at the moment, Donvale are dominating the stoppages.
Well, they need to. They actually need to run. They need to keep the ball low and run for most of the afternoon because as soon as Donvale take control of the ball in the midfield, at every opportunity they're looking to hit their key tall forwards and keep the ball in the air and stretch the Gully's small back line.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Donvale are winning the aerial battle, so there's no point. They've got to more run and carry, and I think they've got to go down the wing. They had great success when they were going down that far wing. The transitions, more of that. Down the middle, Donvale are dominating.
And the other thing that the Gully can't afford to is to give away key rebound inside 50s because of poor disposal. So there was two there. 2 went out in the full. They were lucky they didn't get penalised by a goal on each one of them, but they can't afford to be kicking out in the full and giving Donvale free inside 50 shots at goal.
Yeah. Are Donvale playing an extra man inside the 50? I think I have seen for the last 5-10 minutes there might be an extra man down forward just to...
I don't know about extra man. They might just be holding their structures and maybe the wingman slides in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because they just seem to be outnumbered every time inside their forward 50.
I think, it's interesting as well, because as you said, Brash, Ferntree Gully, they looked okay when I think they've got to, when they get their hands on the footy, just take a deep breath and maybe just try to hold on to the ball. And it's quite a wide ground, so you can sort of spread well and create plenty of opportunities for uncontested marks, which they're going to need to do for the next 3 or 4 minutes. And look, if you can get to quarter time and they're only three and a half goals down, that's probably a win given Donvale's dominance in this first quarter.
But you can also tell home ground advantage because Whitey, they've been doing bananas from the boundary line, and obviously they understand the quirks of this ground because a couple of those kicks have actually gone close to being goals as well. So they actually know that it's a deliberate kick really when you look at it.
Brash, just to jump in for a minute, speaking of quirky, he's just been helped from the field. The good news is that they brought the stretcher out and they waved the stretcher away. So Chad Quirk has been assisted from the ground. So we'll just have to get our boundary riders to keep an eye on whether he potentially will come back. But he looks
didn't look good though.
Looks a little bit sick and sorry. You'd be surprised if he was to come back onto the ground.
Might be a meniscus, I think, the way he twisted there.
So what can Ferntree Gully do in the remaining 2 and a bit minutes we suspect of this first quarter? It's Camera, who's been in the action, not for the reasons he would have liked in this first quarter, and the Gully doing the old huddle in the middle of the ground. Always a good one to see. Revert back to it.
Well, I might say lights camera action probably. Bing, bada bing. There you go. Got that one out of the way in the first quarter.
We are missing Gav Casey, so it's been nice to have him in spirit via puns.
Don't worry, he'll make up for it tomorrow on ESL Sunday. Right?
Exactly. So Quirk's finally off the ground. Our thoughts with him. So camera does play on, and he looks like he's got a target who's got a bit of space out here, but the kick just holds up in the breeze. And there's going to be a free kick going the way of the Magpies for a push. And we'll come back to Wignall, who's had a strong season. So they cannot catch a break at the moment, the Eagles. Wignall long to the square. Haig's got the sit out the back. This should be another goal. They're raffling it off. McCormack's left it alone, and then coming through to finish the job off. Looks to be Kapakalakis. He's got tats everywhere. You'll be able to see him all day. It was a comedy of errors, but all worked out in the end for the Magpies. They get their 6th, 6-5-41. Ferntree Gully 2 straight 12, and they had 5 minutes to discuss it, Brash and Steve, and in the end, Ferntree Gully went with the same old plan.
You take the ball. No, you take the ball.
Not the goal to be given away at this particular part of the
and
the
in
contest.
that fashion too, when it got out the back and McCormack missed it, as a Ferntree Gully coach, Brent Kiker's probably thinking, all right, someone just rushed it through here, but once again, they haven't been able to do it best though.
No, absolutely not. So it must be getting close to, or in fact, a little bit, probably time to play with that injury, but getting close to quarter time as Ferntree Gully do get it forward. Bouncing Orchid, there goes past Calisperis. Now they've got it, Ferntree Gully. They could desperately do with a goal here before the break, and it goes almost a mark taken there, but it's picked up nicely there by Duncan, and it's on the boot, and it's a mark. No, not paid. It's all over the place at the moment. Trying to get a boot on there was, I think it was Costa Harvey, but it's fallen for Donvale, and now it's Liardi who will bring it out. They had their chances there, but he's overcooked it. Now here's an opportunity for Camera. Is it Camera or Camera, boys?
I'm going with Camera.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go with Camera. Camera gets it onto the left boot, gets it in looking for a target, but there's plenty of Donvale defence here. Don't really get rid of it all that convincingly, though, and that's going to be a ball up, I'd say. Good tackle coming in there from Sitsakos.
The Basin 4-1-25, Ringwood 4-4-28. That's almost a full-time score at Batterham this time of year.
Yes, you're right.
So the kick goes out, but it's not clear of the Donvale defensive area yet. Going in there looking for it is Bull. And he's taken on a good tackle, but he managed to get it away. Little handball inside, quick transfers. They go out wide again. It's like ping pong at the moment. They're going all over the place. There's Bull again. He gets one towards the goal square, but there's not too many people there. A couple of Donvale defenders, and they should be able to rush it through, and they do. So just a numbers game there. It was a 2-on-1, and the margin goes out to 28 points. 6-5-41 plays 2-1-13 as we hit boundary side with Jared.
You mentioned earlier that the wings were sliding back into the defence. That's exactly true. We've got Nathan Mill joining that contest that we saw end up in a Ferntree Gully behind.
Absolutely. Good spot there, Jared. They did have a 3-on-1, and Wayne McInerney is not the tallest full forward. There's a couple of scores around the ground. Surrey Park lead Coldstream 3-2 to 2-2. As this looks like to be a turnover, or close to, in the Ferntree Gully goal square, but Magpies come away again. Ball out wide will go to Sam Goldsmith, and that's on the siren, that mark taken. That scoreboard does read wrong. Our one is correct. At quarter time, it's Donvale 6-5-41, leading Ferntree Gully 2-1-13. And the star of the show early on, Chris Winquest, he's got 2 goals. We're going to have a break on the other side of this one, the second quarter, and we'll hope that the Eagles can come back into it.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener.
Thanks, guys. 4-minute break. Back after that.
Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change, and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Radio's #1 motorsport show is back for 2021. The Driver's Seat with Matt McKeldin and Stephen Johnson, covering everything from Formula 1 to V8 supercars.
Jack Smith from Brad Jones Racing joined us for an honest chat about his season so far.
You know, my teammates have had results and everything's going good, so if I could tell you exactly what it was that I needed to go better, I'd be very, very happy.
That's this week on The Driver's Seat.
Join Caroline Wilson and Corey Perkin for their weekly podcast, Don't Shoot the Messenger, filled with their insights into the latest news and a little sport, good local tips, and plenty of recommendations on what they're reading, watching, and whipping up in the kitchen.
Events of the past month have revealed a toxic work culture, a government that has tried to bury an alleged rape. These matters are not crusades by feminists, they're matters for the government. They affect all Australians.
I have, as you know, very unusually bad calves for boots. I can't fit into most boots. Well, I'm lying on the bed with my leg in the air so that, all the blood rushes out of my feet.
The ABC's decision to move the...
1 minute, gents.
Right. To borrow a line from a certain TV show, bad call, destructive call, ridiculous call, why did they do a call?
You'll find the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast on the SEN app or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Red Energy, 100% Australian electricity and gas.
The senior coach has
40 seconds, gents.
game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Hello, I'm...
You hold your ground outside.
Back in 10.
Brian, take the mic away from the coach.
Including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Donvale Reserve. It's quarter time here. The Magpies 6-5 line lead Ferntree Gully 2-1-13. We apologise if anyone did hear a couple of expletives in the background. At quarter time there, we're going to go boundary side with one of our coaches.
Hey boys, with Brent here. Brent, difficult start, sort of similar to the last time you played him on the scoreboard. What was your main assessment?
Yeah, look, we got sucked into the contest a bit. We didn't hold our width, especially behind the footy, so we think we can address that. Yeah, look, it's a little bit of a flat start, no doubt. They're cutting through us quite easy. Just our ball movement too. We just want to hit that short a little bit more and just possess it, and I think we can get back in the game.
Is that the main thing, the ball movement and the centre clearances starting to get work on that?
Yeah, we'll push someone up to the back of the contest now. And just look, it's just little things, just holding ground around it. Get someone out the ball carrier. No corralling, so a lot of things to work on.
Thanks, Brent. All the best for the rest of the game.
Yeah, well, that's interesting, Matty, because basically that's what Whitey and I were saying. They need to possess the ball and then they need to start running it because if they're going to try and if they can't match it on height.
No. And in terms of the centre clearances, having a sweeper because they're losing them, so they need to be more defensive at that stoppage. As we go down to Jared, who was at the Donvale huddle.
Well, it was a little bit difficult to hear Kevin Collins over Brent Kirker giving his troops a bit of a spray all the way over in the other huddle. But what I got was it was good pressure by Donvale, very good voice, good creation. They were very happy with the way the Smalls went, and they're really expecting Ferntree Gully to rally.
Absolutely. Great work down there from Jared. Always a comedic genius. Brash?
Yeah, they're going to have to rally because Whitey and I think that if Donvale get the opening couple of goals in this second quarter, it could make it extremely difficult for the Gully to get back into the contest.
Absolutely, and just a few scores around the grounds before Besto takes us away. Division 4, Surrey Park Coldy 1v2 tied up at 3-2-20, and Croydon North 4-2-26, Trail Nunawading 6-2-38.
So back into it, I was just thinking Brett Kiker's spray at half-time probably rivaled Ron Barassi. It was an absolute doozy as the ball comes out, and it's fallen there for Harper, and in fact it was Acosta Harvey on the ground, diving in there trying to pick it up was one of the Ferntree Gully players, but it's all a bit tight. So it'll be very interesting to see what sort of statement Ferntree Gully make at the start of this quarter, because they really are very close to playing themselves out of this game. 28 points. I know it's only the first quarter, but they really have to get some goals and get them quickly as Curry gets the tap down. Going there looking for it was Rawser. He's been very, very good. The kick's a bit of a skew off, but it goes and it's been marked. Now here's Ferntree Gully. Can they get something going? There's a kick towards the pocket. Curry couldn't get his hands on it. Falls for Donvale. Wrapped up there by Mill. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up.
They need to break 50-50 on the clearances off the stoppage, Brett. The Gully, otherwise it's just going to keep going Donvale's way.
McCormack, he just came through and just took it like he was shelling peas there. Gets a ball away. Liardi couldn't get it. It's there for Curry again, who's made a strong start to the second quarter. Diving on the ground there. That's McCormack, the other McCormack. And out it comes. This is better from Ferntree Gully, though. They're looking a little bit more combative at the start of this quarter, and they've got a chance here as they go inboard, looking for a tall target. It's a one-on-one. Is it McInerney there? Couldn't take it. He's drawn a free kick, I think.
Yeah, he can't go that
front on contact.
So this is a good start from Ferntree Gully, though. They've had the better of the early exchanges, and Wayne McInerney's going to get a chance to go back and put his third throw, and you back him in from here.
He won't miss this.
I think even I could kick this one.
He's looking at 100% of the Gully's score today.
Yep.
So,
did he kick that point, did he?
I'm going to give it to him.
Okay.
It was a rush behind, so
Yeah.
he's had all of the scores they've meant.
Yeah, exactly.
So they do look a bit of a one-trick pony up forward at the moment with this man. He's looking for his third goal, and a much-needed one for Ferntree Gully. He's put it through. So McInerney gets his third, and the margin just reduced a little bit. It's back to 22 points. It's 6-5-41 to 3-1-19 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
You look at Wayne McInerney in the same vein as a forward. He might not have height, but he's got smarts, and if he can, and
he's still strong as well.
He's still strong, and if you can still isolate him one-on-one, he's got enough party tricks to be able to turn his opponent inside out, or even take that grab to get a goal.
Absolutely, and him and Kieran Gray looking like the deepest forward. So it's a small forward line for Ferntree Gully. The tallest man looks to be D'Esio, starting at centre half forward as we go up in the middle. Curry missed it, but then the handball came out in the direction from Sewert of his teammates, and they go inside forward 50. Sertzikos puts one very high in the air. It's a hard one to mark, and in the end it bounced off the chest of Liardi, but he creates some space and goes in the middle. Dangerous ball, and then coming across nicely. Good intercept by the Gully. Curry, bit too slow to get there. Rinquest handball, intercepted by Deleu. Handball to Sewert. Handball off again to Curry, the big ruckman. Not the man you want with it, but a little chipping ball. Should suit the runner. And then left foot snap across the body from Camera. Was never on target. Out of bounds on the full. So better from the Gully. Intercept possessions there, but just fell into the wrong hands with big Sean Curry bursting onto it at a rate of knots.
Didn't have enough players beside him there, Camera, to tell him to steady.
No, he did have a bit of time, didn't he, as Rawser takes it from Heverin, who took the kick in. So he'll go short dangerously. That looks out of bounds on the full, and it is.
That's a very ordinary kick.
Yeah, especially when you're going short, you want to be pretty pinpoint. So Charlie Peters, who's been one of the Ferntree Gully's best, will take the free kick. He's about 50-55 from goal. He's just going to have to go in the D'Esio direction back to the goal square. It's 1 on about 5, and the Gully man does well to knock it over the line for a boundary throw, and they'll get another stoppage. So that's what the Magpies are doing really well. They're getting a lot of numbers back deep, so Ferntree Gully are going to have to move it quickly and lower the eyes as they...
Well, just allowed Donvale then to flood back.
That's what I mean. He's got to be quicker, Peters, if he's going to go long, or he's got to look for an option short. So D'Esio might try to take it out of the ruck, but McCormack has won all the hit outs so far today he's been in. Down there is Cameron for Donvale. McInerney came through, might have been impeded, but Rawser gets clear and pumps it long down the line. Murphy's the option. Top looks to have gone in defence and did well to spoil in the long sleeves, but Wignall now. And Kapakalakis has snuck out the back and marks and gives the handball off to Grocott. Haig wants it short, but he'll go long instead. Was pushed as he kicked, the umpire says. It's going to bounce. Haig will get there under pressure from Wilding. Wilding does well. Donvale should have the numbers. Haig Might have been taken high. The umpire said got rid of it cleanly. Now the Eagles have a chance with a little grubber kick coming out of there from Lovett.
Yeah, probably a bit stiff then, Zach Haig, although he is a tall man now. They get a little handball out, and it's Calisperis on this wing, goes down the line, looking for a target.
Nice handball.
Nice work by Russo. Now he's a chance. They're certainly looking better, Ferntree Gully, but as you say that, they kicked the ball, but they have looked a lot better at the start of this quarter.
Better run.
Yeah, exactly. Certainly looking a lot more penetrative as the ball comes back in, and Donvale will just work it out of their half-back line. Mark taken by Liardi. Goes straight across the face of goals, taken there by Duncan. Just happy to chip it around. Murphy working back from a long way up forward. The kick into the middle of the ground. Nicely taken there. Cameron hasn't seen too much of it today. Gets it now, though. His kick is a bit of a shady one, and it's been cut off as well. And here they come again. Ferntree Gully. They kick forward. Can they find a target? Deso's there, but it goes right over his head. But he used his body well. Going back, trying to pick it up there was Duncan.
Oh, great tackle.
Great tackle. Fantastic tackle. I think it was Wilding who came in there and almost got him, put him off. And the kick is flooding. A good mark taken there by DeLue. He's also been very prominent at the start of this second quarter. Goes inboard.
Dangerous kick, but a good one.
It's a good kick. It's well taken. You've got to take the game on sometimes. Peters, now they go across again. Oh, that should have been taken, but he'll have time to recover. It's Lovett over the top, and it's been turned over. Liardi goes in. Well, that's a terrible kick, and he's kicked it straight to the man at number 39, and then he loses it. Number 37 is now Peters. My word, what a comedy of errors. No excuses, as we said, and that's an awful kick, and it's been cut off back there by Duncan, and Donvale will rebound.
Why did Calisperis handball immediately? Just take a time as the Magpies do so on the back flank. Ferntree Gully had about 8 chances to have a shot on goal, but chose to ignore them all. Curry intercepts on accident, hit him on the chest. But the Eagles should be okay out on this far wing. Kapakalakis probably did well not to give away a free kick, and we'll have a ball up dead on centre wing. The Gully, they've improved, Crash, except for that bit where they don't just take their kick.
Yeah, look, it's the perceived pressure that's really robbing Ferntree Gully of continuity.
So Curry slaps it forward. Good sweeping back there by Grocott, and then it ends up in the hands of Mannon, who's wrapped up by an Eagle, and we'll have another stoppage around the grounds. Murabach 4-3-27, Mitcham 1-8. So the Mustangs looking to knock Mitcham out of the finals race once and for all. And it's 4-1-25 to 4-6-30. Ringwood in the basin, Ringwood up there, and Templestowe lead 4-3-27 to 2-3-15 at Baronia. As we'll look to have another stoppage on centre wing here. It's Ferntree Gully 3-1-19, got the only score of this quarter, trailing Donvale 6-5-41, 7.5 minutes gone. So a couple of Templestowe have been good after the break, but you'd expect Baronia to get over the top of them. Haig went up. Acosta Harvey won the clearance though and just kicked it high in the air. It's a dangerous one. Russo does well to actually take that mark, and they've got runners on the outside. The kick's a nice one. Will it sit up for Sertikos? It does eventually on the fourth go. Steadies, short ball, leading target McInerney. Well done defensively there. Really well done there by Guy Lamond. And we'll have a boundary thrown right in front of us. Interesting decision there from Sertikos, 30 metres out on his preferred foot. Might have had a shot at goal, but obviously Wayne McInerney is the option. We'll go boundary side in a second. Just waiting on this dangerous stoppage for the Eagles. If they can get this one, it's game well and truly back on. Right in front of us, thrown in. Curry with the front spot. Did well, tried to rove his own work, slapped away by Duncan, and then slapped beautifully. Nice little bit of volleyball from the Magpies. Rouser, handball, Ringquest, had a runner, will eventually give it to him. Manning runs through the centre circles, nice kick, but it's going to be all the Eagles. And they do take the intercept marker centre half back as we go down to the boundary.
It's been about clearances in this second quarter. As Brasher said, it's Ferntree Gully trying to go 50-50 with the clearances. They have done that so far. Just with that last one from Donvale, they've gone up 4-3.
So Sertikos has got it at the bottom of the pack, so we'll have a stoppage. It's been a pivotal part of the game, as Jared said at the start of the second quarter, as they try and work their way back into the So you got an easy tap there. Can they get the clearance? No, they can't. Liardi it is. In fact, no, it's not Liardi. It's a Mannion who gets his hands to it, but then he loses it. Now it's come out there for Calisperis. He's been good too in this quarter as he gets a kick forward, trying to find a target. McInerney was there, couldn't take it. They've still got a chance, and the tackle from McInerney's rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
I disagree with that one.
Well, what happened there was Duncan ducked his head said, and McInerney didn't pick...
Grabbed him around the waist.
But McInerney also didn't go to pick up the ball and waited for the tackle, so both of them... There was a big game of chicken in the umpire.
Well, McInerney's tackle was more around the torso, if anything. That was a crazy decision. Ralso, he's been just about been Donvale's best. He gets a kick forward. Going up there was Haig, knocked into the centre of the ground. Nicely picked up there by Sewett. Now they've... it's a terrible kick, and they've turned... Hay couldn't take it, though. Falls nicely there for Mannion. Mannion gets a kick to nobody.
That was very ordinary disposal too there.
And that's gone out of bounds. It's been a bit of a feature of the game. Some of the disposals have been pretty ordinary, and I know it's... we could say that it's Division 3, but the conditions are perfect, Brash. No real excuse.
No, there is no excuse, Brett.
Donvale pressure too, I think, Besto.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, yeah. So, umpire to throw it back in. He's... Ringquist pause, but it's going to go over his head. Haig might have just got the tap there. Look at Deiso in there again. Ball comes out, and they burst out of the stoppage. Deiso gets a little handball out, and they get a kick forward. Now, can someone get on the end of this? Middle of the ground. There's Rawser. In effect, it is Rawser. And
Free
ball
kick.
goes to ground. Free kick.
I think that one was a bit harsh, to be honest. Not much Rawser could do there, but over the shoulder's over the shoulder.
He's been super, Rawser, as Ferntree Gully look to go forward. Taking an absolute age. They just look really indecisive as they go forward now. They need to really just take the ball by the horns. Trying to pick it up there was DeLue. He's been all right in this quarter too. He's close to the boundary. Got a handball off. Ducks away. Still going DeLue as he gets a ball up the line. This is better. Again from Ferntree Gully. Now this is the one that they need to find as the mark is not taken. That was Calisperos. He's been good as well. They go back. They go inboard now. Where's McInerney? Nowhere. And the mark is taken there by Heverin, and Donvale will rebound.
Absolutely. So once again, it's the ball movement from the Eagles that's been poor inside forward 50. They should get another chance here. Top on his opposite boot. Floats it inside forward 50. Surely they've got to take a mark. Neither player went for it. And then the handball back inboard by Costa Harvey. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Costa Harvey. It was Pentland, the late inclusion. And then Camera from the pocket on the left boot. Looked pretty good off the boot, but was always floating wide. That's his second out of the full on the quarter. So again, Ferntree Gully have dominated the territory this quarter, but their last ball, their final product has been woeful.
Decision making there is it's all panic stations.
But even then, Top's quick kick landed in the perfect spot, and Calisperos and Pentland just both looked at each other.
Yep.
And they've got dominance. They need to make the most of it. It's only 22 points at the moment. It could really be down to a goal as Heverin goes long. He's got a man out here. Magpies might be out. They are. Lamond takes off immediately. Kick over the top. Can it get to Kapakalakis? Does well to bring it to ground. Keeping his feet there was Crocker. But it's Kapakalakis again. Nice little kick inboard to Ringquest. Already got 2 for the day. The small forward. Bumped off it.
Loaded.
Slapping it forward though. And it's going to be a goal to the Magpies. Surely. Beautiful stuff there from Braden Bowden. Just kept working after the footy, slapped it to his own advantage and slammed it into the post. They really don't like the goal post here, the Magpies, do they, Steve? That's 3 out of the 4 that they've given the treatment.
That was a great run from Bowden. He ran probably 120 metres just to make that play.
Absolutely. 6-6-42 to Donvale. Ferntree Gully 3-1-19 as Camera brings it out of defence for the Eagles.
So Ferntree Gully work it out again. They've just got to find the big sticks. They're doing okay in terms of the game. Calisperos, DeLuis, who went up for that one. He's been terrific in this quarter. Fighting his way through. Might be done for holding the ball. Let's see what the umpire says.
Tackle.
Gets a free kick. He's a bit lucky, but his kick isn't very good. Seaward had it for a moment, but lost it. It's all very untidy as they go back. Now they go across the ground, going inboard, trying to find a target. They're up, they fly. No mark taken. Ball on the ground. Plenty of Donvale defenders back there. Lamond it was. Now the ball away for Liardi, who gets it back in towards no one. Bouncing around. Good pick up there by Cameron. And the game certainly seems to have sped up a wee bit as the ball goes to Heverin. Goes down the line, particularly looking for no one in particular. Trying to pick it up there was, I think that was Top. And towards the boundary line, Murphy puts it onto the left and he thumps it forward. Can someone get a mark? They can. The mark is taken there just outside 50. Now they go inboard. Trying to find a big take up, they fly, and it's going to be a goal anyway. Brilliant goal there.
Giles.
It was Giles. The mark was almost taken, and then by McCormick, and as it spilled away, it was Giles who was just Johnny on the spot. Let's have another look at this on the replay. Would have been the mark of the day. He got up really high. Actually, almost hit the Ferntree Gully player on the head by the looks, and McCormick puts it through. So that's a Giles at least puts it through.
That was always going to happen because Donvale had just been sweating on the gully, right, making these mistakes because they're treating the gully are actually treating the ball like a hot potato, really.
Yeah, it's that pressure we spoke about. They're just pinballing it around, but Donvale, beautiful end-to-end stuff, and that's twice McCormick's almost pulled down mark of the year as there's a free kick going the way of Donvale. He initially signalled the wrong way, but it was a holding the man free kick. So the Magpies, it's going to go to Rouser, who's been in everything. She's got a couple of options on. Pops it up, but well done there by the Ferntree Gully wingman. Went back well, and then immediately plays on. So they've obviously been told to move the ball quickly, but they've got to move it to their own players. As getting back was Duncan. The back six of Donvale has been impressive. He goes short to Stephen Kenner. And then Kenner comes across to Lamond, who's provided some nice drive from the back pocket this quarter. He goes out wide. So they're just spreading really, really well. Mill, short. Kapakalakis took off. That's holding the ball.
Yeah, you got to pay that one.
I know what he was trying to do because Mill kept running but couldn't get past Deleu, who goes short into the middle, looking for his teammate in Sewert. Eventually it falls out to them. Leaving it behind was Acosta Harvey. And then now just slamming it on the boot for the Magpies is Goldsmith. It's gone straight up. We've had a couple of them today. Sewert came in bravely. Deleu got a slap down. And then getting the handball away quickly was the man there in Harper. But it looks like the Magpies have recovered well to force a stoppage, surely, and the umpire says, give it to me. So both sides had opportunities to flow forward and neither took them. Been the story of the day for the Eagles, uncharacteristic from the Magpies, but you could see what the Magpies are trying to do. Beautiful switch there as we've got a couple of scores coming around the grounds. Doncaster 8-3-51, North Ringle 1-1-7. Baldwin 20, South Croydon yet to score. Or 32, sorry, to South Croydon yet to score. So Baldwin, as you said, Brash, they're steamrolling their way through the competition. South Croydon obviously not at full strength as D'Esio. Good hit out towards space. Grocot's kick was smothered. Coming through as the Ferntree Gully defender. Couldn't get hands on it cleanly. Now down there with a good handball is Jordan. And then Rouser swings it into the middle. And the man who just kicked the last one, Giles, puts one to the top of the goal square. It's swinging away from Haig. McCormack's there. And they should just rush it through, and Wilding does so.
Even when Donvale are getting the ball, even though the Gully are coming out and they're still showing enough poise, right, to still kick the ball to position or handball to a position on their terms.
So 7-7-49, the Magpies, Ferntree Gully 3-1-19, 16 and a half minutes gone, second term.
So Croydon 4-3-27, leading Park Orchard 3-2-20.
Okay, so the ball comes back in and it's fallen nicely there for Gasparoni. Now it's out here for Ferntree Gully. This is the part they've had the problem with, looking for Curry, but getting back there and spoiling nicely was Duncan. He's been very good in this quarter.
And guess what, Brett? They've still got a problem.
They just can't seem to hit the target.
They can't hit a target, mate.
They're doing everything right, except as Matty said before, the final part of the jigsaw, which is getting it inside 50, marking it and kicking the goal.
Berwick 4-3-27, Nord 1-3-9, and the same score, Noble Park and Donny East, Noble Park in front.
Haig versus Curry on the right. Curry got forward and it's someone slipped over there as the ball goes to ground. It was great. Goldsmith had it for a moment. Now it's out. Haig. It's all a bit untidy, bobbling around.
Oh, nice.
Nicely done there by Mannion. He's been all right too as the kick goes, but it's on that occasion going to be marked. And Ferntree Gully will come forward. And let's see if this is the part we've talked about that they haven't quite been able to get. And that's a terrible kick. And Duncan's out an absolute blinder in this quarter.
He's taken about 4 of them, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has. He's been absolutely superb. And as Matty said before, their back six has been outstanding. The kick forward from Kenner. That's not a great kick though, and it's going to be cut off easily there by Lovett. And Lovett will...
So this is it. They're very slow to move in. And look at the Donvale system. Rouse is plugging a hole. Liardi, Kenner.
Yep.
And it's forcing Ferntree Gully to do this, which I don't mind. Keep the ball. But they've got to move it quickly. And the forward six, they're all bunched together, spread out.
Yeah, they can keep it as much as they like, though, but they've got to still find the big sticks as the kick goes in the middle of the ground. Sprules takes it. And once again, just this hesitancy at getting it forward. It's like they just don't have the confidence. They go wide, looking for the big man over there. That's great. Great. Wheels around and kicks inside. But look at all the Donvale players back there. It does on that occasion. It does fall a kick forward, and it's a goal, I think. Russo's put it through, so that's his 11th of the season. He's had a pretty good year so far, 10 coming into today, and he puts it through for a much-needed score. The margin back to 4 goals. It's 7-7-49 to 4-1-25 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah. You can feel that was sort of coming.
That was better play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Boundary.
But they needed much more of that.
As we go boundary side?
Yeah, it was definitely more composure by Ferntree Gully. Earlier in this quarter, we've seen a lot of helter-skelter action from them, just trying to get the ball on, even not when under pressure.
And as Coach Kiker wanted wanted them to use the width of the ground, which is exactly what they did then.
And that's a good lead from Gray because it drew the Donvale defenders apart, because when there's 4 on, it doesn't matter how many of them you've got of the Eagles players. If there's 4 of those Donvale players, they can probably take the mark, aren't they, Besto? They've been very good, especially Ethan Duncan, as you mentioned. I don't know if he's defined as a loose player, but he's definitely dropping off well as McCormack came in late, got the fist away. Camera, he's been pretty good for the Eagles besides that early mistake, came through, might have got a shove in the back.
Yep.
And the umpire says so and then pays advantage. The Eagles are away. Low ball, great. Oh, she's calling it back. Probably not. Look, to be honest, I don't mind that because the whistle stopped, but I think the definition, she probably should have allowed that, but I don't personally mind that. The Magpies had all stopped.
It's a split-second decision, isn't it?
is.
It's just one of those things.
But to be fair, I've enjoyed her game so far. The young lady in the middle there, she's been confident with her whistle. So the free kick going to Camera. I don't know what the delay is here from Bowden to give the ball back. So Camera, very frustrated. So Donvale are back and set up. The target might be Russo. Might be longer than that. Gray. Curry's there as well. Duncan, there he is again, came across with the spoil.
Yep.
They've got to make him accountable or kick it away from him.
Donvale just got too much pressure in numbers at the back at the moment. I mean, they did slip that goal through earlier, but they're just, as you said, Duncan's there and McCormack and all these, and Kenner, and they're just...
Clever by Bowden, though, to just hold the ball as long as he could, because it allowed them all to set up.
That's where Duncan's counterpart needs to be more accountable.
Well, or they've got to look for him and figure out where he is. So Curry wants a free kick and he's going to get it.
Fair enough.
Holding the man. McCormack was all over him, and Sean Curry, again, another stalwart of the competition, can go back and kick the Eagles third for the quarter. So they'll win this quarter and second in a row, Besto. A very, very important one for them. So he's going to come in, not moving that freely, but he's been pretty good. The big man, left foot ball, looks to be across the face, but might be working its way back through.
Go.
Beautiful kick, straight through the middle. 2 in a row for the Eagles. They are 5-1-31, straight kicking, keeping them well in this. Donvale 7-7-49. We're into time on in this second quarter.
Yeah, much better this last 10 minutes from Ferntree Gully. One more before the break would be ideal for them.
Yeah, it would be.
And they have dominated the territory in the ball, and it's probably the last couple of minutes when Camera has got his hands on it that they've actually looked composed with the ball in hand.
You know, when you look at it over the balance of the quarter, I mean, look, Donvale really have only had the ball inside their 50, maybe only half a dozen times as well. So they have dominated possession, Ferntree Gully, in this quarter.
Yep, some of the big names starting to get into the game now, and one of those is DeLu. He's been very good, as he doesn't get at that time. Bouncing around in the middle, Rawser. He's gone out of the game just a little bit in this quarter after dominating in the first quarter. Deiso gets a kick forward, trying to find a target, and he does.
Better.
Nicely done. This is better. That's Peters. Charlie Peters stopping and looking around for someone to kick to. Now he goes long, trying to find a target. Where's McInerney? He's over the back, but he doesn't get it on that occasion. Diving on the football there, and that'll be a ball up as we go boundary, and that might be Ryan Long, I think.
Yep, just on that, Brash, Donvale have gone inside 50 just 5 times this quarter compared to Ferntree Gully's 12.
Thank you, Ryan. As the ball goes up,
yeah,
that's a free kick.
Curry in front.
Curry, he caught one in the back too. He looks a bit sore, but he will. In fact, he looks quite sore. Might have got one in the kidneys.
Knee to the bottom of the spine there.
Yeah.
Again, is that a free kick for in the back? Or
incidental contact?
Because
maybe
he hasn't pushed him. He just pushed his knee. I don't know. Look, to be honest, it looked like a free kick, just the way it sort of he crumbled. But I don't know if it is.
If you've got 2 ruckmen going up and you're going to get that sort of one's got the knee up, as long as you're not, I agree. There's the kick. You should kick it from there, and he does. So Curry puts it through. That's his second goal, and they continue this Ferntree Gully side just to work their way back into the game. And this is about the closest they've been for some time. 7-7-49, play 6-1-37 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're 23 minutes gone now in the second quarter.
The wily veteran Curry has stamped his imprimatur on the contest in the last 5 minutes. So just using his body in a way that has been able to attract a free kick.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, there he's a smart player, so he's getting to the front knowing that the boundary throw-ins have been quite short at this end. And then he's kicked 2 goals in a row from ruck infringement. So can the Eagles get another one? Make it 4 in a row. They will get a free kick.
Holding the man, yeah.
Yep, was there going the way of Lovett. So if they can spread... Sertzakos wants it out wide. He's got a teammate running in Sprouse.
Too late.
Love it. Yep, too late. Goes a lot. That's a nice kick, though. Finds Sertzakos in space. Go quickly. DeLu's in the middle. Gets it to him. He's got a runner. Gives it to him. He goes, that's a shocking kick. It's burst through the fingers there of Holland.
Well,
and then Peters Does really well. Left foot snap around the body. Duncan's there again. Coming through Curry. Can he get a third in a row? He can't. Duncan's going to take it over the line, is he? Did it well, disguised it. I don't think they would have paid deliberate. But once again, that final product really hurt them. They could almost be in front if they delivered the ball with more purpose and
would have been better off going to the top of the square with that.
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe he was going to the pocket for Curry and just missed it. So Curry and Haig now. Curry will work his way to the front, looking for a third free kick in the ruck. Can he get it? Not this time. Haig with the hit out. Donvale and Peters has been good, buzzing around in there. Almost got a shot at goal. Curry again! Left foot ball out of the pack, just bounces inside. And we'll have another boundary thrown.
Charlie Peters really getting into this game last 10-15.
Certainly is.
He took that mark before, coming out of the centre clearance and a bit of forward pressure. He's been good. Had a couple of nice runs through the centre square in that first quarter too, did Charlie Peters. One of the two initially named 37s. He's won the battle and worn the jumper.
And the Gully are winning their fair share of those 50-50 clearances now.
Like I said, they've probably dominated this quarter from the 5-minute mark onwards, and they're starting to get their reward. Back to 12 points now. So Curry works his way to the front, missed the footy, will go again. Rouser came through as he always does and got a clearing kick. McCormack led his opponent to the footy in the end. His opponent ended up with it. Sprouse pops it up in the Russo direction, bursts through his hands, lays a good tackle there. Goldsmith did well to get through it. Little kick was a bit of a shocker, but they've got the numbers and they clear. But it's all the Eagles. And the mark's taken there by Deleu. Go quickly. Got Sertzikos out wide. Looks like a very incredible kick. Umpire says play on. Deleu does. He steps around the first bloke, stepped around the second, slipped, handball to Sprouse. And they'll steady again through Crocker. He's got Sertzikos. He takes him. So they got it to Sertzikos in the end. Not how he would have desired it. He plays on. This is better. Move it quickly. Curry's the target. He's in the front spot. Big fella came through. All of a sudden, the last 10 minutes have been the Sean Curry show.
Yeah. Certainly has. He's really starting to impose himself on this game. And Donvale starting to struggle a wee bit, particularly in the middle of the ground and around the ruck where they were so good in the first quarter. So umpire to throw it in. We've got a 12-point deficit, 26 minutes played. And there's Curry again. He's having a storming game as the ball comes out via Casparoni, back out into the middle of the ground. They need to get hold of this, and they can't. And it's in the hands of Heverin now. They've got it out. Donvale for the moment. Nice mark taken there by Holland.
Gee, I reckon that was lucky that met the required 15.
Ferntree Gully is setting up better now. Down the line, Donvale got nowhere to go down the line.
And you can see that too because Holland's looking around for someone to kick to, and in the end he just hoists one high, and I think that might be out on the full. Yeah. Is it? Yes, it is. Oh, he's taking the fence out over there. As the siren goes, and what a good quarter that was for Ferntree Gully.
Will he take the shot, Camera? He's got a fair kick on him. I think he may as well have a ping.
Yeah, may as well. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's lining up from the...
He's going to have a go. He just bangs it onto the left foot, trying to some sort of magical torp.
He found McInerney.
He certainly knows Jeff Goebbels.
And that is officially the end of the second quarter, and Ferntree Gully have worked themselves right back into this game, Matty. It's 7-7-49 to Donvale. Ferntree Gully 6-1-37.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good quarter there by the Gully. After that opening 5 minutes, they took control of the contest there. Probably could be a little bit closer, really, if their disposal had hit a few more targets in their forward 50, but nonetheless, they're back in the game.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? For Donvale, it was inaccuracy at goal in the first quarter that cost them, and then for Ferntree Gully, it was that inaccuracy actually going inside forward 50. But as Brett said, it's back to 12 points. Goal kickers quickly before we go to a break. Billy McCormack, Nicholas Murphy, Brandon Kapakalakis, and Joshua Jordan and Harrison Giles all have singles for the Vales, while Chris Rinquest has 2. And then for Ferntree Gully, 3 to Wayne McInerney, 2 to Sean Curry, and 1 to Michael Russo. We're going to go to a break, and on the other side of it, halftime show with a few scores from around the grounds and another look at this one.
All right, thanks, guys. Back after another 4-minute break.
He's down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out.
We'll be back in 60 seconds from now, guys.
1 minute, guys.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight in.
10 seconds.
Hey, good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Mike's on.
And welcome back to EFNL Game Day here on SCN. We're out at Donvale Reserve. The halftime score, Donvale 7-7-49, leading Ferntree Gully 6-1-37. Pretty interesting game out here. Donvale first quarter obviously on top. Ferntree Gully putting a late surge in there in the last 10-15 minutes. Joined on the halftime show by Ryan Long and Matt Spider-Lee. Gentlemen, your thoughts on that half of football that we've seen so far?
Look, Steve, it's just been a game of 2 quarters, really. I mean, Donvale in full control in the first quarter, just winning at clearance and then getting the ball fast into the forward line and being able to score. We spoke about, at times in the last few weeks, their inability to be able to get off to flying starts, but today they've really rectified that. But just their ability to be able to set the ground up. And at times, Ferntree Gully, just that inability to get the ball hands on it first off. And the turnovers were just really disappointing from a Gully perspective. perspective, and they will certainly let know about that at the quarter-time break by their coach.
Yeah, I mean, the difference in that second quarter, Ferntree Gully had 15 inside 50s to 5 to Donvale, and that was certainly a talking point in the first quarter. That was a worry for the Eagles, because they weren't being able to win the ball out of the middle. So they started doing that, but the problem was they go inside 50, they seem to just rush it. Every time they get the ball, they want to give their hands off, which is all right. It is good to get a quick ball movement, but if you're just bombing long, Donvale seem to have an extra number. They just can't quite hit their targets up forward, because they did dominate that in turns from the middle perspective.
And Stevie Kenner just marshalled the troops accordingly down that back end of the ground, really, and then set the system up and let them bring the ball forward. So, and look, Donvale, you've got to give it to them. They were first in for the footy in that first quarter, and Ferntree didn't really look like they'd come to play in the game that we knew that they could. So, and then the second quarter, look, Ferntree lifted their work rate. Donvale just dropped off slightly and have got themselves back into the contest.
Ethan Duncan having a big game across the back line for Donvale.
Yeah, he's been really good. Just, being able to sweep across, take some really important marks, but also just that ability to link up and connect and get the ball moving forward for them.
And we talk about Ferntree Gully, obviously, their last 10-15 minutes putting on 4 goals. Sean Curry, but obviously the standout in that last 5 or 10 minutes, but it seems as though that they're putting in balls higher. The story of the first quarter was Donvale putting the balls into McCormick and so forth. They had the aerial dominance. Now seems like a reversal of fortune.
Well, it is. McCormick's he was clanking some really big ones in that first quarter, and he showed his presence on the game, and as you alluded to. So, and in that second term, it just felt like, as we said, they dropped off a little bit defensively, and that forward pressure was off, and then Ferntree Gully were able to rise to that, and even Russo and a couple of others just got their game going and got themselves back into the contest.
They really did need those last 2 goals by Curry, because otherwise you were looking at more of a 4-goal deficit when they've had all the play. So they were 2 important ones, and I've really liked Deleu coming in the middle. I thought he's put himself in the right sort of positions, and he's been one of those for Ferntree Gully that's helped him get back in the game. Yeah, he was really important, just getting his hands on the footy, and we know what he can do. And the stronger bodies are starting to have some impact. So Donvale will have to reassess that at half-time and see if they can get back to that first quarter the way they set the game up and get it back on their terms.
So if you're Kevin Collins or Brent Kiker, what are you saying to the troops at half-time?
Well, if you're Kevin Collins, you would be disappointed with the last 10 minutes of that quarter, but you just need to go back to what you know, and that is play the style of footy that got you into a position at quarter time. And he really wanted them to continue to step it up, but I think from Donvale's perspective, they just need to get the ball in a little bit cleaner and allow those forwards to be able to take those big marks. It's a nice day out there. The wind's not having too much of a big impact on the game. It's more the fact that it's the way the skill is being executed and giving their forwards enough space to run into.
Yeah, it's quite simple, but they've got to start winning the ball in the middle. They were in the first quarter, and that made a massive difference in that second quarter. That helped Ferntree Gully get back into the game.
So just a minute or two before we go to a break, I'll just read out some progressive scores from across the Eastern Football Netball League, starting in Premier Division. Noble Park 27, leading Doncaster East 8. Doncaster 51, leading North Ringwood 7. Berwick 27 over Norwood 10. Rowville 29, trailing Blackburn 52. South Croydon 7, trading Baldwin 35. The Tigers having a mid-season surge at the moment. Division 1. Murrelbach 28, Mitcham 31. No score from Upper Ferntree Gully at Lilydale available, so unfortunately we can't give you an update there. Croydon 27, leading Park Orchards 20. Montrose 26. Leading... Sorry, I can't read your handwriting. One Turner South 23. My bad. Apologies to Steve Cochran. Division 2, the Basin 31, trailing Ringwood 56. South Belgrade 55, leading Knox 21. Boronia 15, trailing Templestowe 27. No updated score from Mulgrave. In Division 3, West Warrandyte 49, trailing... I am really being illiterate. Waverley Blues 58, leading... The trailing White Horse Pioneers leading White Horse Pioneers 14. This is the dyslexia show here at halftime. I apologise. And Warrandyte 49. Leading scores be 21. And for Fair Park 35. leading Glen Waverley at 34. In Division 4, Coldstream 29, leading Surrey Park 28. Sylvan 28, leading Churnside Park 13. Croydon North 47, Nunawading 47, that's an interesting one. And Forest Hill 39, Kilsyth 10. My apologies to my optometrist. When we come back after the break, it'll be quarter 3 of the action here from Donvale Reserve. Donvale currently leading Ferntree Gully. You're tuned to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Yes, I invite you to join our team.
Thanks, guys. So just a 4-minute break again. Back after that.
Including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Radio's #1 motorsport show is back for 2021. The Driver's Seat with Matt McKeldin and Stephen Johnson, covering everything from Formula 1 to V8 supercars.
Jack Smith from Brad Jones Racing joined us for an honest chat about his season so far.
You know, my teammates have had results and everything's going good, so if I could tell you exactly what it was that I needed to go better, I'd be very, very happy.
That's this week on The Driver's Seat.
Join Caroline Wilson and Corey Perkin for their weekly podcast, Don't Shoot the Messenger, filled with their insights into the latest news and a little sport, good local tips, and plenty of recommendations on what they're reading, watching, and whipping up in the kitchen.
Events of the past month have revealed a toxic work culture, a government that has tried to bury an alleged rape. These matters are not crusades by feminists, they're matters for the government. They affect all Australians.
I have, as you know, very unusually bad calves for boots. I can't fit into most boots. Well, I'm lying on the bed with my leg in the air so that, you know, all the blood rushes out of my feet.
The ABC's decision to move the Q&A program to a Thursday night.
To borrow a line from a certain...
Back in 60 seconds.
Call, ridiculous call. Why did they do a call?
You'll find the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast on the SEN app or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Red Energy, 100% Australian electricity and gas.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. You beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL.
So
Eastland,
back into it out here at Donvale as the ball is one out of the middle. It goes to ground. Wrapped up there.
10 seconds.
Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
So back into it now.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
All right, back out at Donvale Reserve. As the kick goes out on the full, we've got a pretty interesting game out here. Ferntree Gully working themselves superbly back into that match in the second quarter. Only 12 points down. There's the throw-in. And they certainly started to dominate in the middle of Ferntree Gully. That was where they got back into the game, particularly around the ruck with Curry. And it goes, there is that man Curry, might have got the tap there down to McCormack, out towards Rouser. He sort of went out of the game a bit in that second quarter after a storming first quarter. Gets the kick forward, goes over the top. Nice mark taken there by Sproles. And they spread it right across the half-back line. Mark taken there by Lovett. And Lovett will bring it forward. It'll be very interesting to hear what the halftime messages are for the respective sides, as trying to get his hands on it there was Harper. That's over on the far side of the ground. Kick goes forward there off the boot of Peters. Nice, this is good stuff. Again, it's very similar to the way the first quarter the second quarter ended. Calisperis gets it down the line, and that's a good tackle over there. And they won't go any further. So, a minute and a half played. And Ferntree Gully starting where they finished in the second quarter, you'd have to say.
Absolutely, Besto. So it looks like Michael Topp's gone into defence. He's just sort of roaming. He started the game at centre half forward. So obviously the Gully have noticed that they need to get a bit of height in their defence as Calisperis got the handball away and they'll work it forward. A lot of space down here for McInerney to work his magic in. He got there first and he'll get a free kick.
He got whacked.
I think it was incidental contact coming the other way as we look on the replay. Sertzikos kick to a dangerous spot. A lot of space there for McInerney to work back into. Usually Duncan and co have sat a lot closer to him, and then it looks like Heveron's just come in. That's
There was very innocuous, though.
Well, I was about to say, actually, I think he could be in a bit of trouble there, Heveron, the way he sort of waited. But McInerney's up, luckily for him, and can line up for his fourth goal. He's been the most dangerous forward all day. It's definitely for the Eagles. And can bring this back to a 6-point margin, despite the fact they've had half the scoring shots, the Eagles. So Wayne McInerney, after a high contact free kick from about 40 metres out, looks pretty good off the boot, but the umpire's working across. It'll hold up in the breeze, and the mark taken right back there on the line by David Holland, who'll bring it out looking for Mill on the wing. It'll get there. Mill dropped the mark. Peters came through, been one of the Eagles' best, and then Mills wrapped up by DeLue and Crocker, and we'll have a ball up just inside the centre square here, 60 or so metres out from the Ferntree Gully goal. 7-7 Donvale, Ferntree Gully 6-1. Division 3 top 4 clash coming through. Ringquest's been pretty good for Donvale. He's been pink folding the ball. I thought that was harsh.
I thought it was pretty fair.
Did he have his hands free?
Yeah, he did.
This game sort of started with a nice intensity without the real sort of macho-ness that we saw in the first quarter as Camera switches to a 2-on-1 for Donvale. Sertzikos is obviously a man they like getting the ball to. He does well to win the 1-on-2. Go back to Sprouse, who worked his way back into traffic. That should be holding the ball. Sertzikos then dropped it, and he's been pinged for a throw. So Donvale eventually win out and will have the ball on their left half-back flank. Looks like it's the skipper, Nick Murphy's worked all the way up the ground to take this free kick.
So Nick Murphy puts it onto the left boot, thumps it forward, trying to get on the end of that one, but can't do it. Donvale, as the ball goes to ground, and diving on it there might have been McCormack, someone at the bottom of that anyway. Number 10 is Holland, and we'll have another ball up. So real feeling out here at the start of this third quarter. The first goal absolutely crucial as it's knocked down, and here's a man who was busy. DeLue in that end of that second quarter gets a handball off. Acosta Harvey gets it forward, and here they come again, and the mark is taken. Is that McInerney? Yes, it is. He wheels around, decides to go. He better kick this. It's on its way. And no, he's missed it. I don't know why he played on there, boys.
Yeah, you're right.
Had a bit of time, yeah.
Maybe didn't have the journey from a set shot, perhaps.
You'd have to back yourself surely to go back and take the kick, but nonetheless, so they bring it back into play. Donvale, bit of a lead off there. Wignall at the half-back. The cross half-back takes the mark. And they go a little bit wider. Mark taken in the back pocket there by Mill, just slowing it down Donvale. They lead by 11 points, so just under 2 kicks as Mill gets the kick forward out towards the wing. Up they fly. Rouser taken in it. Should be a high, well, it's a mark or a high tackle, whatever you prefer. And Rouser, he was storming in the first quarter, but he went out of it a bit in the second quarter as Ferntree Gully got back into it. That's a nice mark taken there by McCormack. McCormack of the Jake variety. Turnover though, and he's in the hands of Acosta Harvey, I think it is. He gets it forward, but they've turned it over. It's a turnover fest. So ball goes down the line, up they fly. That's a very good mark taken there by Jordan. Jordan goes down the line. That's going to be another turnover, is it? Yes, it is. He's kicked it straight to Peters. This is absolute madness.
Kick the kick, Besto.
And Peters will have it.
So Peters takes a bounce up to 3 steps. Centre half back and kicks it out to a 2-on-1 in Donvale's advantage. He kicks it well over the top of his teammate Sprouse's head. So It's obvious what they're trying to do, both sides, but they're not doing it quite well as Duncan gave the handball off, and this left football from Kenner wobbles its way inside forward 50. Curry watches it go out of bounds on the full. So it has been a comedy of errors since the break.
Yeah,
now there's a debate going on between the boundary umpire and the central umpire. Sean Curry believes it's out of bounds on the full. The boundary umpire believes it's out of bounds on the full. And the central umpire says, no, it's a throw in. So there you go. City Hall wins out once again.
I have spoken.
So we're going to throw it inside Donvale forward 50. They looked pretty good there besides the constant turnovers. So Curry, the throw in short again. McCormick came through. Wignall, handball. Standing over it. Handball comes from Acosta Harvey, and then his teammates got a bit of time and space. Gave it to Sprouse.
Great smother.
Had a handball. Rouser came through, laid the smother, and then Sprouse tidies up his mistake and lays a tackle. Probably got to look to get the handball off there. They had a few runners, the Eagles. And we look now. Billy McCormack is loose in his own forward goal square. So once again, you can see the lack of height Ferntree Gully defenders have. Top's got Jordan. Sprouse has got the front spot on Murphy without any real touch, which I think would frustrate Brent Coliker once he watches the footage, and Billy McCormack and Dame Wilding the deepest of the three. So a dangerous setup for the Donvale forward line, but a free kick going the way of Sean Curry. He's had a lot of free kicks in the ruck, and he gets it out wide quickly and finds Acosta Harvey. He's been pretty good. This next kick's been the one for both sides this quarter. Goes down the line, looking for the leading target. McInerney does well on the second grab. Pushed up the ground, takes the mark in front of his coach's box on the wing. No runners moving past.
It's Alex Bull.
Oh, is it? Sorry, it's Bull. Apologies. Goes on his left, pops it up into the corridor. Deleu does really well to get to front spot, brought it to ground. D'Essio's around it. Does well, sweeps a handball to Top. The big man, low poking ball. Beautiful kick to McInerney. Nice. A beautifully weighted kick by Michael Top, and McInerney this time will go back, and he's going to have to kick it a long way. He'll kick it from outside the arc into what has been a slight breeze all day for his fourth. He's kicked 3 goals, 1.
The Gully have come out a lot more composed after half time.
So McInerney now from just outside the arc. It's a beautiful looking kick. It does make you wonder why he played on before, Besto, when he can do that. That's his fourth. And the Gully now, 7-2-44, bring themselves within 5 points. Donvale 7-7-49. We have gone 8.5 minutes in this third quarter.
Pendulum well and truly swinging back the other way now. As we saw that, just that transition. Every time Ferntree Gully have been able to do that quick transition, they're in the forward 50 with ease. Yeah.
The other important thing is when Curry took control late in that second quarter, got those 2 goals, all of a sudden I think the belief came back into that for the run of the Gully around him.
Yeah, they certainly look the better side at the moment, that's for sure. And Donvale haven't been able to redress the situation since half time. Going in there looking for it was Wignall, but it's on the ground, and that'll be a ball up.
Free kick, holding
Free
the ball.
kick, okay. Looks a bit, that looked a fairly rough decision, I thought, but anyway. So Haig, it's going to be who receives the free kick. What can they do, Donvale? They just need to get themselves back to what way they were playing in that first quarter. Goes over the back to Wilding. Wilding gets it across the ground. Bouncing out there looking for it was Mannion. Mannion's got his hands on it. The kick inside. Can they find a...
what a mark.
Brilliant mark there taken by Giles.
He's a bit of a showman, Giles. He's enjoyed all his work so far, hasn't he?
It was a bit of a sort of, I think, a kick and hope really coming back in, but Giles was just in the... He actually, look at them, with 2 of them there, and probably at least 4 Ferntree Gully players around the ball, but he's plucked it out of the air, Giles. That's a great mark, and this just might be the fillip that Donvale need if he can put this through, just to steady the ship, and they really need it. So, let's see how he goes. Giles, on its way. The Donvale faithful will tell you when he puts it through. No, he doesn't.
Oh, just missed it.
He knew it because he's a celebrator, and he didn't commit. He's the kind of guy, if that went through the middle, would have been doing laps.
The crowd sold a huge dummy because they all went up, and I thought, it's gone through, and he's put it away to the left.
Gee, I was looking forward to that big aeroplane too.
So,
you know, the aeroplane.
They bring it back in.
Just like the rest of the plane's grounded.
Harper found a target in Seward. And Seward down the line. This is better play. But once again, Rouser got across. Almost like the ball's just hanging up in the wind there a little bit. Good tackle from Gasparoni on Ringquest, who's been quiet after his 2 goals in the first quarter. And we'll have a ball up. Left half forward for the Magpies. D'Essio's hit out. Sits perfectly for Russo. who kicked one in that second quarter. Down the line for Sertzikos, who's been prominent. He's been around the ball. Probably hasn't quite used it as well as he'd like, but that's probably the story of the day for everyone out there. And we'll have another ball up. 7-8-50 the Magpies. They kicked 6 in the first quarter. So Ferntree Gully 6-2-38 or 7-2-44, apologies, as it's come forward. Might be another chance here. Sertzikos runs to 40, steadies. Kick looks pretty good off the boots. Touched on the line, is it? It is. Yep. Beautiful work. Looks like it was Kenner working his way back there. Did really well. Sertzikos just took the space, ran to 40. He was on target, but Kenner did well to get back, and he'll take the kick out. It's Ferntree Gully 7-3-45, Donvale 7-8-50.
So you can see the hesitancy of Donvale, just not knowing who to kick to. Now they do get the ball back into play across that back line, half-back flank. Marcus taken out there. So the margin is 5 points. So they're now within a kick, Ferntree Gully. Unbelievably, they can be in front if they get the next one. But goes wide over the back. No one gets hands on it. Trying to get there was Murphy. Couldn't do so. And it's taken there by a good tackle coming in from Bolt. He's been good for Ferntree Gully as well. And the umpire says we'll have another ball up. So only 12 minutes played in this third quarter. Up it goes. Haig might have just got the tap down that time, but it's fallen for Ferntree Gully. Bursting through there was Gasparoni. He's been the right too, but in the end he went without it. But now they've got to kick forward. Can they get a mark in the goal square? No, they can't. Ball goes to ground. They're still there for them. Snap from Acosta Harvey.
33.
Acosta Harvey's put it through, and he's been really good. He's been one of their better players, Ferntree Gully. It was all a bit untidy in the end as the ball came to ground. We'll just watch the replay, and nicely picked up there, and a great handball away there from Sertzikos. He's been absolutely superb as well, and Acosta Harvey puts it through for the goal, and Ferntree Gully, well, they're in front.
And they've worked their way back into this contest and it's taken a long while to do it, but at the moment they look like they're starting to run on top of the ground, Whitey.
Have they kicked the last 4 unanswered? 4 or 5?
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. Well, I think, they've kicked definitely, 7 now of the last 8.
Yeah.
As there's another infringement this way going the way of Donvale. Interesting that Sertzikos had so much space there, and he's probably been one of the Eagles' best. So Haig, long inside forward 50, looking for Murphy. He got first hands to it. McCormick drags it back in. Good tackle from Wilding. Playing for a free kick there is McCormick. And we'll have a ball in. Yeah, Sertzikos, as that kick came in for the last goal for Ferntree Gully, just by himself. And, he's probably been one of the Eagles' better players. He was just standing by himself 30 metres out from goal.
He's been superb. You can't leave someone like that unchecked.
So D'Esio and McCormick. McCormick's hit out was beautiful.
Oh, great tackle.
Though, he took on the tackle. That's holding the ball. He grabbed it. He looked Sprouse in the eye and tried to get past him. Was wrapped up. So Sprouse, who at the start of the day was thinking he was in for a long one when Nick Murphy took 2 marks early on, has been pretty good since then for the Eagles. Pops it up down the line. They've got a 2-on-1. And the ball just hung up and Rouser, as he's done all day, got across and knocked over the line for a boundary throw. And so centre wing, Ferntree Gully have hit the lead for the second time. The last time they were in front was 2 minutes into the game after Wayne McInerney kicked his first. They're 8-3-51, Donvale 7-8-50. Halfway through this third term, McInerney's now got 4.
Brent Kiker's dropped Michael Top back into the back line. I think that's been a really good move.
He's done it since quarter time, hasn't he? And he's just got a bit of poise, Top.
Yes.
And he's luck. And the other good thing, he's got the height. He's probably playing on the smallest forward, despite being the tallest defender. But
they did need a bit. They did just need someone down there.
Aerial threat.
Yeah.
That's like all good defenders, isn't it now, Brash? They always take the 6th forward so they can do what they want. D'Esio up, gets the hit out. Well done by Seawork. Great handball. Just split them open out the front of the contest. Deleu will come through now, picks it up, went back into traffic. Might have got a free kick for high. Umpire said play on.
Through that.
Yep. Kapakoulakis. Grocott missed it, coming through Gasparoni. Couple of tongue twisters in there. Good handball. They're out. Acosta Harvey. Ball out in front. Curry, the big man. He's not going to get there in time. Too slow. Ball comes out now. Sertzikos. Read it best. Steadies. Runs in. Little short ball just in time. McInerney slipped over at the wrong moment. And we'll have a ball up 20 metres out from the Ferntree Gully goal. I think Deleu was either holding the ball or high. It was one of the two in the middle of the ground.
Well, his first motion there, Deleu, was to try and get the free kick.
Yeah, I think he might have just slipped on the turf. But
I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. I thought it was a free kick.
So it's outside the goal square for the Eagles. McInerney tries to kick one over his head, Riley Thilthorpe style. But we should have another stoppage here as the Donvale players just laying atop it. And we'll have another go. 15 metres out directly in front from the Gully's goal. They've kicked 7 of the last 8 and are now in front by just 1 point in this crucial Division 3 top 4 clash. Winner will likely slip out of the top 4 tonight. Curry's still on the ground attending to his nails, as we'll have another ball. He was just sort of looking at his finger. He might have dislocated it.
He's having,
just so calm, isn't he?
Having a quick petty on the ground.
Up they go again. Haig and Curry. Curry tap down. And this ball's not going anywhere. There's either going to be a free kick, a goal, or a clearance because there's so many.
Trainers brought the file out, hasn't
he? We wouldn't put it past him. He's a wily old cat, isn't he? He'll have something up his sleeve. He's already kicked 2 today from ruck infringements. Don't be surprised if he works his way to the front and gets another one. He won the hit out. And then Duncan's wrapped up by yours truly, Sean Curry. And this is now the moment where the umpire's thinking about pinging a free here, Besto. That's 4 in a row. Hey, get rid of it. Does. Took it out of the ruck and slapped it to centre-half back to Yesio. Couldn't bring it down. And then slapping it away, but it was set up for the gully. Kapakalakis does well to ride the first tackle. Didn't ride the second one, and the umpire says, give it to me. This time 60 metres out from Ferntree Gully's goal.
So, Ferntree Gully continuing to look the better side in this quarter. They lead by a point as they fly high. And it's Zach Haig who takes it out of the ruck himself, gets it forward. Can he find a target? Beautifully cut off there by Top. And Top will enable Ferntree Gully to rebound. His kick is a bit of a shocker. It's out. In fact, he's put it out on the fast. No, just kept in over there by Gray. Did pretty well. Gets it down the line. And the mark is taken back there by that man Duncan, who's been one of the best players, certainly, for Donvale. Now it's Rawsa. Goes in board, finds Liardi. Liardi says, come at me, boys. Give me someone to kick to. Goes right across the ground. And that's over the top. Almost a mark there by Top.
Well done.
Still down. In fact, it's there for Donvale.
Dropped it.
That'll be a holding the ball. Surely that's a holding the ball. Umpire says play on. They've been very lenient in that area. And the kick is off target. And that would have been a bit of an injustice, you'd have to say, if that had been a goal, because it definitely looked like holding the ball. But the umpire says no. And we'll have a kick back in with the point to Ferntree Gully. The point to Donvale, should I say, levelling the scores. It's 7-9-51 to 8-3-51.
So Camera, that beautiful left boot of his again, holding up in the wind. Diesio got there, brought it to ground, got his own crumb, just went bang. Tried to go through the man coming there, and Bowden, who did well. Holland on the left boot. It's a one-on-one. McCormack should get the man.
Great mark.
That's a great mark by McCormack.
Oh.
You've got to feel bad for Dane Wilding there. Once again, a situation where he knew he had a bit of doomsday about it, didn't he, Steve? He knew he wasn't winning that as it went up in the air. And McCormack...
Pending doom as the ball came ball.
McCormack, who started like a house on fire, didn't he, Vesto? He's going to line up for his second. Been pretty quiet outside of that. But he
was brilliant in that first quarter. But
shouldn't miss from here for Donvale. A much-needed goal. Kicks it straight through the middle. So Billy McCormack's second goal after a David Holland left foot snap brings the Magpies back in front. 8-9-57, leading Ferntree Gully 8-3-51 as we close in on time on in this third term. Brash.
Almost a goal against the grain here because Donvale for most of the quarter have been defending inside their opponents inside 50. So, look, they got some clean space, and that's what Ferntree Gully have been able to do so far since taking control of the game is knock down Donvale's space.
So we see it so often, don't we? A side dominates for a long time and then they concede one. Almost an injustice. Haig might have just got the tap down there. Falls though into the hands of Holland, who's taken in a strong tackle, and the umpire says we'll have a ball up. It's Setsikos. He really has been superb. Setsikos. Absolutely magnificent. Close to the best one player for Ferntree Gully today as the ball goes out wide. It's Setsikos again, but this time he's turned it over as the kick goes down the line. Trying to get hands on it there was the bottom of the pack. Who is that? Number 37, I think? 35 maybe? Can't quite see, but we'll have a ball up anyway.
Yeah, it was Charlie Peters. Yeah.
Charlie Peters it was. So umpire sends it high. Diso got the tap down that time. It's on the bottom of that. Diving on it there is Liardi, but it's once again, it's very tight.
Pate holding the ball.
And he's Pate holding the ball, which is interesting. So, Diso skews a funny old kick in board. They may be able to get it. Peters was there, but he couldn't get to it. But it's still there for Ferntree Gully. Picked up nicely in the tight stuff. Now the ball goes out, fumbling it there as they get the kick away. Out into the wide open spaces here at Donvale Reserve. The bounce of the football once again eluding. The kick, the handball back inside from Setsikos. And now here's Camera. Camera lets lay towards goal. Can they find a target? It's right over the other side of the ground. Picked up there by Russo. Russo's got
well done.
Great kick. And he finds McInerney. And McInerney will put it through.
He's at the post.
No, he's at the post.
Oh.
He
thinks he's kicked the goal.
Well, surely
he thinks he kicked the goal.
have to think. Let's have a look.
They're
at this.
coming together, the umpires.
Surely he didn't. He couldn't miss from there.
I didn't look like it took a deflection.
It's going to be given a goal, I think.
It's got to be a goal, and the way he celebrated. I mean, he would have known if it had hit the post.
There's a debate going on now. So the goal umpire looks like he's indicating to the central umpire that he thinks it's gone over the post, because obviously McInerney, it didn't hit the post, or else he wouldn't have celebrated. But now the central umpire's come in and she's overruled, and it's a goal. So he's got 5.
So it's a goal to McInerney. It probably deserved one as well. So here's his 5th. And Ferntree Gully, they get themselves back on level terms again. Quarter at 3, it's 8-9-57 to 9-3-57 as we go boundary side.
It was noted during the second quarter how much Donvale were filling the defensive 50 with their numbers. That's not been the case this quarter. There's not been as much defensive running from the wings or from the half forwards to fill up and congest the forward 50 of Ferntree Gully, as we've got a free kick out of the centre here for Ferntree Gully.
Thanks, Jared. So Diesso will get that free kick, and he's just going to pump it long. They've used this side of the ground pretty well. He's pumping along to space, or Sertzikos, who's got 3 Magpies to beat. Rouser is one of them, and he comes away with the footy handball to Wignall. Wignall will turn with plenty of time and space, and a nice left foot ball to the middle, looking for Nick Murphy, but it's missed him. And then it's a chance here for Harper. Harper's got Curry over the top. The big ruckman just finding space. He's been massive today. He's got a runner in the middle. Does well to ignore him and then swings on the left. And it looks like another time where they've just created some space here. They're on top of the gully. Russo, who set up the last goal from a similar position. He's not going to have a shot. He's about 55 out, tucked into the pocket. He'll probably just put it up the spot. There's another whistle. I think the umpire was just...
Percentage kick here is to put it to the top of the square.
Yeah,
here.
surely. Maybe even a bit further out. No, he goes short for Deleu and finds him. That's a nice kick, and Deleu will go back from about 45 out on a 45-degree angle to put Ferntree Gully back in front, 9-3-57, playing 8-9-57, but it's not that tight at the moment. The Gully have kicked 8 of the last 10 goals. They've been dominant since quarter time. Wayne McInerney
really
in
like
particular.
Delu's game, Matty. I think he's been superb for Ferntree Gully.
Yeah, he had a slow start, but he's really worked into it from the start of the second quarter here, Delu.
So Delu will kick from just outside the arc. It's going to take all he's got. He keeps it low. It won't get there. Magpies got the numbers. Kalispiris got his hands to it, and then Duncan, or Heverin, just slapped on the boot. Sertzikos, who's had a fair bit of it this quarter, will get there first. Slapped it to his own advantage. Did really well. And then gathers a little chipping ball over top. Won't be far enough, surely. Umpire's paid the mark, though.
Well done.
And it looks to be Russo, who's doing well as a half forward. He's going to play on, open up the angle, went for the snap.
Yeah.
Never on target. That one has definitely missed. It's out of bounds on the full. So
bit of a waste.
23 and a half minutes gone. Donvale 8-9-57. Ferntree Gully 9-3-57 in this third quarter.
Play the percentages and put the ball to the top of the square.
So Holland to bring it back in for Donvale. The kick out towards the half-back flank goes over the head of Rawsa, but they still get their hands on it. Nice work there by... I think it was Ringquist. Now it's back for Ferntree Gully. They go out wide. The kick inside from Camera. Can he hit a target? Nice ball coming over the top though. And the ball whacked out of bounds and we'll have a throw in. So 57 apiece. 8-9-57 to 9-3-57. And it really is...
Camera, other than that error he made in the first quarter, I think he's been one of the Eagles' best too. He's probably been their best ball user.
Yeah.
He's set up a couple of goals with his left foot.
Definitely. So just waiting for the umpire to throw the ball back in. The next goal, it's starting to get pretty tight now, so the next goal will be important as it goes to ground. Rawsa bursts out of the pack. He was good in the first quarter, gets a handball away, but it was a bit of a hospital handball really in the end, and taking the ground there is Wignall. But the umpire says no prior.
Couple of scores. Baldwin 10-6-66 lead South Croydon 28 at half-time, and Doncaster East are in front. They lead 53-37 at the half-time break.
Wow, what a turnaround there. Ball on the ground, it's nicely done there by Rawsa. Now Donvale get it out, but that's probably going to be cut off back there. It might have been even a free kick, a case for a free kick against for top. Now it's batted out towards the boundary there.
Well done.
On the ground, diving on it there was a Donvale player, and the umpire says we'll have a ball up.
Donvale need one here before the break.
They do, because they've been under pressure basically since 15-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yep.
So we up and go again. Liardi done pretty well in these situations.
Lost it, yeah.
And then that's a free kick.
Yeah.
Incorrect disposal going against Braden Bowden. So the tackling pressure of the Eagles is lifted. Donvale were all over them in the early stages, and since then... it's been all French. A bit going on just behind the umpire.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good spot to do it.
Yeah, that's
you can't
the best
see.
spot to do it, yeah.
So Camera goes to Top, and Top switches the play, completes the switch to Wilding, who chips it over the top to Crocker. Oh, sorry, not Crocker. To Harper, who goes up the line, and then sitting in the hole is Rouser. So the switch was on probably a little bit slow and allowed the Donvale defence to set up. So Rouser, though, he goes over the top to Duncan, who's been impressive as an intercept marking defender, but now he's going to have to use this ball pretty well inside forward 50. Murphy wants it about 80 metres away. Instead he goes McCormack and Haig down there. They all fly. Haig brought it to ground. Wilding came through, as did the other Ferntree Gully defenders. Ball still at ground level, coming through Donvale. Little clearing kick. Holland's the best magpie around it. Acosta Harvey got his handball out wide, and then Harper looped it over the top. That's a good handball. Well, if it does sit for Bull, Bull goes even wider for Deleu, who'll get it on the second bounce. Takes a steadying couple of paces and goes inside forward 50 for McInerney. Free kick going the way of Donvale. Free kick going to Sam Goldsmith, who was held. And the Vales will get another reprieve as the three-quarter time siren goes. And at three-quarter time here at Donvale Reserve, we've got an absolute beauty. It's Donvale 8-9-57, all tied up with Ferntree Gully 9-3-57. We're going to go to a break, and on the other side of this, we'll have all the last quarter action as well as the scores from around the grounds.
Only 19 shots from
4 minutes.
Down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do?
Should be 6 goals in
Jono
front.
surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud...
Back in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen...
30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds.
Department 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He's circled back. He's circled back.
All right, guys, stand by. 10 seconds.
Penalty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland.
All right, guys, here we go.
Real.
Let's head back and go local for your...
Mike's on.
Welcome back to Donvale Reserve, ladies and gentlemen. Just in time too, because it's three-quarter time here. And Donvale 8-9-57, all tied up with Ferntree Gully 9-3-57. And since quarter time, it's been all the Eagles, but they can't quite pull away. Every time they've hit the front, Donvale have got the next score. And we're waiting on one of our boundary riders who'll no doubt be with Kevin Collins, who loves a chat, which is always good. And at the moment, though, this game's siding up as we head down to Jared Beanland, who will be with Kevin Collins.
Thanks, Matt. So, Kevin, how did you see that past couple of quarters?
After a really good start in the first quarter, we sort of lapsed a little bit in the second. Third quarter, I think that they got on top of stoppages, and they just probably wanted the ball a bit harder than us, so they won contested ball. We just got to get back to getting our hands on the ball. It's 8-9, so we've had our shots, but and they're 9-3, so it's 57 each. So there's a game to be won, but we just have to play smart. We've got to make sure that we locate. We've got to play 1v1. We're allowing them two spares behind the ball, and that's really hurting us because we can't sort of penetrate that. So we've got to become a bit more disciplined, not so much in attack on the footy, but in terms of locating them and making sure that we put them in a 1v1. So the game's there. It's a winnable game, but we just got to get on top.
And what have you asked for your players to change just during this final quarter?
I've just asked them to get a bit more vocal, just get the energy levels up, and so that everyone's on the same page. We were really loud and we were up and about in the first quarter, but in that quarter we just stopped, and that creates perceived pressure. Perceived pressure brings turnovers. Turnovers stop people from running, and then all of a sudden you get a stop-start game. So we just got to get back that inertia, that momentum, and get right into it again.
Thanks for your time, Kev. Good luck.
Great work down there, Jared. As we go back in the middle, Brett Besson to take us away in this last quarter.
So the all-important last quarter doesn't get any closer. 57 apiece. First goal of this quarter will be absolutely vital. Picked up nicely there by Sertzakos, who's been an absolute superstar in this match so far. As the kick goes forward, almost getting his hands on it there was McCormack, but he couldn't take it. Did enough though as the ball goes to ground, and the umpire says we'll have a ball up.
Couple of around the ground scores. Blackburn 77 lead Roeville 41, Mitcham 5-8 lead Murrabbuck 5-4, and Wanton South lead Montrose.
So McCormack's gone back into the ruck, but he won't beat Curry. He's been superb. Also having a great game there. DeLue gets a handball away, knocked to ground, taking it away there was Sewert. Now they're off again here, Ferntree Gully. They really do still look to have more run as they go right across the field, and the kick goes forward now. It's about half forward. Can they get a mark? Yes, they can. Brilliant mark. It's McInerney.
Boundary.
McInerney got in front as we go boundary side.
Was at the Ferntree Gully huddle, and that is exactly what they were talking about. The continuing the run from the middle and the delivery inside 50. That's exactly what they've done there.
Gee, that was a superb piece of body work there by McInerney, because Lamont was all over him like a cheap rash there, and McInerney still come to the fore with a big grab.
So McInerney, this is a vital kick to put Ferntree Gully in front. I don't think he likes it. No, so they do take the lead, but not by as many as they'd like. It's just a point, 9-4-58 to 8-9-57, and we're early stages, about 90 seconds into this final quarter.
5 goals, 2 to Wayne McInerney this afternoon.
So it's Jake McCormack this time. Plays on from the kick out and goes short. Lamond goes out wide to Ken, and this is a man they'll want the ball in the hands of. Very calm and composed, and he takes the space on offer and goes short inboard, and I've given him the miles, haven't I? He's turned it straight over, and Peters, or Acosta Harvey, sorry, will look for his target at centre half forward in Sertzakos, who's been, as we said, very good since half time. Handball. Looks like the man out there is Sewert, and there's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of kicking in danger there.
Going the way of Sewert here. So he's got it just forward to the centre circles for Ferntree Gully. They've got one-on-ones ahead, except for Duncan, who's just sitting 10 metres ahead of DSEO. DeLue on a short lead. Takes the mark 50 metres out from goal in front of Wignall.
Wignall's been a prominent player for Donvale this year, but DeLue's done a superb job on him.
So DeLue goes out looking for, I think it was Gray who had Holland, and then the ball bounces into the path of McInerney, the man the Vales don't want to have it. He drops it, and he's getting held.
Yeah.
Well, that's clever play from Wayne McInerney. The umpire was blindsided. He dropped the footy, and then Holland just completed the tackle and gave away the free. Personally, I'd like to see that play pay on, because Holland's not, Holland's just completing a tackle.
As you say, Matt, he was blindsided, so he couldn't see that the ball had come out.
And Holland's just completing the tackle, but Wayne McInerney's smart as ever. can line up for his 6th. He's kicked 5 goals too, as well as having one not make the distance. So this will be his 10th shot on goal. Comes in 20 metres out, slight angle. This time he's pushed it.
Yeah, he's missed.
Left. So 2 behinds to start the last quarter from Wayne McInerney.
Gee, they could have put the game away.
Yeah, they are in front. 9-5-59 to Donvale 8-9-57. Berwick are also in front of Norwood. 6-5-41 to 1-8-14. So once again, the Wooders, they beat a top 4 side, Brash, and then they do something silly.
So McInerney's got 5. He probably could have had 10 as Donvale bring the ball back in. The kick goes right over the top, and it's nicely marked there by Murphy. He's worked his way up the ground. The kick forward now, going out wide. Up they fly again, but it's Costa Harvey, I think it is, who gets a handball away. And here they come again, Ferntree Gully. Donvale just can't seem to get any time inside the Ferntree Gully attacking 50. That could be a high tackle. What does the umpire say? No, just a ball up.
Couple of scores. Croydon 6-4-40, lead Park Orchards 4-3-27, and Lillardale 5-3-33, lead Upper Gully 3-9-27.
So up it goes again. Deiso wrestling his way towards the front spot. In fact, in the end, he just took it out of the ruck as the handball goes out wide. Goes past that man, Costa Harvey. And the tackle put in by that man, Costa Harvey. And it's Capicalarkis.
Baronia 10-8-68, lead Templestowe 47, South Belgrave 85, lead Knox 32, and Ringwood 69, lead the Basin 46 as we go down to the boundary.
Yeah, Ferntree Gully have put Steve Curry back, I believe.
Steve Curry, the basketballer, or Sean?
Sean Curry.
I'm sure they'd love to have Curry out there.
I don't think they can afford it.
McCormack, we would have to look into them if Steph Curry turned up for Ferntree Gully. As Billy McCormack's spearing ball was intercepted by Sprouse, goes short to Acosta Harvey.
Well, you can argue it's not his number 1 sport if he came across.
Well, it's a good point. He could be a Category B player. Short ball in the middle to Gray, who's been another player who's been dominant this season, Brash, but has had a quiet one. He's got Sean Curry in the pocket if he wants him. He's going to go D'Esio, though, so he's going to come to this pocket. That's a nice kick. It's to the advantage of D'Esio, but just went over his head and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. A couple other scores. Waverley Blues 101 to Whitehorse 26. Fair Park 56. Glen Waverley 62. And Warrandyte lead by 40 points over Scoresby. So can Fair Park get that win?
Gee, be agonising for them if they went down again by under a kick.
So ball comes in. Working away the stump with McCormack. That'll be a
free
kick. I thought it was going to be another throw-in, Brash, but it's a free kick going the way of McCormack. He was held by D'Esio, so he turned it over last time, Billy. He's looking inboard. I don't like that. Go down the line, and that's what he does. Top's got the sit. Curry's out there as well. Big fly from Jordan. Top got the fist on it. Little ball snapped inside forward 50. McCormack leads the way. Bounced over his head. Kenner. He'll go back to where it came from. Curry's there. Top's there. Curry does well. Takes the mark. Centre wing. Surely he won't go back to where it came from. Yep. No, he does. Long ball, D'Esio, McCormack, Wignall, Duncan, Heverin comes out the back, Gasparoni. He's still got control of it. Good tackle late on the Mond. And we'll have a ball up at the tip of the goal square for the Eagles. They lead by 2 points. They've had 2 pretty clear-cut opportunities this quarter and failed to convert. Can they get one here?
He spent it before he had it twice there, Gasparoni.
So it's been the story of the day, as Matty said, spending it before they earned it. As the ball goes to ground, tackle comes in there. And they'll have a secondary ball up.
I think the Gully will also be happy with Kieran Gray starting to run back into some form. He's just been getting in and under and doing some good 1%ers.
And so the ball comes out. It's in the hands of Liardi, who bursts away. His kick is smothered, though. And there's trouble here as they get it over the top. The kick forward. Is it going to bounce through? It just misses. I think it might have been Acosta Harvey, potentially. He got the kick away there at the end, but it just missed. And that would have been a huge moment in the game. That would have put it out by more than a goal. As it is, the margin 3 points. Now it's in the hands of Holland for Donvale. He just must be wondering what they have to do.
Just around the grounds, Churnside 10-2-62, Sylvan 5-8-38. So a win there would all but lock in finals footy for the Panthers. And then Croydon North lead Nunawading by 13 points at Hughes Park. Coldstream lead Surrey Park by 8 goals. And Forest Hill lead Kilsyth by 5 goals.
So Millett he got the kick away up to Murphy. He's got it on the wing. And he's got that one off the side of the boot a wee bit. Oh, great mark coming in there. And almost getting himself knocked into the fence was Grocott. Grocott gets a quick handball off. They can go for goal here. The kick from McCormack right across the face. Can they get a mark? There's plenty of Ferntree Gully defence appeals for the mark not given. And in the end it comes out and it's in the hands of Kieran Gray. Gray hesitates, decides to play on. And what's he called here, the umpire?
It's called, I think he's saying that he came into the area, but Gray definitely played on there.
Oh, he did. That was, there's been a couple of 50-50 calls today. And Kieran Blake.
He's played on now.
Yeah, but I think, what's his name, Grocot's run through the mark. Because he was, what's his name, was on the mark there.
So Gray, who, as we've said, been uncharacteristically quiet for 3 quarters, has a chance. I think there was a second 25 for abuse too. So he comes in just inside the arc, directly in front. Pretty good connection. I don't think it's got the journey, has it? Right to the line. It's definitely touched. A few hands touched it. So another behind for the Eagles. They cannot put them away.
Boundary.
As we go down boundary side.
Just a bit of form line for these two. 3-quarter time, and the last time they met, it was tied up just like it was here. Ferntree Gully then scored 8-1. They're threatening to blow Donvale away like they did last time.
Absolutely. So Kenner brought the ball back into Lamond, who kicks it back to Kenner and says, have another go. And Kenner does. This time goes across the ground to Rouser, who's been one of Donvale's best. Pops it over the top to half-back flank. Wignall. Oh, sorry, not Wignall. Apologies. Cameron. Don't know how I got 51 and 9 mixed up. Cameron comes back. Heverin now, short, dangerous ball. McInerney's lurking. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant work there from Jake McCormack, apologies. Goes long down the line for Murphy. Sproul's done a pretty good job on there. Sertzakos leads the race back. Murphy ends up with it. Came through, handball to McCormack, who kept running. Boys look tired out there. Nice little chipping ball into the pocket. Has a teammate in Grocott who gave away that 25. Who didn't quite take the mark, and we'll have a ball up right in front of the scoreboard, which reads 8-9-57 Donvale, Ferntree Gully 9-7-61. 9.5 minutes gone in this last quarter, so 4 behinds to the Eagles this quarter, gents. Haven't been able to convert, and there's a free kick going the way of Sean Curry. He's had a million of them today, with the opposing ruckman just reaching over the top.
Yeah, a lot of skill areas starting to creep into the game, which
they look knackered, don't they?
They do. They look absolutely exhausted, so it's just going to be a battle of attrition to see who can get to the end. Curry, dangerous kick across the face, but he manages to find a target.
No,
or does he? No, he's coming back, actually.
Umpire wants him to go back over the mark.
Doncaster lead 83-58 at 3-quarter time, and Noble Park 9-11. What's that? 65. Trail Doncaster is 10-6-66 at 3-quarter time.
Curry tried to find Dioso, but he can't do. And Hayes put a little chip kick forward, going back there for it was Ball. Ball on the ground. Ball gets it on the second attempt. Great second effort there as the handball comes out, and it's going to be cut off back there. I think that might be Quirk, and in fact, no, it's not Quirk. It's McCormack, sorry.
Number 12.
Nice
Billy.
work from Nick Murphy here. He hasn't had much of it today, has he, Brash? But he showed his class there. First bloke in about 10 minutes that's hit a target.
And so McCormack of the Billy variety, of course, brother Jake also playing today. And this is a kick to put Donvale back in front, if he can slot this. Still conditions, nice bright sunshine, so no real excuses as he comes in. Here's the kick on the way. It's heading across the face though, and it's gone through for a minor score. You didn't look that difficult, but I suppose when you get to this stage of the game, every kick's difficult, and it goes through for a minor score. It's the Ferntree Gully side by 3 points.
So they bring it back into play. Camera to top, and then around the grounds, ball and 67, just the one behind since half-time. South Croydon kicked the first couple. They're up to 6-4-40. So along the wing, Duncan couldn't bring it down. There's a free kick.
Oh.
And it's going the way of Ferntree Gully for a push.
Deleu, I think, will get the free kick.
Looks like him. So Deleu immediately switches the play. He's got Harper in the middle, and then Harper should have a couple of runners. Sertzakos wants it out here on the wing. Harper's run 15 metres across the ground, then he fell over. He was always falling over, and then Billy McCormack came in and wrapped him up. Jakey Harper, he was almost going too fast there. Look at all that forward momentum, went to take a bounce and just, whoop, there we go. So McCormack's got it now. Donvale got a little period of play, need to make it count. It looks like he's going to go back and have a shot. Yeah, well, he had the forward momentum too far. His chest, he was always falling over. Again, one of those instances where you know what's going to happen and you can't fight it.
Good one for the bleepers, Matty.
Absolutely. So
inside left goal post, I reckon. Yeah.
McCormack now, he's going to kick from outside the 50. This would really hurt because the Gully were out. Sertzakos had a break on his man. Billy McCormack kicked 2 so far today for Donvale. Gives it a fair old roost. It's sliding across the face, as Brash said. Might have searched for the extra journey there and pushed it across. So Donvale 8-11-59. Ferntree Gully 9-7-61 as Michael Top calls for the players to huddle. Huddle in the middle.
Well, to be honest, both sides have had opportunities to put each other away in this last quarter. So it's still up for
story of the
game.
day, isn't it, Brad?
Yeah.
And certainly some wasted chances, and whichever side goes on to lose this game will no doubt lament those as the kick goes out wide. Russo gets it back inside. Good strong tackle. The ball comes out there. It's a free kick. Play on though. The umpire says it's in the hands of Murphy. He goes forward. Can they find a target? It might even go through. No, it's just gone off to the... In fact, it was Grocott.
Yeah,
Murphy was in the goal square trying to get his hands on it, but it's gone through for a point. And we're back to a 1-point game, so 9-7-61 plays 8-12-60.
So Top takes his meterage, gets his disposal and pumps it long, looking for D'Alessio Hagues there. 3 Vales players, free kick, going the way of the Eagles. Advantage. Oh, Sertzikos is away here. 3rd bounce. Will he take a 4th? He will. Runs all the way to 50. Might have caught one around the face. Liardi. Handball advantage. Gray runs in, kicks it. Well. Donvale had 3 chances. And then a free kick on the halfback flank. Advantage taken by Sertzikos. 4 running bounces. Copped one to the face himself. Gave it off to Gray, who goes bang and puts the Gully out in front by 7 points. 10-7-67 to Donvale. 8-12-60.
Very handy goal there by Kieran Gray, but really good play there by Sertzikos there. He took the game on and took the defence on of Donvale. Had clear air.
He almost looked surprised at it. I think when he burst away, I think he was waiting for the umpire to call him back. But
I almost reckon he was waiting for a Ferntree Gully player to catch up to him.
Yeah, and there was no one within. There was no one within 50 metres of him. It was a pretty soft goal, really, in the end.
So we gets another free kick here.
This has happened about 3 or 4 times today.
Yeah, some undisciplined language, I reckon, might be coming into it for Donvale. It's costing him.
D'Alessio thumps it forward, trying to find a target. It hit the head, I think, of Deleu. First Falcon of the day. Cries of holding the ball, but that won't be holding the ball. That's out of bounds for a throw. But you can just sense momentum has really shifted here. And if Ferntree Gully can get the next one, he can put down the glasses.
Speaking about being knackered, the boundary umpire, he needs a breather here. The poor bugger. He's run all the way to the middle brash. Usually they get a spell and the umpire's pinged a free kick.
Yeah.
With the 25. So he's going to throw it in front of us. Takes his deep breaths. Well done, mate. Busting a hump. That's a nice throw in. Curry works his way to the front. Hague tap down to Rouser. Donvale have to start going there. Hever and handball. Dangerous one! He was met, Duncan! He was met! Oh, umpire, no theatre.
Yeah, where's that sense of drama we wanted all
Charlie
afternoon?
Peters went bang! It was always going to happen. Heverin just sold his mate down the river. So Hague and Curry, top of the goal square. Hague got rid of him. And then Curry ends up with the footy. Handball. Peters, right foot snap. Never on target. And I believe it was touched off the boot. And was. So we're going to have a boundary throw in.
So the drama continues.
The drama does continue. So it's 7 points of difference, but it's almost like we're just waiting for Ferntree Gully to kick a sealer here. And if there was a man to do it, it'd be Sean Curry. He's been enormous in the ruck when he's had a stint there. The veteran. He's at the back spot now. The throw-in goes towards the corridor. Donvale clearing kick. Not very far. Looks like we'll have another boundary throw-in, unless that was a shove in the back. Umpire says no, and we'll have another ball in. Yeah, and the home faithful. Not happy. Not happy at all with this umpiring. I don't think they've been that bad. I think they've...
No, I think it's been fair to both sides. Exactly. It hasn't been. There's been a couple of interesting decisions, but 50-50
No,
falls.
exactly. I wouldn't say the team's been disadvantaged.
No.
Hague hit out, dangerous spot because it looks like that was a throw, but the umpire was blindsided. Deleu does really well to create the space. Left foot ball across the face. Has bounced just inside the field of play, and we'll have another boundary throw in. So it's been parked inside the Ferntree Gully forward 50 for the last couple of minutes. We've got 16.5 gone in this last quarter.
Law of averages says here that the Gully will score again here.
And if they do, that'll put them 13 points in front. They lead 10-7 to 8-12.
Well, as it is, that extra point's quite crucial because it means that they're 2 kicks in front at the moment. So almost a high tackle there, but taken out of there was Rawser. He's taken the ground. Donvale just have to find some spark. They've just got to go end to end and get a quick goal with nearly 17 minutes into this last quarter.
One of those ones, because they're parked so deep, you can't can't see the other end, let alone feel it.
And it is a big ground, this too, as it's Curry again with another tap. That was Costa Harvey. That might be it. It's gone through. Is it Costa Harvey?
Yep.
Yeah. It was brilliantly roved off the Curry tap. He's been sensational. And a fantastic rover, Costa Harvey. He's really come into the game superbly, and he just got that when bang, and you could hear the crowd go up. And that really just is going to make it very difficult for Donvale now. 11-7-73 plays 8-12-60 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, it was only a matter of time, really. We just said that a few minutes ago that the Gully were going to strike, and now they've they've got one foot on victory here.
Absolutely, and probably a foot in the finals. They've kicked 7-2 to 2-4 since quarter time. Acosta Harvey's kicked his second, been one of their best players. Kieran Gray gets the snap around the body. It won't go anywhere. Probably won't even be far enough. Who paid a mark, it bounces. And then the long ball inside forward 50. That should be a free kick to the man in front for Donvale, and it is. So Jordan, who's been swung in defence to the Bronx cheers of the home faithful, kicks out wide looking for Holland. He'll get there, but just gets a hand on it. Probably just... It's a kick they had to take, though, at this stage of the game now, with all the momentum with the gully.
Liardi, Wignall and probably to a lesser extent Rouser have not been able to get that run that they once had in the first quarter, and Rouser's impact on the game has really been taken from him because he's getting his kicks in that back 50, which is not where he can do the most damage.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, Curry slapped it forward and it's taken out of bounds for another boundary throw in. So yeah, it's probably just been, like you said, the first quarter, centre clearances Donvale dominated, whether it was from free kicks or just walking it out of there. And since then, Ferntree Gully have worked hard on halving them or even getting on top, and they've dominated every other part of the ground. And Curry and Haig will get a free kick, will he? Yeah, he will, for holding the man. So again, the crowd going up, feeling sorry for themselves. So the handball, McCormack pumps up the line, tops underneath this one for Ferntree Gully, gets bodied out of it, and there might be a free kick for in the back. Umpire says no, give it to me. So 60 metres out from the Ferntree Gully goal. We're almost into time on. They lead the Gully by 13 points. Like I said, since quarter time, Donvale have kicked just 2 goals 7. Yep. So the Ferntree Gully's 8 goals. 8 goals 6.
Yep.
So
and only 3 behinds in the last quarter. That's all they've been able to find.
Absolutely. So a kick down the line coming out of there by Liardi, and it'll get knocked over the line for a boundary throw in. Half forward flank now for the Magpies. They did have a couple of opportunities early in this quarter after Ferntree Gully had missed 4 shots to start the term. Wayne McInerney missing 1 to either side. He's kicked 5 goals 3. He's been magnificent. No, they need to get something out of here. Billy McCormack looks like he's gone back in the ruck. Been pretty good.
I almost think Donvale have probably had under 20 inside 50s in the last...
Since quarter time.
Yeah.
So it's thrown in. McCormack hit out, slapped into the corridor by Holland. And there's a free kick over the shoulder. It's going to go the way of Donvale. Got to move it quickly. What can they do from this one? Goldsmith gave the handball off to the runner in Holland. He's got a nice boot on him. Long down the line. Murphy's the target. Couldn't get there. The ball just held up. And it's all Ferntree Gully at the fall of the ball. Camera. Left foot ball up the line to space. McInerney should get there first. Well done by Jake McCormack. Did well to get rid of him. And these left foot ball to the corridor. They might be out here. Who can take the mark? Oh, dropped it, Heverin. Got a handball over the top, but took on the tackler. Eventually looped the handball to not Lamont. Mannon. Short ball. Giles. Takes the mark. He'll wheel and go. Does so. Had a target in Murphy over his head. And the Ferntree Gully defender Sprouse takes a nice intercepting mark and calms things down.
So disappointing for Donvale. Looked really likely there, but that last kick, it was really not just a case of kick and hope. And the forward just caught out of position. But here they go again. Ferntree Gully looking for the absolute sealer this time, bouncing around for Kalisperis, and it's taken nicely there by Heverin. Donvale, they've just got to find a goal in the next probably 60 seconds, you would think, as Deiso gets the kick forward. It's a wobbly old kick out towards the wing, goes past Curry. He's been the absolute catalyst to Ferntree Gully's success today. A handball down the line. Now it's in the hands. It was Cameron who got the handball off. Now it's there for Mannion. Mannion goes inboard. Now there he goes back out wide. They've just got to go direct to goal. The kick from Grocott towards the target, and it's found. Willing and going. Kick inside 50. Now there's that's the kick. Beautiful kick.
Said touched.
He said touched. They were dead stiff there. Duncan, it was, he took the mark, and he thought it was he was going to go back and have a shot at goal, but the umpire said touched. Not for the first time today. Let's see if we can see it on the replay. It was... maybe a fingernail on there, but it was very hard to tell. So up it goes. They've still got a chance, so Donvale. Knocked away by Deiso. And comes out. It's Wignall with the ball. Tries to get it back towards goal. Hasn't got enough on it, though.
That's a free kick.
And the umpire says no, it's not going to be a free kick as he gets the kick away, the defender, and it's out of bounds on the full, so it'll come back. That's in the hands of Holland. Holland goes long inside 50. They've just got to hit a target, but they can't because there's just too many defenders back there for Ferntree Gully, and they'll be happy to do this all day just for stoppage after stoppage.
I'm just wondering that the fact that Donvale coming off the bye and the Gully playing on slog last week might have given them some really good mileage in their legs here this week for this contest.
The SEO got the hit out, and it's ended up in the hands of Russo. Little short chipping ball up the line. Holland did well, but Russo kept coming, and now Calaspiris got the handball off, and the Gully are away. Can they get the sealer? Great smother in the middle of the ground. Donvale get a chance. Kenner got a man in space, finds him. Good kick. Grocott plays on immediately, has a shot for goal. Looks like it's across the face, and it is. Could be a handy point in this scheme of things. 8-13-61 Donvale. Ferntree Gully 11-7-73. Michael Topp's going to take the kick out. He's had the kick out duties this whole last quarter, so they obviously trust him by foot. Camera had them before that, so they're going to go to the far side. He plays on and then launches at a good 50-60 metres. Russo just got rid of his opponent, took a strong mark. Can play on quickly if he wants. Coach's box look like they're telling him to calm down.
Well, I would be.
Goes short. Finds Sprouse, who's had a good day. As we said, the first 5 minutes looked like it was going to be a long one for him when Nick Murphy had 2 shots on goal. But instead, he's probably won the day. Up the line again, kicks a turnover. That's about the 4th Moz this quarter from yours truly. So Holland can kick it a long way, and does. The centre half forward, big fly! Couldn't bring it down. There was Duncan, who's been swung forward. Handball forward, but Rouse is a beautiful one. Giles runs into an open goal. I think he's pushed it across the face. He has handy point in the scheme of things. He had the handball over the top 2 to McCormack if he wanted it. Donvale 8-14-62. Ferntree Gully 11-7-73. They're trapping it in there, the Magpies, but they need to kick a goal. 24 minutes gone last quarter.
Just haven't taken their chances. So just waiting for the play to restart. They've still got time. We've only had 24 minutes in this quarter.
I think they need to force a turnover somewhere here around the 50 here.
They've just got to convert. They're probably only going to get 2 more chances max.
Well, if they can get the next one quickly, well, then suddenly they're back in the hunt. As the tap down there by Heverin, and the umpire's going to pay
a mark, but he played on.
Yep.
In fact, he's played on, so Grocott gets the kick in board. Can they hit a target? Up they go. The mark not taken. Spilled away. It's still there. Dancing through the left foot snap there from Kapakalakis, and he's missed. In fact, he's missed everything.
He did brilliantly, actually, to weave his way through traffic, but he just created too much of an angle.
So I thought he was going to snap that one through. He did brilliantly, as Matty said, but he just got himself completely disoriented, and in the end he missed everything. As Ferntree Gully bring the ball back in, and bouncing around down there, trying to pick it up was Harper. Now it's on the ground, and the handball comes out there. Crocker went without it. The umpire said no, just came out in the tackle. Going to ground there was Goldsmith, and that almost looked like a throw, but it's come out now for Donvale. Can they get a mark inside 50? No, they can't. Ball falls there for Seward. Now it's on the boot of Haig. Haig just says, let's go, and he slams it forward in the hands of Murphy Shawley this time. And he's missed.
What's going on?
Unbelievable. That's the second time that's happened with a Donvale player seemingly having all the time in the world to put it through. And Nick Murphy, you just don't associate those sorts of misses with him.
He kicked 6 behinds this quarter.
Yeah, I know.
Just extraordinary. It's like there's a goalkeeper in the goal.
It's like they're just reading the posts wrong. They've kicked 6 of them through that as Top brings it out, goes long to centre wing. They've had all the inside 50s recently in the Vales, and there's going to be another free kick going to Liardi, so they've got another opportunity. They have to convert this one. Nick Murphy, as you mentioned, best of all people, that's who they wanted the ball in the hands of. He just pushed it across goal.
If he can't kick them, no one can.
Yeah, exactly. So they go long in the Murphy direction again. He got to the front spot. Will it end up in his hands? It does this time. Can he get a handball away? Can't. And the umpire says, give it to me. So as we go boundary side, 26 minutes gone.
They can't blame the breeze for this inaccuracy. It's pretty still down here.
Thanks, Jared. So 26 and a half minutes gone last quarter. Ferntree Gully lead by 10 points. Deep in the Donvale forward line. Tap straight to ground. Desio's around it. Got the ball off to his teammate. Quick kick out of the pack. Went over the head of Haig, who was there. Jordan slaps it down to him, puts it back inside forward 50. Can they get a mark? McCormack brought it down, dropped it. Or was it Holland? Doesn't matter. Acosta Harvey, who kicked the sealer earlier, gave it off to kicked it forward. Heverin picked it up for Donvale. Plays on, runs his full measure. Wobbly ball inside forward 50. He's found a target. David Holland, is it, or is it McCormack? It's McCormack, and he's going back quickly to kick this brash.
He needs to kick it.
He's
got to kick it.
Not too quickly. He's got to make sure of the goal.
15 metres out. He's directly in front. Surely Besto walks in, kicks, a goal. They're back in it. 9-15-69 to Ferntree Gully 11-7-73. 27 minutes gone, and that's 4 minutes of just consistent pressure. They really should have kicked 4 goals in that period of time.
Absolutely.
So, well done to Heverin, who's been really good in the last few stages too. Just running. just attacking the ball and taking some space, and it was the worst kick of the day, or the last 5 minutes, probably not the day. It's been a few shockers today, hasn't there? But it landed on the chest of McCormack, so it's interesting now. Look at it, the setup of the sides. There should be someone in the goal square for Ferntree Gully. There needs to be. The umpires haven't noticed it. McInerney's still going back. That should be a free kick to Donvale.
It comes down to the most important set and clearance of the afternoon.
So Haig won it down. Wignall got it. Can he get a handball away? He's going to burst away. He's going to run to 50. Low ball to the top of the goal square. McCormack!
Oh, no.
He's pulled it in! He's pulled it in! Oh, Wignall! He got through the Acosta Harvey tackle.
Oh, no.
Took a few paces and then speared it to low to McCormack. He's been good all day, Billy. He started the day with an almost hanger. Kicked the check side from right in front of us. Billy, he can make a name for himself.
Billy, don't be a hero.
Well, I think they want him to be one now, Brash. 15 metres out. Billy McCormack's kicked it.
Oh, you'll be okay.
Donvale are in front. 28 minutes gone. 10-15-75 to Ferntree Gully 11-7-73.
How could you read this game?
For 20 minutes, though, we had nothing. And they've come from nowhere, Besto.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
Oh, my gosh.
Talk about playing right till the end. Donvale, it's like they've just sort of sat back and, just taken their time and thought, we can got this at the end, boys. No worries,
Well, but it was 6 minutes, and as you said, it felt like they were just going to keep missing their chances.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle Wignall, he's been quiet today, Brash, but what a play.
He's had under 5 possessions, and he comes up with probably the most important one of the day.
Well, there's not many people here, Besto, but if they were here, they'd be making a big noise.
And he takes one moment in the game to be a hero, even if you've had a bit of a stinker. So back in the middle as we go boundary side.
You can have a look at the half-forward line for Donvale. They've all pushed up, and they're just going to flood the back line now.
So Diso takes it out, but he lost it, and they're in a bit of trouble now as the handball comes out there and it's in the door. Boy,
put the whistle away there. That was high, wasn't it?
It looked high, but the umpire says no.
Well, they obviously know how much time's left on the time clock if they're doing that.
We need the sign we had at Surrey Park last week where the bloke was holding the big T.
Yeah, I thought that was right. Bruce just yelled at it, he threw it, and I think Russo's probably a bit lucky to get away with a free kick without a free kick there as the ball goes up. Haig, well, he went up, but he never even got a hand to it in the end. Knocked down there.
Russo,
free kick.
Man.
So Russo with the ball. They've still got a chance. Ferntree Gully. Has this match got another twist? They go inside 50. Almost a mark taken there by Costa Harvey. Now it's towards the boundary and it's gone through.
That was Curry then too.
Yeah, Curry it was. So the margin is a point. The draw's still on, boys.
Oh, Besto.
10-15-75 and 11-8-74. And here's Jake McCormack now. And the siren, well, we've got no idea how long there is to go. Murphy brought it to ground. Looking for it there was...
That's deliberate.
Duncan, and it's taken across the boundary there. So they've got it at the right end of the ground, Ferntree Gully, but they can't mess around too much more because we've played 30 minutes in this final term and there can't be a lot of time to go. So just waiting for the umpire to send it in. He's Diso. They've just got the tap there. The clearance is all important. And Murphy, what a moment to get a clearance. But he's kicking. They've still got a chance. They go across the ground. They've got to get it forward quickly. Ball just taking his time. Now he gets it forward. Can they get a mark? Oh, Curry went.
Free kick. Free kick. Oh, siren! Siren! The siren went before the kick.
Let's just wait and see what the umpire says.
No goal. No goal. The siren went as Acosta Harvey picked the ball up, or Peters.
Yeah.
So the Donvale players are celebrating. They've got the
what a game.
What an unbelievable finish. We had our hearts in our mouths. We thought there was going to be a free kick played. I didn't hear the siren.
I didn't hear a siren.
I didn't hear the siren. I personally assumed that Curry had... I saw the umpire move and assumed Curry had given away pushing the back, hence the crowd are celebrating for a free kick.
And then whilst that was happening, the ball was going towards
look at
goal
this.
anyway.
So Curry looks to give a shove here, which I thought was a free kick. It's gone out the back. Great hand on it from Ethan Duncan, I think that is, because Curry would have marked that. And then I think it's Peters picks it up, and there's the siren. You can see Stephen Kenner in the background.
Yes, jumping in the air. So it was cool.
Wow. What a game of footy.
What a game. So unbelievable. So Donvale, who we thought were down and out really for much of that second half, have somehow come back and they have pulled off a most remarkable victory in front of their home fans. As Matt said, not a big crowd out here today, but the ones that have been here have been treated to a pretty exciting finish in the end. Wayne Brasher.
Well, what can you say? All afternoon, a big start by Donvale. Ferntree Gully gallant. They worked themselves back into the contest at 13 points up. You think that was game over there in the last quarter, but Wignall, that play where he just...
Well, it was... He almost looked like on the replay, and I'm sure eventually people during the week will watch it, and Brash, he sort of got it.
Yeah.
I think it's Acosta Harvey just doesn't quite tackle the body. He gets the jumper, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He gave him a chance, and he burst through it. He almost tripped over, almost like did a mini pirouette, and then, like you said, the kick was probably the best kick of the day in terms of it was a drop punt for one, but it was low, and it didn't give the opposition a chance.
No, look, it was a game of ebbs and flows where both sides probably in the overall balance of things probably deserved to win the contest, and unfortunately the contest was one point short of it being an equal contest.
Well, it just seemed for all the money for much of the second half that Ferntree Gully were going to run over the top of them, because they really had found their mojo, and of course we saw Donvale dominate in that first quarter largely through Rouser, but in the end it was just a scrap to the end. And you talked about one side having a week off last week, Brash, and the other side playing a tough, hard game. How was it going to win? But Ferntree Gully in the end, they just outlasted Donvale.
See, there's that tackle there, and he actually broke that tackle.
He got the jumper, didn't he, Acosta Harvey? And then look at this kick. Like, he's under no pressure by the end of it, but it's low. It doesn't give the defender, I think it's Wilding, a chance. Who he didn't have a dog of a day, Wilding, but he's quite undersized. What a massive finish for the Vales. And in terms of opportunities, you talk about Besto, Ferntree Gully running over top of them. They kicked 4 behinds to start the quarter. McInerney had 2 shots from very good spots and missed. He was spectacular today, by the way. 5 goals, 3, but he should have had 6 or 7. I think they missed another one through Gray, was it? They kicked 4 behinds. Then Donvale had their own little spurt of 3 behinds. So both teams had chances to win it early in the quarter. Then, as you said, Ferntree Gully looked to pull away with that beautiful advantage taken by Sertzakos with 4 running bounces. And then it was almost like Ferntree Gully put the cue in the rack, Brash, as I think we can hear the song in the background, Brucey.
Get in.
Big song there from Donvale, get a very important win. So then it looked like Ferntree Gully put the cue in the rack. They sat back. Top was taking a lot of kick-outs, pumping it long, and it just kept coming back. And and as you said, Besto, they just kept missing, and you had that sort of feeling like it wasn't their day. They kept missing those chances. And then Billy McCormack, he started the game on fire, kicked that banana in front of us, almost took a hanger. Davis is shaking his head because he almost had another great photo of a specky. And then had a couple of quiet quarters and then turned it on when it mattered most, Brash.
Yeah, it is. And, look, for Ferntree Gully, it's a heartbreaking loss, considering where, they went down by 6 points last week, Brett.
Yeah, that's right.
And after coming off a 40-point loss to Warrandyte, it's hard. When you lose your momentum, it's hard to get it back, especially in the back half of the season.
Well, that's right. It's going to be interesting to see how they back up next week, because this, 2 close losses, and today they seem for all money to have this game won today, and Donvale come back and somehow snuck it at the end. So 2 really close losses like that, it's going to be very, very hard for them to bounce back.
Absolutely. And then in terms of where it'll put them on the ladder, Ferntree Gully, who were they were top for a period there about a month ago. So at the moment, Fair Park 89 to Glen Waverley 82. So that's a massive story if Fair Park can get up. But in terms of Waverley Blues have won big again, so they'll be closing. Their percentage is already the best in the division. Warrandyte have won again, so they continue to go clear. It's a massive loss for Ferntree Gully, not in terms of just the fact that they should have won, but the loss will now mean that Donvale will jump over the top of them, East Burwood will jump over the top of them, and as will Waverley Blues will as well, or will definitely go close. So, it's in such a tight division, it's a game where they should have won and they didn't win, and not only is it annoying because in other years it might be annoying because they finished 3rd or 4th, not 2nd, but the way it's shaping up now, they might not even make the finals.
But that's the other thing too, and also too, in that it also hands Donvale a bit of a psychological advantage if it comes down to a final.
That's right. When if they play again next time, which they're likely to, you think they might be likely to do in the finals.
So as I said, a few scores from around the grounds. A big one, Ray Baird's out there. Corridor North 12-7-79, Nunawading 12-9-81. Could the Lions get revenge in the Premier Division? Donvale
It'll be good for them.
Doncaster East were in front by a point at three-quarter time, but Troy Swanson is out of that game. No puck hit the first three of the last quarter, so they're steady.
Well, they've had
front.
a big second half, Noble.
They have. After having a very big first quarter, it looks like South Croydon are closing the gap on Baldwin, but Baldwin again staying just down in front. And Wanturna South have lost by 2 points to Montrose. So Montrose and Mitcham will stay alive if Mitcham can complete the win.
And that's why you can't trust Montrose.
Well, you can't trust them to lose and you can't trust them to win, Brush?
No.
I think we're going to wait on Jared and Ryan, obviously waiting for the coaches to finish their chats before they go to play. A quick talk about the Nina and Pasadena player of the day. Goal of the day is clearly Billy McCormack. He's check side.
Yeah.
Or the winner.
Yeah.
Or the game winner. I think he's probably pretty happy with that one. Personally, for me, 3-2-1. One vote, Mitchell Sertzakos for Ferntree Gully. I thought he's fantastic all day, especially in that second half when they moved in the game. 2 votes for me, Billy McCormack. Well, he kicked the game winner. And also was a big player at the start and rucked well. But 3 votes for me. Ethan Duncan in defence. I know he was allowed to play without a man for the majority of the game, but he took a number of crucial intercept marks at different points in time, and actually went forward at the end too and took a number of key marks as well.
Yeah, look, I'd give 1 to Deleu. I thought he did a pretty good job throughout the afternoon. 2 to McInerney and 3 to the guy you said.
Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm pretty close. I went with Deleu. I thought he had a superb game. I gave him a vote. Sertzakos I thought was just magnificent today. I mean, I know he's in a losing side in the end, but he gave 2. And you've probably got to go with Duncan. He was magnificent. All those intercept marks. It'd be really interesting to know just how many he took in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So another score coming in. Blackburn have won by 21 points.
So their record
92 to 71. So again, 4 wins this year, all away from home.
Yeah.
They just need to play someone at home to win. They thought last week with North Ringwood, Brash, surely we're going to, do you reckon they've had a drink inside yet, or are they waiting for that win?
I don't know.
It used to be such a hard place to win out there, though. You go out there with all the... You're talking about Blackburn,
yeah? And I hate to say it, Ben Warren Smith's right, but he reckons those rooms are obviously had some sort of mystic power, and the new ones are cursed.
Well, put it this way, that's why we're not calling from it. Otherwise, we'll be cursed.
And we can't handle that,
probably,
can we,
one of us will probably fall down the stairs and break our leg or something.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for Ryan Long and Jared Beadland to drag someone out on the ground to talk to us. As the Ferntree Gully players, it looks like they're doing recovery on the ground.
How about Doncaster and North Ringwood, Matty?
So Doncaster and North Ringwood. So the latest score there is Doncaster by 25 points. So North Ringwood have closed the gap, but it's still a hefty margin for them to overhaul.
Well, they probably paid the penalty, North Ringwood, for their slow start in that game.
And Doncaster, yes, Davis?
I'm just having a look at the scores. The surprise one is Berwick over Norwood, I think. Looking at it, Norwood kicked 112. Last week they only kicked 7-10, but kept South Croydon low, but 112 when you've got 2 or 3 good goal kickers down there too.
That'd be a frustrating result for...
That'd be a really frustrating result, given they were able to topple a top 4 side last week and do it really well.
It looks like Croydon over Park Orchards, is that right?
Was it. So, Park Orchards have kicked back in front.
Okay.
So Park Orchards 12-4-76, lead Croydon 7-6-48. So in terms of Norwood, we spoke about that pre-game, Davis, that they do this. They beat teams. They'll probably come out and beat Vermont and then lose to North Ringwood. And that's been the thing that's probably stopped them in recent years. But for Berwick, that's a big win given the pressure that was on them after North Ringwood's win. So if North Ringwood and Doncaster East both lose, they'll be the only 2 teams along with Roeville on 2 wins, but it'll have played an extra game than Roeville. And again, those Premier Division and Division 3 all have that funky match ratio, which shouldn't matter come the end of the year because we will complete the home and away season. But
it's hard to get your head around, though, isn't it? When you look at the ladders, it's you've got to be like Pythagoras.
You do. Big one out of the basin, 12-8-80, leading Ringwood 11-10-76. So we threw down the gauntlet pre-game, Brash, or
we did.
I've got a bit of a run-in with. I always have a run-in with the basin, don't I?
You still got that jumper?
I do have that jumper. It's in my room.
You better start wearing. You might have to wear it again.
I might have to. We're going to go down to the boundary because it looks like we've got Ryan Long and Jared Beadland with the man of the moment, Billy McCormack.
Thanks, boys. I've got Billy down here. Billy, congrats on the win. Unbelievable in that last couple of minutes. What was going through your mind when you're taking that set shot?
Jeez, I missed the 2 before, so I really had to kick him, and I was just thankful to be on the end of a couple of good kicks, and it's pretty exciting.
And what was the turnaround that last quarter? We thought Ferntree Gully were saying they were pretty much almost home. They had a few chances early on in the game, and then you started to turn that around in that last 10 minutes. Was there a change out on the field at all, or was it just sort of you got your chances?
I think our coach, Colo, said at 3/4 time that this win's going to take character, and I think it did. We fought it out. It was never going to be easy, and we waited till the last minute, I guess, to strike. So I think, the boys showed great character to get that win.
Brett, Billy, it's Brash up in the commentary box, mate. Look, after the first quarter, Donvale had a really good first quarter, and Coach Kiker asked his players to start stretching you and use the width of the ground. For a lot of that for a lot of the second and third quarter, they were able to do that, and you couldn't get your mojo going back through the corridor. So I'm actually wondering, how did you turn that around to try and get the game back on your terms, just being on the field?
I think, just as I said before, it was always going to be an arm wrestle. We've played them before. We've lost to them a fair few times over the last couple of years, so we know that's how they wanted to play. But I guess we just stuck to our brand of footy, and eventually it was going to pop out. It was just what time it was going to happen, and we're lucky to do it.
With Kevin being at the helm this year, he seems like he's a very calming effect, and he seems to be able to bring the best out of the players. How are the players reacting to that?
Yeah, Colo's great. He shows a bit more than footy. I mean, he builds relationships, and he's not just a coach, he's a real good friend, and he really cares about every individual in the side. So I think, he's a great coach. I'm stoked to have him.
What about the game of the guys up in the box and myself? We thought Ethan Duncan was absolutely magnificent down the back. He took so many intercept marks. He was just colossal for you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's unreal. I've been playing with Ethan for a long time, and he does that week in, week out. I mean, he won our best and fairest a couple of years ago as an 18-year-old in the one. So he's a great talent, and he's a great player for us.
Billy, you're obviously a bit of a high flyer, mate, when you go for your marks. What was going through your head when you went for that specky? You almost brought it down. You were thinking mark of the year. You already had goal of the year.
I tried it, but just didn't stick. Should have.
Thankfully, Billy, it's going to be on camera, so.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other thing, Billy, I guess this year, Donvale, you've shown periods like this, and you've beaten the Waverley Blues comfortably both times, where you look like a top two side, and then you've faltered against other teams like East Burwood. What do you think the difference is between your best and your worst?
Oh, it's just a consistency. We're a good team. I really believe that, and we've got a lot of belief, especially coming out of this win. As I said, we haven't beaten these guys in a while, so it's really important. And I think this win will set up something going into the end of the year, and I think it's really exciting.
Billy, I was watching after three-quarter time, and Kevin really was sort of pushing you to sort of push it up. There were 3 or 4 behind early. Did that still, even if they were missed, did that still give you the spark to keep going? Because it looked like a lot were on the run, a lot were almost pressure acts. After that, what was sort of going through everyone's minds to actually try and psych you into get that next goal? Because it was really looking a bit awkward out there for a couple of moments.
I think it was good. We were just having an opportunity coming in. You saw the ball spend a lot of time in their forward half, and we struggled to get it out. But once we got it in our forward line, we sort of trapped it in, and we had our backs. Scotty Heverin was there taking marks, and I guess, once we trapped it in, I felt confident that we were going to get the opportunity. And with blokes like Murph and whatnot, we've got some real talent up forward that we could really do some damage once we get some entries.
Bill, we still got some talent sitting on the sidelines or playing in the twos that are still ready to come back into the side if form drops for certain players?
Yeah, we got a couple of good players. Benny Lyle, he's coming back from an ACL. He's also won a best and fairest at this club, so he's really exciting. We've got Mika Whitburn, who played in the twos today. He's coming off a broken leg, so we've got a fair few ins that'll come in and create a real big difference. So it's going to be tight for spots, which is good. It's what you want in a club.
Billy, it must do a lot for the belief of the side, because I think you were something like 11 points down, sort of getting quite late on that fourth term, and we'd almost written you off up here, but you got that goal, you got that within a kick, and then of course you got the winner in the end. But 2 quick goals. I mean, you obviously kept the focus. You thought you could still get home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've got a bit of belief, and we saw the momentum sort of shift, and it was exciting. We played it with a lot of character, and I'm really proud of the boys.
All right, Billy. Well, we're pretty happy with your performance too, mate. You winner the Tobin Brothers goal of the day. So once you have a shower, mate, hang around in the rooms, and we'll give you the $50 gift voucher from Coles Meyer for your Boonana in the first quarter. And I guess you could probably give it for the match winner as well. They were both pretty good goals. Well done, mate, on a great game, and enjoy the night.
Cheers, boys. Thanks.
Billy McCormack there, the match winner for his performance.
Enjoy the win, buddy.
The one thing I like about Billy, when you watch the way he plays, he backs his own judgment, and he's got his instinct. He wants to attack the contest, and I think that's a really good thing in a young man. In the fact that his father, Brendan McCormick, was a really, really hard nut, and I think some of that's come through on him as well.
And absolutely. Berwick, as we said,
they got the win.
Going to get up. No, well, you'd assume they're going to get the win. There can't be much time left. So some scores that definitely confirmed all the margins too big. Coldstream 97 over Surrey Park 30. So Surrey Park look like they're still the second best team, given it was only 10 goals. But that's showing that Division 4 finals might not be the most interesting. Sylvan will lose to Chirnside Park by 30 points at the moment. So Chirnside will play finals.
And I think that's great for Chirnside, given the last few years they've had. They have been very competitive this year.
Forest Hill 86 will defeat Kilsyth 58. So not an eye-catching performance by the Zebras, but enough to put them back into second spot. In Division 3, Waverley Blues 139 to Whitehorse 35. So that's a big percentage booster for the Waverley Blues. Fair Park at the moment are in front, but I'm just nervous to lock that in given their history and not wanting to jinx it. Warren Dyke will defeat Scoresby by about 6 goals. In Division 2, South Belgrave are the winners over Knox by 10 goals and Baronia by 10 goals as well over Templestowe. At the moment, the Basin lead Ringwood by 4 points. That hasn't updated for a while. I'll send a text to the timekeeper at Ringwood to see if he can confirm that for me. But that'd be a massive win for the Bears to knock off Ringwood and also
they need it
their
too.
finals performance. And it'd be heartbreaking for Baronia because it'll mean that they're still adrift. In Division 1, Fair Park win by 7. Ben Warren Smith has confirmed it. So great work there by Fair Park. Fair Park winners 12. Fair Park winners 13-11-89 to 12-10-82. That's absolutely fantastic.
Wow, that's a great result.
I think I'll claim that one because I picked them too.
In Division 1, Park Orchards look the only ones you can really lock in, and obviously Montrose have defeated Wanturna South. And in Premier Division, Baldwin look comfortable over South Croydon. It's not a lock yet. Nunawading and Croydon North. Ray Baird's just messaging me. Looks like North Ringwood have won as well. Looks like North Ringwood. Ben Warren Smith's got a text message. North Ringwood comes back from 8 goals down against Doncaster and wins by 5 points. 15-11, 101. 15-11, 101 to 15-6, 96.
Right.
So North Ringwood are off the bottom. It leaves Rowville and Doncaster East as the only teams with 2 wins left.
That's extraordinary.
Ray Baird has just put through on the website that Nunawading have won by 8 points.
There you go. So the excitement all round in the Eastern Football Netball
monumental victories today.
Well, it's going to be a massive EFNL Sunday tomorrow. So make sure you listen in. So at the moment,
have to get the coach of Nunawading on tomorrow.
Well, absolutely. What's his name? That's a bit harsh. So massive win from Nunawading.
What about that Doncaster East?
Just waiting on that update there from the CEO Troy out there, as we know, but he might look to have won.
Well, let's just say EFNL football just continues to keep giving and give lots of surprises as well.
Well, it made it for last week, didn't it? Which wasn't one of the.
I have the full-time final score through Doncaster East's Twitter. Noble Park 13-14, Doncaster East 11-6.
That's a shame.
So again,
it's not.
It means Doncaster East.
Well, no, it's a shame because Doncaster East were up quite a bit early on in that match.
So Doncaster East and Rove will be the only teams with 2 wins.
So that's a big win for North Ringwood, though.
Oh, geez, I think the boundary riders are in the rooms there and the tunes are pumping. So Noble Park have defeated Doncaster East. North Ringwood have come from behind 15-11, 101 to defeat Doncaster 15-6, 96. They were 8 goals to nothing down at quarter time.
That's extraordinary. That's unbelievable.
They were 51-7 down. They've kicked 94 points to 40.
Isn't it?
While Robbie Nahas's team, they've won all 3 games that they've won have been comebacks. And he said to me during the week that he thinks this side's got immense talent. They're just
lacking confidence.
They're lacking confidence, but that's 2 wins in a row. That's massive for them.
Yeah, you wonder what the quarter time message was. It must have been something pretty extraordinary.
Robbie's he's a very good orator, I think. He's a great speaker. I've really enjoyed every conversation I've had with him. Blackburn have defeated Rowville to continue their only winning away policy, which is an interesting one, but let's see how it plays out for them.
And they've got another away game next week against Baldwin, I believe.
Well,
so
there you go.
Could continue.
And it's always a close one, that one. And Berwick look to have got the victory over Norwood 6-6, 42 to 112-8.
112. So that could be. Is that the final score as well?
It'd be close to final score. And Baldwin look to have got another win under their belt. They lead South Croydon halfway through the last quarter by 4 goals.
Do you reckon Marty Pask could be really frustrated about that result?
It'd be incredibly frustrating. Division 1, the only one we can lock in at the moment, absolutely, is the Montrose have beaten Wanturna South. But you suspect the Park Orchards have won. They lead 12-4, 76 to Croydon 7-6, 48. The other 2 games at 3/4 time were less than a kick. So Upper Ferntree Gully trailed Lewdale by 5 points, and Mooroolbark trailed Mitcham by 4 points. If Mitcham win that means they and Montrose will move 1 win behind Mooroolbark and Croydon, so the race is still on in Division 1.
It's like we got the man of the match.
And it does look like we've got Ethan Duncan down there with Ryan and Jared. So let's cross down boundary side to Jared Beanland, who's with Ethan Duncan.
Thanks very much, Matt. Ethan, how did you see that game? Obviously, 50-year anniversary for the club this tonight. What does this mean for the club?
Yeah, massive for the club. 50 years. We had all the premiership boys here, so it was tough. It was a good game. They're a good side, Ferntree Gully, and a bit nervous at the end, but glad we got the 4 points.
And big defence for you back there. How did you see your own game along with the rest of the defence?
Yeah, I clunked a few, so quite happy with myself. But no, pretty good as a back six, so we all love each other and we all work well together.
And the boys just have some questions for you in the box.
Ethan, you've been under the side after quarter time. Ferntree Gully really put that back six of yours right under the hammer. I guess in the end, just a little bit of poise on the back six behalf in that last 5 minutes was able to sort of hold the game your way.
Yeah, that's right. We sort of rate ourselves as the number one defence in the competition, and I thought we showed that today. Ball's coming in hot and we worked well. So yeah, it was good.
The game plan that Kevin has set out for this club, obviously you've been here a long while because you're best and fairest as a senior. Has it changed much over the years with the change in personnel?
Yeah, well, before Kev was coaching, we were very kick down the line, very slow play, and he's changed our game plan to very, very fast, and it's been good because we've got a lot of quick boys and we moved the ball really well.
I've just noticed in recent years too, Ethan, that there's been a really good injection of youth into this side, and it seems to have really rejuvenated the club and given the older statesmen a new lease on life.
Yeah, we've got a few young boys. We've got a big future ahead of us. Hopefully we can win a few flags as a group if we stick together, and it's really exciting times.
Yeah, we thought your game today was absolutely colossal, Ethan. I mean, your intercept marking, is that something that you sort of work on? Is that something you pride yourself on?
Yeah, I think that's a big strength of mine is intercept mark. So I think I read the game real well, so I try and stick to my strengths.
And it's interesting to talk about the back six because your forwards get so much kudos, I suppose, the likes of Big Nick Murphy and Grocott up there. But you obviously, defence obviously wins games. If you're not conceding points, it doesn't matter if you don't kick them up forward. But obviously you've got a good balance between defence and attack.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a really good back six, a few big names down there. So I think we work well, and that's probably one of our stronger points across the field, so it's good.
And being that it's so tight in your division too, I mean, today, if you'd lost today, you wouldn't have been out of it, but it would have just put a bit of a ding in your chances of making top four as well.
Yeah, that's right. It would have set us back a fair bit, and it's good to knock off Ferntree Gully, so that was a big win for us and puts us in good stead for the coming weeks.
Ethan, it's Davis. I was watching it out there, and obviously Ferntree Gully came at you hard. When that happens, especially down in defence, what's communication like? How do you work with everyone else down there, and especially working up the field into the midfield? How do you constantly keep them alert and knowing what you want to do or what the strategy is going forward, no matter what you're trying to do, starting in defence?
Yeah, all it is voice. You know, we get on really well as a group, and we all trust each other. So as long as the voice stays up, I think we'll be right. But once that voice drops, that's when we start to struggle.
Ethan, your game, mate, as an intercept defender is obviously the dream for every young boy now, to be an intercept defender, because it's just easy kicks. But what's it like, though? How much footy IQ do you have to have? Because obviously it's not just standing in front of the forward. There's obviously reading the play, but also marshalling your own defensive troops to make sure that no one gets in each other's way and gives up easy goals.
Yeah, that's right. You can't really be a dumb footballer, I guess, dropping off an intercept. So I think I rate me footy IQ. So it's good. And yeah, I'm happy with how I played and how the team played.
And then finally, mate, when Billy McCormack had the shot for goal, what were you thinking? Because Billy had an iffy day in front of goal. As he said to us, he'd missed the last two. Were you confident with Billy in front of him?
Yeah, of course I was confident with Big Bill. I love the bloke, and he dreams about days like this, so it's good. It's good to get the win.
Absolutely. Well, Ethan, thanks heaps, mate. You're actually our Nina and Pasadena Player of the Day. So if you hang around in the rooms and don't get too rowdy too soon, we'll pop down, mate, and give you an award. But well done on being best in ground, and enjoy the win.
Thank you. No promises.
Ethan Duncan there rates his footy IQ, and not too bad there on the comedy too either, gents.
But also for Ethan to be able to play that role you've got to have certain confidence in the other 5 defenders backing you up as well, because that, as you said, it's very much an instinct role, Brett, and you've got to have the good support behind you.
Well, that's where he talked about when he said the communication. I mean, they're not mind readers, but they need to know what everyone else is doing, and as long as everyone else is playing their roles, and he's got the confidence to come off his man, go and intercept. But fantastic back 6 units, and you don't always see defenders getting kudos. It's normally the mids and the odd tall forward, but fantastic game from him, and it all bodes well for the rest of Donvale's season if they can keep that back 6 working as well as they have.
The key quarter for him was the second quarter when Ferntree Gully first started getting on top, and it was that period where we were quite frustrated with Ferntree Gully's ball use. I think I said their final product was woeful. Every time they went inside 450, it was woeful. But that was also one part Ferntree Gully's kicking to just blindly, but also Ethan Duncan and the Donvale defences set up that there wasn't any just obvious targets. I think that was probably the thing as well that goes underrated when you talk about it. It's a lot easier to be negative about the Ferntree Gully ball use than it is to be positive about Ethan Duncan and the Donvale setup.
And that comes back to good coaching as well, doesn't it? I mean, it's all about structures and getting your defence right.
And using your right spot, because Ferntree Gully, in the end, Brashev, they missed the trick by not using Michael Top in that role from the start. Yeah. Because first quarter he played, I think, second forward with McInerney, because they were obviously conscious about not having much height in the forward line. He wouldn't have got a kick because the ball didn't go down there. And then also Donvale's forwards got on top. As soon as they swung him to defence, the game was played on Ferntree Gully's terms. Not putting it all down to Top, but the fact that, they had someone of a similar capabilities.
I just think that when it's all said and done, ball disposal and for either side was going to be critical on whoever managed to hold their nerve and produce the right play at the right time. We're going to get the job done.
Absolutely. So, and Davis, you were down there, mate. What was your read? We've got a couple of minutes. From ground level, obviously Jared and Ryan were down there as well, but from ground level taking photos, do you see the game differently?
I like to think that I do, mainly because you're not looking down on the game up here in the caravan. We are. You're not looking down, you're looking dead on, and I think I like to almost think of myself as having a telescope with that lens. I get to sort of see some things that others might not, and I find that it's just an enjoyable watch most of the time. For me, it's all about being able to follow the play, and if I can follow the play, I feel like I'm reading it well. And I think you've got it right. Once Brent Kiker absolutely put a rocket up Ferntree Gully at quarter time, the whole thing changed.
Did he watch?
It was quite passionate, I'll give you that much, with a few words in there. But those 3 to 4 goals in 10 minutes, I think, showed the strength of what Ferntree Gully can do when they broke the Donvale defence open. But credit to Donvale as well for trying to stick to a game plan and actually try and stop Ferntree Gully too.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we started off by saying it was a Monday morning, but luckily for us, it ended up being a Saturday afternoon, and what a Saturday afternoon it was, not just here, but around the Eastland Football Netball League. So make sure you catch up and listen to EFNL Sunday tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the SEN app. Thank you to Brett Preston, thanks to Wayne Brasher, thanks to Davis Harrigan, Ryan Long, Jared Beanland, Steve White, Bruce Proust, and Lee Green from LM Media. It's been a massive day out here at Donvale Reserve, with the Magpies winning 10-15-75 to Ferntree Gully 11-8-74.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate. Well done, guys, on the boundary.